man Dame making a guest appearance on Friday. I love it. More Dame. Yes, sir.
Still, it's Thursday.
Today.
But anyways, breaking news. I repeat, breaking news. We have the most shocking trade yet. Something that came completely out of left field. Nobody's seen this coming. LaMelo Ball has been traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves. He will team up with his fellow superstar, Anthony Edwards, and we now have the most exciting duo in the NBA, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, in a shocking trade. Fellas, let's get right into this. This is ridiculous. I came up here expecting to talk about the day 2 of the draft, who won the draft, biggest sleepers, biggest reaches, the teams that collected the most assets, draft trades, and then we wake up to a LaMelo Ball trade. We got rumors last night, and you know, I'm thinking it's just rumors. It's just whatever, kind of like the Jaylen Brown thing, or you know, we've heard about dudes being traded all the time. But this was honestly, this is similar to the Luka Doncic trade, where you wake up and it's just like, whoa, they legitimately just traded this guy. Well, what?
Yep. I mean, that was a thief in the night trade when that happened.
This was a thief in the night trade too.
They've been trying to trade LaMelo for 2 years though. I think some of this is they've been having conversations on and off with the Wolves for a couple seasons. LaMelo, as I told a couple people last night, you know, his value with the organization and the Hornets has never been super high. But that's several different reasons for that, though. Like, he's still a really good player. And I know, you know, Chill hit an all-NBA caliber season. And, you know, when they were healthy, you know, they were one of the best teams, maybe one of the 4 best teams in the NBA. Obviously had a very sad end to the year in the play-in versus Orlando. But LaMelo's a really talented player. But, you know, he does come with some challenges. And so I think the Hornets have always kind of been at this mind that, like, hey, we want to use him. We want to have him on our team. But at the same time, you know, if we feel like we can, you know, make an adjustment, they're more than willing to do it. And so them being able to get a power forward that they want in Naz Reid, getting tremendous assets in swaps, and then a couple actually first-round pick, unprotected 2033. This is going to put Miles Bridges on the trade market as well for them to be able to make some adjustments with what they want. They obviously drafted Steinbach just 2 days ago in the draft, and I think he's their starting for the future. And then on top of that, with Con Canepo, with Brandon Miller, and then Mars' guy, Moussa Diabate, they're going to also
don't forget they probably drafted their starting point guard too, Christian Anderson.
Well, Kobe White's probably going to resign, and then Christian Anderson, to your point.
All right.
Yeah, that's going to be a really good move for them. But Ron, all the way up and down, bro, the Hornets, I think, are positioning themselves well for future flexibility. And they have a lot of cap space, and they have a lot of assets that if they want to make a real swing for this roster, they can while developing their younger players. On the Wolves side, Shields, Damian, Mars, and Ron. You know, LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels, that's our core. Like, this is our core going forward for the future. And everything we do is going to be built around these 3. Rudy Gobert will be there for the rest of his prime, obviously, and I'm really glad they kept him. But now, obviously, they have a hole at the 4 spot. But look, we got LaMelo, we got Jaden, we got Ant, we got Ayo Dosunmu. Like, this is like, we have built out a very young 26, 27 and under group, and then we can just do whatever we want around them. I think this is a really good deal on top of Chill, them drafting Isaiah Evans last night as well. And then they also drafted Mars, the dude from the power forward. What's his name, Mars? Jefferson? Was that Jefferson?
Charlotte?
No, the Wolves. Would they draft Malik Jefferson? Is that who it was? In the first round?
No, that pick's going
Joshua
to Brooklyn.
Jefferson.
Yeah, Brooklyn. That's right. So Isaiah Evans are adding into the building. Yeah. But all the way around, man, I think this is it works for both teams. There's financial flexibility. You got star power in Minnesota. And then on the Charlotte side, they opened up some more room, and they have a $40 million TPE that is available, which is the largest in NBA history, which means, Chill, that if they made a trade for someone that's like you know, Julius Randle, for instance, making $33 million a year. If they wanted to add Julius, they literally could just slot him right into the roster without giving up any player, because they don't have to do that, because now they have $40 million in room that they could use if they wanted to as well.
Absolutely. Damian, I want to shout out Giannis. Giannis is the one who's got this whole thing started. Giannis doesn't get traded in Milwaukee. This is what we're doing right now. We're sitting on our hands, and we're waiting for the ball to drop with Giannis. None of this stuff happens. In fact, the Minnesota Timberwolves, they had inquired about Jaylen Brown. Well, the reason why they inquired about him, because the Giannis deal was already over. The Giannis deal was still going on. They weren't a part of that. So the fact that Giannis has now gotten traded, Giannis has now opened up the floodgates for now business to continue. I actually like this deal, and the reason why I like this deal is Minnesota has proven with Anthony Edwards, very much like with Milwaukee and Giannis, we are trying. We're not just going to sit on our hands and do nothing. We are trying to continuously put a unit around you that's viable, that could compete for a championship. I hear so many different times that this team didn't do enough for this team. The Minnesota team with Kevin Garnett, they didn't do enough for him. And I think that a lot of that had to do with them not having the draft flexibility at that time. But this Minnesota team, I feel like they're doing plenty for Anthony Edwards. They went and got Rudy. They traded for Rudy Gobert. They traded for Julius Randle. Now that window for this group has closed, right? That was a 2-year. I think that was a 2-year window with Julius Randle. They weren't released. They didn't want to pay Cat. In the process of not wanting to pay Cat, they got Julius for a cheaper rate. Let's see how far we can go with this group. They took them to the Western Conference Championship 2 years in a row. Okay, that's as far as we're going with this group. So we get off of Naz Reid, and now we bring in LaMelo Ball, and we got LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards under contract, Swipa, for 3 years. So we got a 3-year window with these guys, and there is no player out, by the way. This is a 3-year window that we have to win it. And remember, guys, Anthony Edwards has been in Minnesota since 2020, which means that we will have this for almost a decade. So they have almost a decade of Anthony Edwards where we can see how we can build a unit around him in order to win. And I think this is great for Anthony Edwards because now I can play off the basketball. Now I can be the 2 guard that I'm supposed to be. I can be the bucket getter that I'm supposed to be. I don't have to have the basketball in my hands. I'm not the primary ball handler. I'm not the primary distributor, the primary playmaker. I can now play off of an actual lead guard, a guy that's going to set me up and get me involved in the offense. On top of that, this drops Minnesota under the second apron with this money from LaMelo Ball, because if I'm not mistaken, and Swiper, you're better at this than I am. I think that with this money, I think the first year of LaMelo Ball's money, I think he's making $41 million, which drops them $11 million under the second apron, which is good for them because I think that now I think they can continue to go shopping. So Minnesota is trying. Minnesota 100% is trying. I think that they've taken a reach because Mars, you know more about this kid, Christian Anderson, than I do. But it was obvious in Charlotte that they were over LaMelo Ball. It was obvious that they done with him. Before the season, 3 years, he's averaging 35 games a year. I think that they were done.
Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up Giannis chill, because Giannis, the rest of the league watches, right? And we watched, I think, Milwaukee wait a year too long to deal Giannis. And depending how you feel about the Heat package, a lot of people said it was too much. A lot of people said it wasn't that great anyway when you dive into it. I think that this was a rare instance where a team was being proactively aggressive on their star and you sell high. I think to Swiper's point, LaMelo stock's never been higher than right now. Just a year ago, we were questioning whether this can be a guy you win a championship with. And I know it's harsh given the season that the Hornets just had, but it's very clear that the front office have had these concerns as well, even with signing him to a max extension. So, I mean, for me personal, they're reasonable questions. I think, again, Swiper, to your point, there's urgency from the Timberwolves to keep Anthony Edwards and try and upgrade the star power. They understand what it means to lose him. They've seen KG leave and win. They've seen Kevin Love leave and win. They've seen Andrew Wiggins leave and win. They just saw Cat leave and win. They do not want to lose Anthony Edwards because they didn't do all they can chill to upgrade the star power around him. And it's not every day a guard of, LaMelo Ball's caliber is available on the market, and you have to move quickly, and they did. And it's a massive haul for the Charlotte Hornets, but I think it's also good business from their front office to sell high when the stock's at its highest. So
when we live in a league with such parity, you can't sit on your hands. Even if there is Kobe and Shaq running around or Jordan and Pippen running around. You can't sit on your hands. But in this particular situation, with us having 8 different champions and us having so many different people in the conference championship, like the window is open for a bunch of different teams. Minnesota was in the Western Conference Finals 2 straight years, right? So we can't just sit on our hands and run it back or hope that this thing gets better. I'm an advocate of developing talent. I 100% can get with that. I don't want to just dump on my guys, but Minnesota is doing that. I mean, Jaden McDaniels, what are we in, Ron? Year 5 with him? Year 4 with him? Something like that?
Got to be 5. Yeah, 5.
I think it's got to be 7.
So we even further. So we even further off. So they've developed Jaden McDaniels. They're developing Anthony Edwards, right? This kid Shannon, who they got. They're trying to turn him into a player. So I'm all for. I am all for development when it comes to your younger guys. But when there's a window, especially when you're in a small market and you have an opportunity to make moves, you have to do it. And the reason why you have to do it is because when that window closes, it's closed.
Man, first off, before I get into anything, I just want to know who won this trade.
Well, it depends on your perspective, Ron.
I think it's a good trade for both, to be honest.
I think Minnesota
depends on
like,
if you're not super high on LaMelo, then you think that the Hornets won. I mean, if you listen to some of the pundits, which is the people that are the insiders that are connected to Charlotte or connected to the NBA in a circle, they think that the Hornets won this easily because they got off a problematic player that has injury concerns and stuff as well. Mars, you can fact check this because you're obviously more Charlotte than any of us up here, but I think he was still on a minutes restriction even when he came back this year and was playing. Maybe he was playing less than 30 minutes a game or something like that. So injury concerns, off the court concerns, even as of last year, the whole incident with the driving and all that kind of stuff. And then he's obviously super young and still developing in some ways. So some people believe that the Hornets far and away won this because they got a 4 that they can use and then get rid of Miles Bridges. Number 1, they got a bunch of assets on over as well, and they also have this TPE they can use to bring in premium talent into this roster. Just for context, like they wanted to make a trade or make an adjustment, add Drew Holiday to the roster. They could literally just offer the TPE with a first round pick and a swap.
For the people at home that don't know what it is, TPE.
It's a trade player exception. Literally, all it is you allocated a certain amount of your roster on a trade out, and so the NBA rewards you where you get basically an allocated
because they got
money.
off LaMelo.
Yes,
they get this.
Okay,
got you.
Yeah, basically. Denver's
Just
had
the
these before. Yeah, other teams have had these before. Now this is the biggest by far. So if you're a pundit and you're on that side, they think that they won. But on the other end, people like Real Talk and others who are Minnesota fans and Anthony Edwards fans and even myself, I think this is great for LaMelo and for Ant because I think just going forward, that backcourt is going to be special. And again, as long as LaMelo is healthy, which is going to be the concern, and him and Anthony Edwards are rolling out into the floor together, you're going to, especially in a regular season, you're going to have one of the best offenses in the NBA. And then the fact that they kept Rudy too, Damian, for me was huge.
Love that.
Because they didn't have to get up off him. LaMelo with Rudy is going to be insane. So,
Swipa.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Shout out to the pundits. Anybody that thinks that the Charlotte Hornets won this trade, respectfully.
Ron, you ain't going to say that if Christian Anderson turned out to be a baller. You're not going to say that, Ron.
Christian Anderson wasn't in this trade, though.
But that's not the point.
I'm talking about.
The reason why they got off of LaMelo Ball.
It's important to highlight as well, though, that the Hornets also now have the second most first rounders in the league.
So, Damian, I'm gonna get. Actually, let me start with that. I'm glad you brought that up. I have it right here. So the Hornets have a 2027 first, a 2027 lottery protected first from the Miami Heat, a 2027 top 2 protected first from the Dallas Mavericks. That's 3 first round picks next year. In 2028, they have a swap right to the Timberwolves pick. And they don't have their own pick, but they have a swap with the Timberwolves pick. 2029, they have their own first. 2029, they have another first via the Mark Williams trade. 2030, they have a first or a swap right with the Minnesota Timberwolves. They don't have their own pick, though. 2031, they have their own first round. 2032, they have a swap right with the Minnesota Timberwolves, but they don't have their own pick. Well, actually, they do have their own pick. They have a swap in Minnesota.
Ron, you care about them picks 6-7 years later? You care about those?
I'm about to get into that, Chill.
Okay.
2033, they have their own, or they have a first, and then they have the Minnesota Timberwolves first. So essentially, they have 3 swap rights or first round swaps with the Wolves.
Sure.
Keep in mind the CBA or the way that they just changed the lottery. I don't know how valuable a swap is if your odds are going to be the same as my odds. On top of that, Minnesota's going to be a good team. So, yeah, we have the right to swap with you, but you guys are going to be one of the better teams in the NBA. So, like, your odds are, for the most part, going to be low to get a good pick, anyways. So
if I don't have a first round, but if I don't have a first round,
no, chill, they do. My bad. I messed that up.
Okay.
All the years that I said that they don't have a first round pick, they do. They just have the option to swap with Minnesota.
Yeah.
So essentially, you're swapping with somebody that's going to be a better team than you. You only really get one outright first round pick, and that's in 2033, which I guess is still valuable. 2033 is going to be here sooner than we think. You know, it's happened where we've seen teams trade picks out a million years, and eventually time will come, and that pick will come to fruition. However, what I'm saying is, you essentially, to me, I don't value those swap rights at all. You essentially traded LaMelo Ball, a premier point guard, for Naz Reid and a first round pick. And on top of that, a lot of you guys were very high on the Hornets, how good their offense was, the steps LaMelo had taken, Brandon Miller, Con Knippel, Moussa Diabate, that whole engine, Charles Lee, that offensive team was dynamic. It was electric. They had one of the best offenses in the league. You guys had finally just took a step forward. I don't believe they got anything close to what they should have got for LaMelo Ball. I think this is one of the biggest fleeces that
I mean, before this year, Ron, we got a guy that played 3 straight years. He's averaging 30 games a year. Ron, what are we talking about here? It's not like we get a dude.
I can say similar things with Giannis. I can say similar things with Giannis.
The difference is that Giannis ain't you can't say similar things with Giannis because Giannis ain't 31 years old. I mean, LaMelo Ball ain't 31 years old.
But one of them is significantly.
Well, no, I understand that, Swipa. I'm not comparing the value. I'm comparing the injury history. I'm saying
Giannis had one injury-prone season. LaMelo's had one healthy season. It's a bit different.
Over the last 3 years, okay. But also too though, Giannis missing the playoffs. Okay. In 2 to 3 years, just things like that. What I understand that. I understand that. I'm saying I'm not comparing the two players. I'm just comparing the injury circumstances. Even the same thing. And this is the thing too. We said this same thing about when they traded Luka. Like, oh man, Luka's not an injury prone player, but they put that in there and they use that to like muddy up his value. And my thing is like, injuries aside,
no evidence, Ron, to suggest that Luka was an injury-plagued player. There was no evidence of that. He was leading the league in minutes. Not only was he leading.
Luka was injured at the moment he got traded.
Even if he was injured, he still was playing. LaMelo Ball doesn't play. Ron, 3 straight years, averaging 35 games a year.
So what did he play last year? What did he play last year?
72.
So he was healthy. So he's coming off a healthy year.
Before last season.
Yes.
That's correct. Before last season, we had 3 straight years, Ron. He averaging 35 games. That's barely playing 2 months. Barely. Now, don't get me wrong. I can appreciate the logic of what he could be as a player. I 100% can appreciate that. I think he's one of the better distributors in the game when he's actually taking care of the basketball. I think he's one of the better playmakers in the game. I love his finishing. Leaves to be desired. I'm not going to argue that point. However, for what he has done, his availability is the biggest thing in question. Like, we could talk about his game later on. His ability to stay healthy is the biggest thing in question. If we can't count on this guy, doesn't matter how good he is. That doesn't matter.
Chill. I'm not denying that. I'm not denying the injury history. What I'm merely pointing out is the talent level.
Sure.
Is through the roof. And to let a guy like that walk out the door, he's young, he's talented. Because I don't believe that a first round pick, 3 seconds in Naz Reid is a good return, is a good haul for LaMelo Ball.
So
Naz Reid in a 2033 first round pick. Naz Reid in a pick.
It would have been, but Ron, you would have felt worse last year.
Let's go back to what Real Talk just said. You just played. Who did they just trade? Real Talk.
They traded their best player. I thought that Charlotte could plug in some holes and potentially do some damage in the Eastern Conference. Like, I thought that was going to be their mindset or their frame of mind. Not, we're about to trade high on our best player.
Yeah.
Why are they resetting? They had a good thing going.
Can we stop using the term trade high, please, when you got Naz Reid?
But I'm saying that is their point of view. That's their point of view, and the people that support their trade. So I'm not saying I disagree with you. I'm just saying
who supports the trade. Does anybody up here support this?
I do.
I'm perfectly fine with it.
I do.
Yeah, so exactly. So I'm with you, Ron. Supporting this trade from the Charlotte perspective makes absolutely no sense. We just talked all second half of last year. Me, Mars, and some others were gloating about how good the Charlotte Hornets were playing, how elite their offense was. That was predicated a lot on LaMelo Ball. LaMelo Ball has been leading and been one of the best drivers of offense for years now in the NBA. And so excuse me that he was playing 35 games when Taj Gibson was on the roster. Quite frankly, do I think there were times where he could have played potentially and was like, the fuck am I rushing out here for to
See,
play
that
on
kind of logic right there is what I'm not getting with that, bro.
I'm saying you can agree or disagree with it. Fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to me, that's what he was going through. Now you finally get a good team or a good supporting cast around him. You bring in Nipple, right? You got Brandon Miller. He's playing games. Musa's being a really serviceable big, and now you're winning games. You've built it. You've built the momentum. Right, to do something positive for you to then get to the off season and trade your best player away.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Real talk,
are
you more if I told you that there
with
was more having to do with the immaturity issues and off the floor stuff as well, that would make you feel any different?
And probably that, but also real talk.
Is the talent worth the headache? Is the question.
Wait, Swiper. We're leaving out something very important. We're leaving out something very important. If we are moving forward with this guy, like you just said, we had our best year. How did we do, real talk? We didn't make the playoffs. He played 72 games, and we still didn't make the playoffs. And we were rolling at one point. It's not like we were good. We were rolling at one point. And this is probably the best that we were going to get. I think that they looked at LaMelo Ball. I think they looked at LaMelo Ball and said, this is probably the best he's going to be in terms of health. We don't know if this is going to continue. So we should probably get off of him now, because in 2 or 3 years, because remember, he's on the books for 3 more years at 40+ million. And if these injuries keep mounting, that means that the value of him is going to go even further. It's going to go this way. Now, Mars, I can appreciate getting Nas Reed as compensation. Yes, but I have to be able
appreciate it.
I know I can appreciate
A
it.
6 man.
It's not so high. He's saying I said it's not so high. She's saying you can appreciate that logic.
I definitely can appreciate that logic. That's the point that I was making. But with that also being said, you have to, if you're going to move off of him, if you are moving off of him, you have to move off of him when the time is at its best. And I think that at this point, I think that they felt like this is the end of the line with LaMelo. We've gotten everything that we're going to get at him. We're in year 6.
Obviously, that's what they thought. We're saying, well, Road Talk and Ron are saying that was stupid for them to think that. We understand that, obviously, if they were looking to trade LaMelo, they thought they were at the end of the line with LaMelo. Ron and Road Talk think that was dumb. That's what they're saying.
Right. I do. I get that.
And so, even on top of that, it's not just the dumb part. It's not just the dumb part. Well, I'm not even mad at them getting off LaMelo. But for a 6 man in a first-round pick, that's the dumb part.
Why do you keep saying just 1 first-round pick, brother?
I think that they
because the swaps mean that Charlotte was going to keep their own pick.
Well,
so they got 1 pick. That's what I mean.
We're banking on Minnesota being really good. That's what we banking on.
This is why swaps make trades look a lot better than they are. Oh my god, you swapped
swaps,
to a contender.
Swaps are important for other teams.
Yeah.
Though.
Oh my god, you swapped to a contender. Yay, I'm gonna get my own pick.
You swaps are important
for
a trade and
you just didn't. You just didn't acquire a pick. You acquired one. You acquired 1 pick. Everything else is gonna be picking your own draft pick because you're gonna be in the lottery. You got 1 pick. One is right.
Yeah,
you got 1 pick.
I'm disagreeing respectfully. That's not swaps have a little more value than that, but I understand the look of
it's not for you to disagree. That's factually what's going to happen. They are going to get they're going to keep their own pick. So factually, they got 1 pick in the trade.
It's not just about
they got 1 pick in the trade.
Well, wait a minute.
When Ron says they got 1 pick, they literally got 1 pick.
Okay. Unless you're including the three second rounders.
The only pick they are going to get that they didn't otherwise have before is the 1 non-swap. Every other pick that they are going to draft with in the future is literally going to be a pick that they already had. The only value these swaps have is now they can trade it to another team. That's cool, great. Okay, but in terms of picks they've actually acquired in this trade, they've acquired 1 pick.
But Mars, can we agree? Can we agree that this LaMelo Ball trade, if this doesn't work, where he doesn't hold up and Minnesota isn't as good, and I don't know, Minnesota ends up
3 second round picks, by the way.
My fault. Second rounders as well. My bad.
and Minnesota ends up in the lottery, like in one of those years. I mean, that's good for Charlotte. If they end up missing the playoffs,
Charlotte will still be below them in the standings, but maybe the lottery odds favor the Wolves, and then they get the Wolves pick.
That's what I'm saying. Also, so instead of us having the 19th or the 21st pick, we now have the 9th pick because now we get to swap with them.
Well, they also will be the 9th pick or the 10th pick because you're going to be right there in the lottery with them. But sure, yeah, if that happens, sure, it works.
We also, I think y'all not factoring in like what Ron said yesterday. Oh, it was yesterday or the day before yesterday about what exactly happens with this kid Christian Anderson. Like if this kid Christian Anderson turns out to be a player like you hope he would be. I ain't saying LaMelo Ball good, but if he ends up turning out to be really good and this team ends up contending to be a playoff team and they play a different brand of basketball, maybe that works for them. Maybe that works for them.
Yeah, but you have to remember as well. You
guys are now banking on this trade being valid because the Wolves start missing the playoffs. I just want to cool.
Why are you breaking up what just was working? You just were playing well
because it wasn't working for a long time. Real talk. That's why.
Because your team employed Taj Gibson. Oh my God! Why does that make sense to you?
Years ago, though. Real talk. That was years ago.
Year ago. He was playing with a trash team. So yes, y'all were trash, and he was hurt, and Brandon Miller wasn't playing. You finally got a good.
How long Brandon Miller been on the team?
Out of these players, they played well on the second back end of the season, and then now it's breaking up time. What are we talking about?
But real talk,
they were hurt and they were bad.
But
that's why they were bad.
But real talk, I think you're correct on the talent. But you're correct.
Yes, and LaMelo Ball was one of the main reasons why they were hurt. No. It was one of the main reasons.
Yes, but they were also bad. Right. That was a bad team.
So maybe the architect of what we're doing right now, maybe the architect of what we was doing was wrong. Maybe we building this unit around the wrong guy. And not the fact that we got him healthy, maybe it's time to get off of him right now. While he has some value, as opposed to holding on to him, and we go back to what we was doing 2 years ago. We go back to what we was doing with Brandon Miller getting hurt. We go back to what we was doing with LaMelo getting hurt again, playing 35, 40 games. We go back to that again. No, let's get off of this guy right now, and let's see what we can get for him and move forward.
And you got Naz Reid.
But I think it's like, shouldn't that be more of a sign to you, though? Like, go ahead, Damien.
Yes, squeeze in here, Damien.
Yeah, Another thing is like I don't think this trade happens if Conker doesn't have the rookie season that he had, because it's like you guys remember like at the start of last season there was even conversations about how good Con was around, hey, should the Hornets actually start building around this guy instead of LaMelo, because there was all those concerns before they went on that run and had a great season. But I agree with Real Talk and Ron in a way as well, because they felt like they were building something. They were the most exciting team in the league post like December. And like we spoke about it yesterday. They had like a month and a half period. They had the best offensive rating in league history for a month. Their defense was excellent. They felt like they had all the momentum in the world. They beat Miami in that first play-in game. They laid an egg against Orlando in the second play-in game. You know, Con struggled a little bit. All these different things happened, but that was a maturation process because you had a bunch of young guys that are still trying to work it out. So to be honest, like to Ron's point as well, I was very surprised that they moved off LaMelo after the season they had last year, because I think as well, to Real Talk's point, like it felt like they could improve around what they already had to then now make some serious noise this year. But obviously they felt like just LaMelo just wasn't their guy anymore. And now it's very important to re-sign Kobe White. What they do with their trade exception is very important, because based on last year, there's a very real possibility now that they take a step backwards this coming year if they don't get it right and they don't replace what he brought to the table as one of the best offensive engines in the league.
Damien, they were the 10th seed. Like taking a step back is like
but they started really badly.
Very true.
And then they came on really hard.
And then they got that Paulo hammer. So Real Talk, let me ask you a question, because you're obviously the LaMelo FC of this demographic, I would say. For you, Real Talk, in your estimation, you're kind of like a. Did you say?
Mars is Melo FC.
No, I know, but he's Musa Diabate FC though. Like you're LaMelo FC. Mm-hmm. So Real Talk, if you're a Charlotte fan, let's put you in the seat. This is your third team, right? Say this is your third team that you care about. Like, if you knew if you knew that behind the scenes, right, with LaMelo, because this is what the Charlotte ownership and front office is, their positioning. We have been managing you like a superstar behind the scenes. I'm talking about like some just immaturity, some stuff, right? Some stuff been going on.
Swept under the rug that we don't
and
know
you
about.
haven't played super well for us. You've been hurt. Now you did have a great year, real talk. You did, but then you showed up in the play-in and you got dropped off like a bag of old Ron draws, like holes in them, all kind of stuff, just completely dysfunctional.
Dookie draws.
So real talk, with that in mind, and I can get, in my estimation, unprotected first in 2033 when you're going to suck. Swaps when you run into injuries, who knows what it's going to be, and we can use that to trade. And then on top of that, we get a $40 million trade player exception in this new CBA, real talk. And we get a 4 that we can make sure we get off the other guy that we don't want on this team anymore, Miles Bridges. And we have Bree Mill, Christian Anderson, Con Knuppel, and Haynes Steinbach, who I think is going to be terrific. If all of that was the case, real talk, you get money, you get assets, and you get off of a headache. What, I guess for you, even with all that information, you still wouldn't feel like, as a Charlotte fan, that this is a worthwhile move, if indeed it was a lot more headache than it was results for you, real talk.
No, I just don't think that this what they got, in my opinion, doesn't match the level of player that they just gave up. Again, in my opinion. I also just do not get the concept of, we've played the best basketball we've seen in quite some time in franchise history, to then trade the best player that was driving that success.
Would it have helped you, real talk, if they would have got more for him as opposed to what they got? Is that what
I mean, sure.
Is that what the problem is? Because I get Ron, I get
they
your
sent
logic.
my man Josh Green over there as well, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, they did. Because Ron, I get your logic.
Another good piece for Minnesota.
It sounded to me like you think that they handed LaMelo over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack. That's what it sounded like.
Yes,
they handed him
100%.
That's what it sounded like that they handed him over for. But the intention, to your point, real talk, was this is it. This is as far as we going. Like that, maybe what to your point, real talk, maybe what you saw last year, maybe that's an aberration. Maybe that was just 1 year. That's all we getting. That we're not getting no more of that. Like you might
LaMelo Ball leading elite offense.
That might be 1 year.
Is not something that has only happened for 1 year. This is what I'm saying. You finally put a team with some decent offensive weaponry around LaMelo Ball, and with him on the court, you had a 126 offensive rating. Okay, you had the best offense in the league with LaMelo Ball on the court last year.
That's correct.
And now you've traded that player. I don't see how that makes sense. That doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't.
Real talk. You at least wait till the All-Star game.
Bail out the rest of the roster. That's, to me, that's what that meant. Okay, let's try to, if we're getting off Miles Bridges, let's try to get another 4. Probably need another, like a real 5. Shout out to Musa, but I think Musa's really a serviceable big as a backup on a real team trying to compete.
Serviceable.
I'm saying I think he's a backup 5
star
on a real playoff team.
Well, Mars isn't here to defend this guy. He's a star.
He's a backup 5. But you get a 5, right? You address the 4 spot. I even like the fact that they brought in Kobe White to like handle some other ball handling responsibilities. Like, you were building something good. This was the first time in a long time, Chill. Yes, there was real optimism about Charlotte. For you to now trade the best player. Fine. With Charlotte, I hope y'all are happy. I'm actually happy about the trade because now LaMelo and Ant are together. And so those are 2 of my favorite players in the league. Salute to Charlotte. Continue to suck like y'all usually do. And LaMelo will be in the West contending for a championship.
Are you off of Charlotte FC now?
I was never on Charlotte FC. I was LaMelo Ball FC.
But you know what's interesting about this is like, you know what's interesting though is like, Swipa, to your point around the Charlotte front office really valuing some of that like personal stuff, like some of the emotional stuff, the maturity stuff, whereas the Minnesota Timberwolves are now pairing him with a guy, in my opinion, as well, who's like not like an elite leader either. So it's like they have made they don't feel like those are like concerns of theirs that would put them off trading for someone like him. So I think there's like a delta in those two front officers, how they see that. It obviously means a lot to Charlotte, but then Minnesota's like, oh my God, there's this guy that's available that we could pair with Ant. Who cares about what potentially could happen in the locker room, what potentially could happen behind the scenes, what trouble they could get in off the floor. Like, it's just very interesting how front officers operate. But I think fundamentally this is a very dynamic pairing. Like, I know we'll probably dive into the fit now, but like
let's do it right now. Damien, talk about what makes this pairing so dynamic.
It's great.
Well, I've been harping on this for a long time, like around needing to upgrade the star power around Anthony Edwards. I thought Julius Randle was excellent last year. He had a great series against the Lakers. Obviously, this year he struggled in the playoffs, but they just felt like, to Chill's point, like you're on the doorstep, you make the Western Conference Finals, but it's very clear that you don't have enough star power to really go all the way with this team. So I know there was rumors about Kyrie Irving. There was rumors about just someone in the backcourt that can be a very, very high-level creator, because guys like Jaden McDaniels can potentially become overburdened offensively. You're trying to maximize the hell out of guys like Naz Reid. You know, you hope Rudy Gobert can give you something offensively and not just be, 4-on-5 out there. So LaMelo as like a ball handler, as someone who can run an offense, as someone who can play really good pick and roll with one of the best screeners now in the league as well in Rudy Gobert. Someone as well, I think Anthony Edwards' evolution as like a like a high volume 3-point shooter can help now, because you don't have as many concerns with him playing off the ball. I have a lot of concerns with them as a defensive backcourt duo, but offensively, I think they're gonna be really special, man.
Real Talk and I had a conversation during the playoffs this year, and one of the things we talked about was Minnesota's offense being the most viable when Mike Conley was on the floor. Not when Ant was on the floor, it was when Mike Conley was on the floor, because now those guys can play. Now Jaden McDaniels can play off the ball. Ant can play off the ball. Now we got a floor leader. The offense seems much more stable with him, with that floor leader on the floor, with that distributor on the floor. I'm not a huge LaMelo Ball fan, but I can tell you what I am. He is a distributor. He can play make. He will get you the basketball in space where it's necessary. I've always liked that about LaMelo Ball. I can do without the shot selection sometimes. I think he pounds the basketball a little bit too much for me sometimes. But I tell you what he will do. He'll get into the teeth of the defense, and he'll get you open shots. He will get you good looks. And the fact that Anthony Edwards can now play off of somebody that dynamic, that could get to the rim, that could get into the lane, and that could get him open shots, I think you're going to see a much better Anthony Edwards, because this guy now can be more of a slasher. This guy now can be more of a catch-and-shoot two-guard. This guy can be more. Now, we could run offense for Ant, as opposed to Ant initiating offense. Like, we could run pin downs. We could run curl cuts. We could run ISOs with Ant now that LaMelo Ball is on the floor, as opposed to before we putting the ball in Ant hands and Ant's got to operate off of Rudy Gobert. Ant's got to operate off Julius Randle. No, now we can run offense where we could get him in ISOs. And last but not least, LaMelo can knock down an open shot. Like I said, his shot selection isn't exactly my favorite, but he will knock down an open shot. He will keep you as a defense honest. Yes, he will. And he's a bucket getter too on top of that. So I think this is good from that aspect.
This is a match made in heaven. I'm not gonna lie. As far as the exact guard or point guard that Anthony Edwards needed, one thing that I'm very excited for when it comes to Anthony Edwards playing with LaMelo Ball and them re-signing Io as well. Hey, Ant, you're gonna have to play in transition this year, bud. You're gonna have to get out and run, and this is going to benefit you anyway. But this is something that he's just refused to do. But with LaMelo Ball as your point guard, you're going to have to run, because he's going. He's pushing the tempo. If he gets the rebound, he's going. He's going to advance past the ball up the court as well. It's time to put your running shoes on, Ant, because hey, you want the ball, you got to run. But I also think that this will help Ant's efficiency, because he'll get some more play in transition as well. Y'all said it. I mean, one thing I also think is they saw San Antonio play OKC, and they've noted their problems and struggles against OKC, which to me is Ant had way too much burden of ball handling in that particular matchup, even in the playoffs and even now. Last year when it was just Io there, right? Dante DiVincenzo is not really a ball handler, and so I think they tasked him too much with that. And then you see like the multiple guard attack that San Antonio was able to do, and I think when you have multiple ball handlers against OKC, you're not overwhelming one particular player with that responsibility against that defense. So with LaMelo, Ant, and Io, now you have multiple ball handlers who can run pick and roll, get into the teeth of the defense and make a rim read or make a kick out pass, right? I think that's very important. And then to your point, Chill, everybody is so concerned about what LaMelo is going to do for Ant, which is good. Absolutely. It's going to be great, fantastic. But LaMelo's never played with a player that attracts or draws this much defensive attention. And if you look at his percentages, you might think that LaMelo isn't the quality of shooter that he actually is. LaMelo Ball, when you generate quality threes for him, is a knockdown shooter. And I think potentially with playing alongside Anthony Edwards, he's going to be able to raise his efficiency as well. I think this is just a match made in heaven. You got Ant now who gets to operate more off ball, right? Play as a scorer, not many better in the league. You have a point guard who can knock down open shots, run pick and roll, make every pass out of pick and roll, and pushes the pace, something that you need in your starting unit because Io DeSumo was the only player last year pushing pace for them, right? So now that's in the starting unit. And so now if I'm Minnesota, I'm looking to address potentially my backup 5 spot, right? Because you have to see how Behringer is looking. Maybe he's your backup 5.
What are we doing with this
Maybe
kid?
you go with that.
What are we doing?
But they definitely need to address their starting 4 spot, though.
Yeah, what are
Like
we doing?
they have to address their starting
big
4
time,
spot.
yeah.
I'm glad you brought that up, real talk, because I was wondering what are we doing with this kid? I mean, what are we in year 2 or year 3 with him?
Isn't he a rookie?
With
Who, Behringer?
Yeah,
What is this year?
I think this is
2?
year 2. I think this is year like what are we doing?
Going
Chill.
into year 2, yeah.
So he's go. So this season was just so.
Yeah, Chill. He's just a pup. On top of that, they have Rudy Gobert.
They do.
You just learn it right now. You learn it from Big
Rudy
Bro.
Gobert is going to be 34 years
When's
old.
Rudy gonna get a break? That's what I want to know.
They also
'cause,
have my
Rudy-
guy Rocco Zakowski. They have the Aussie backup center as well, but
That was one
still
thing that I
well
always
as well,
complained about too, real talk, that you just brought up. I never understood why Minnesota wasn't a better transition team. Like with the athletes that they have. Like, why don't you guys play faster? Like Ant, one of the better athletes in the game. Jaden McDaniels is a damn good athlete, right? Rudy Gobert gets that thing off the glass and he pitches it out to you guys. You guys should be playing faster than you guys are, because I think that would enhance your offense even more than what it already does. So now that you got LaMelo Ball to speed the game up, like Ant should be able to get more stop and pop threes, right? Jaden McDaniels should get more layups to the rim, like stuff like that. I think it's really going to enhance their offense.
And don't forget about Terrence Shannon too, one of the most explosive and athletic players in the league as well.
Yeah.
Him cutting behind
He gonna be
defenses
in
with
the rotation
LaMelo
too now with Dante out
heavily in the rotation. And speaking of
The center
Dante,
is fast as
Shout
well.
out Isaiah Evans too, can slotting really nicely into that.
and then also speaking of Dante too, like that's still a contract that they can move.
What's it
And
expiring?
potentially,
Yeah.
I mean that's a good contract that they can move that. So
12
like,
million or something like that.
yeah, so they have that, and then also too, like this team can still do some wheeling and dealing. Like I know everybody is, everybody likes Rudy Gobert. It's a possibility. It's a here's the thing though. Here's the thing though too. I do actually like Rudy here. Obviously not on the offensive end. LaMelo is such a good LaMelo's such.
They've had
Well, no,
discussions.
I'm talking about with him there.
already. They have.
But and that's the thing too, Damian. They've been having discussions on it.
Rudy Gobert.
But I'm saying like on the offensive end, like LaMelo, I would like to think LaMelo can make them better. But if you can't catch the ball and if you can't finish a point blank layup, LaMelo can't help you do that. But on the defensive end, he covers up for everything that you lose with LaMelo.
It's worse now.
Rudy Gobert covers it up for him.
Rudy got to work harder now.
Rudy just got to be Rudy.
LaMelo will defend. Don't do that, Swipa. LaMelo will play some defense. Yes, he will. He might not.
LaMelo was cool defensively last year.
He ain't Drew Holiday. No, he ain't Drew Holiday. I'm not gonna argue that point. No, he ain't that
This
good. But
is a better defensive unit too.
That's not true.
This is a
Absolutely.
much better defensive unit than he was playing
gonna
with
have to
in
commit
Charlotte.
yeah. Chris Finch demands that stuff, so he's gonna have to buy into the defensive stuff big time. But the real talk, you make a good point on
their
the
coordinator's gone now, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
but
But yeah,
yeah. No,
the Timberwolves should be good. Yeah, they I think they'll be fun. They'll definitely be a fun team to watch. I'm definitely curious what they're going to do with that 4 spot, because they are absolutely going to go get a 4. There's just no way to do it.
They have Jaden McDaniels.
No, he's not going to play the 4, brother.
What?
He can't be your.
Keldon Johnson plays the 4 for the Spurs.
And how'd that go?
And that was a problem.
How'd
It was
that
a
go,
problem.
Ron?
So
That was bad.
here's what I want to here's what I want to remind you guys.
so
of.
who's your projected starting
Here-
five? Who's your projected
here's-
starting five? Bro?
Well, they're not done yet, Damien. But here's I
They're
do
not
just
done. Yeah, I know that.
with
As
with
well.
Jaden
Wrong
McDaniels.
going. This is
Jaden
some
McDaniels.
bullshit. I know where
It's
Ron
not
going.
bullshit. He is
Here, Joe.
6'11".
He ain't that tall. But
He-
number one, he's also not a 4.
He's 6'9".
6'9", Ron. He's
He's
6'9".
6'10". No, he's
6'10". All right, we can
he's
settle at
6'10".
6'10". We can settle for 6'10".
We can settle at 6'9". That's what he is.
Okay, even at 6'9", you can play the 4.
Not
There are
in the
dudes-
Western
there-
Conference
there are
every
dudes-
night.
Why not?
Bro, do you realize how big the West is, dog?
Who in the West is just is spooking Jaden McDaniels? Who in the West
Well,
is it like?
this
Oh my
new-
God, you're picking on Jaden McDaniels, one of the best premier defenders in the league.
Yeah, perimeter. Yeah, against
No
bigs.
premier
Yeah,
defenders
perimeter.
in the
You
league.
said it right. You said it
No.
right the first time before you started.
Who in the West? Matter of fact, who in the league is just bullying him?
The Thunder, the
Who?
Nuggets
Chet?
are huge. Memphis
Chet?
is huge.
Chet?
This new Memphis team is massive. I don't know if you've been paying
The
attention.
Memphis
Could you-
Grizzlies.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm
my
going through the teams.
God.
And then the Spurs-
They're not
We're
in the
staying
same
up all
team.
night worried about the Memphis Grizzlies.
First off, by the way, Chill, you
you
realize
got
this?
and you got
when
scared.
Ron's on the way to getting cooked, you start making saying I didn't
I
make that
want
point.
you-
I didn't say Memphis was gonna cook them. I'm going through the teams. If you would shut up. So what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is now if you move over to
Move over to who?
the Spurs are obviously a big team, but we'll see what happens.
The
with them
team that is
because they have-
actively looking for a 4. The
Yes,
team that
and
doesn't
you
have
know-
a 4.
and you know what
The
they
team
did?
that I said
And
Keldon Johnson,
you know what
and
they
you
did?
guys just did
Keldon
backflips.
Johnson is a
Try
big player
again,
for them.
brother. Try
Keldon
again.
Johnson is not going to be on this
You
team.
gave me
before.
the
I
Grizzlies
don't
and
know
you
if to
gave me
say
the
that.
Spurs. Try again.
I don't know if you know this because I know
The
you
Jazz
were
swipe
yeah
is
the Jazz
probably
are
the team you're
massive.
looking for.
We're going through this, but again, Ron doesn't think these are good teams. So some
They're
of this
not.
is
They're,
like
they're legitimately. They haven't
Brother.
proven to us that they're a good team.
Brother,
No,
so-
they legitimately have not
wait,
proven
wait,
that they're
hold
a
on,
good team.
hold on. No,
Please,
wait.
please come back with
Wait.
a team that Minnesota should be
Okay,
scared
Ron,
of if
Ron.
Jaden McDaniels is at the 4.
I just want to go to the
Cut the bullshit.
I'm
Just
not
give it
cutting
to me.
anything.
Give
I
me the
am.
team.
Ron, so you don't think the Jazz are fully healthy are a good team?
No, they are. They are.
I'm asking
Look,
Ron.
oh,
Can he be
all
casual?
right, here's what I'm saying. The Jazz might be a play-in six seed at best. So I will just
Okay,
I'll concede
now-
and give you the Jazz.
okay.
No, I will
So-
concede and give you the Jazz.
Sure.
That's
So
one.
we're not. And by the way, we're continually talking about this is going to be in the playoff. In the regular season, they're going to be good. Whatever. You can do what you want. Jaden physically putting him at the 4 though for the entire season, and they're going multiple rounds. That's just not what you want to do with Jaden.
I think Jaden. I really think Jaden will be all right.
Ron, he can play the 4.
Brother,
Okay.
if he-
No, wait a minute. Wait. Because I know this is your man, Ron, and I know where you're going with this.
It's not about that. It's
wait,
who I think he is as a player
Right,
and a
I
defender.
do know that, and
he has gotten mushed by bigger players before. This has happened.
Who mushes him?
Brother,
Yeah.
when they went
mushes
small,
him?
when they have gone small versus a normal
Aaron
Denver
Gordon
situation,
did. Aaron Gordon
yes,
did.
he did.
No, he
He's
didn't.
done it for
No, he
years.
didn't.
This
No,
is
he
what happened
didn't.
with Aaron Gordon. We told Aaron Gordon, if y'all gonna beat us, you got to shoot it at the long ball.
No, that's not
And
even
that's
how
what
they
he did.
play.
That is how it did. That
That's
is how
they
it happened.
play.
You got to shoot the long ball.
No,
And
this
he
is
ended up
how are
shooting-
you gonna tell me what they do when they have
Because
Jaden
you
at the
know,
4,
you are not
and then they get a switch, and then they force a
You
switch
are not
on the
the
Jokic.
only one who watched the Denver Nuggets.
No, and then they force a switch onto Jokic. They do this every time they play.
So, once again,
Jaden is not a
Minnesota
post defender
Timberwolves-
versus these bigger players. And then on top of that, yes, I think in a regular season it's going to be fine. The problem is, I'm saying you're going to need
First
more
of all,
assistance
let's get to the
defensively
bottom
in the
of
long
one thing.
run and through a
Minnesota
playoff
owns
run
Denver.
than
So
having
let's chill out.
Jaden at the
Let's
4. And then
stop
on top of that,
talking.
and then you're looking at the Thunder. I still think that's going to be an issue because
Yes.
that size matters versus the Thunder.
Sure.
They have Jay Will, Chet, and Hart. And then whatever they do with Sorber this next year.
Sure.
And then on top of that, if you're looking at the Spurs, you're right, Ron. What did they do out of 4, Ron? What did they do out of 4?
Swiper, I do want to say I'm not saying that Minnesota shouldn't go get a 4 and more help in the front court. I'm merely just saying I believe Jaden McDaniels can play a heavy amount of minutes.
Jaden McDaniels can spot minutes at
They're gonna need a
four.
wing.
That's what
They're
I'm
gonna need a
saying.
wing.
Swiper is correct. You need to go get an actual four. I like names like PJ Washington. I
Yep.
like a name like John Collins, right?
Mhm.
Those type of players. Now, in fact, Ron, I do think next year, I don't know how many minutes of this lineup we're going to get, but I think their best lineup is actually going to be Jaden McDaniels at the 4. So I think it's going to be LaMelo, Ant, Io, Jaden, probably Rudy at the 5. I think that lineup right there with all of that shooting, size, athleticism, and then you have the defensive anchor in the back. Jaden McDaniels, to Mars brings us up to as well. Jaden McDaniels is a really good weak side rim protector as well. That's why him at the 4 even like makes sense defensively.
He a good one defender too on the win.
He is. He's a really good one-on-one defender. He's a really good rim protector. That's why he's one of the best defenders in the league, in the world. But yeah, I still believe that they do need to address. They need to address the 4 spot. Well, the front court in general. I still think they need a backup 5. I don't know if I'm ready to trust Behringer yet. We'll see what he looks like, but if you're in win now mode when you make a move like this, so like the progression of Behringer, I'm not sitting there waiting on that if he's not there yet, because we're trying to contend right now, and that's the problem that some of these younger players run into when they're drafted to a good team that's trying to win. We're not prioritizing your development as a player. We're trying to win right this second, so that may be a problem for.
I've always thought that
his progression as a player.
Fair enough.
They're not done. Both teams aren't done. Both teams aren't done. I've
always thought Jaden McDaniels was at his best playing on the wing. He's a versatile player, and he can play the 4, and he can cause some mismatches on the offensive end of the floor. Yep. Strictly off the strength that he's now been able to knock down the long ball, so he can stretch the defense, so he can cause mismatches at the 4 spot. But I don't love him full time at the 4 spot. No, I think he's maximized as a wing.
Yeah, if they got PJ Washington like they should, instead of Ron just blabbing into the mic, then that would be a terrific situation.
I never said it. They should.
Terrific situation. He should not be a full-time 4 because that's not his position, and he's great at the 3. And by the way, if they get PJ Washington, we're in business. We're in business. Yeah, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, they get a 4.
PJ, J-Mac, Rudy, Io off the bench like he should be. And then on top of that, Jaden Clark. And then you got TSJ. And then you get Isaiah Evans off the bench. Dante comes back at some point this year. Bones Highland is still there. Behringer. Yeah, we live in. That's a great team. And then now you go real small ball 5 with J-Mac with a real defender next to him and PJ Washington instead of Julius Randle. Like, and by the way, what they're going to do is, since this trade can't be finalized for 11 days chill, they're going to open up the trade with the Nets and then with Charlotte. So this is going to be a 3-team trade at the very least between the Wolves, the Nets, and Charlotte to allocate cap money and all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, it's a good move, man.
For those in the chat that keep referencing the height of players, the reason why like PJ Washington is still probably a better 4 than a Jaden McDaniels is not just height, it's like stature. You know what I'm saying? Like PJ Washington is a stronger player than Jaden McDaniels at the 4. He has a bigger frame. Yeah, bigger frame and stuff like that. So he can like compete on the glass and stuff like that. So like, yeah, that's what's important for 4s in today's game. You have to be able to contend on the glass with centers at this point. Like you have to be able to do that.
If you're the Wolves, are you more inclined to go get somebody who's going to be like more defensive oriented, or do you want more of an offensive slanted type of like 4? It just in the, and I'm not throwing no names out there. I'm just saying in general, what would your mindset be?
If this was 3 years ago, Ron, and he was available, Al Horford is perfect for this group. You get Al Horford on this group.
Al Horford right now.
I think Al is.
He just re-signed with the Warriors, but like that'd be a good situation for him right now.
If this was 3 years, like somebody like Al Horford, a stretch 4 who can play multiple positions.
Sure, if you told me they got Wendell Carter Jr. right now, chill, they would be a powerhouse.
You and this Wendell Carter shit, yo. I'm gonna get you in this.
Did you watch him in this playoffs? Yeah, you did.
Wendell's
He's a great player. Yeah, if he played next to Rudy,
number will be.
I'm probably lower on Wendell than you guys are because
he's thick. He's tall and he's thick. That's what you need.
But you talking about Wendell playing the 4?
Yeah, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a 5. He's between
not with Rudy Gobert on them.
They need a more mobile 4, man.
I think
me,
Wendell
they
guard
need
is
to
great.
Swiper, why do you like Wendell? Because what?
He's tall and he's thick.
Would you
And he
focus
rebounds.
All right, on that note, let's get to some thick picks from Splash Sports. They have some nice, plump, good, real thick picks that I'm going to take today. And when I say thick, when I say good, when I say plump, I mean the lump sum of cash that you're going to get from
Shout out
Splash
Angel
Sports.
Reese.
You know, I don't play anywhere else than Splash Sports. Neither does Chill. Neither does Mars. Neither does Swiper. Real talk, in Jordan, you got to watch those Houston guys. But I don't think that they pick anywhere else than Splash Sports, simply for one reason and one reason only. Because on Splash Sports, you can make the most money possible. They have the highest multipliers in the industry. You can win up to 50 times what you put in. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 50 times what you put in. The other good thing about Splash Sports is that after you download the app, which you can do by scanning this QR code on the screen or simply clicking the link in the bio and using code CHOICE, is that you can get 100% deposit match up to $50 and 100% quick picks boost. We are in the off season, so we don't have NBA, but you know what we do have? We got baseball. We got World Cup. And ultimately, we have the WNBA, the best league in the world. And you know what I'm going to go with tonight? Aside from, the fact that we have Asia Wilson playing, aside from the fact that we have other stars playing tonight, we have the best second-year player in the league playing tonight. The best player from the 2025 draft. And she just proved that last game against the Dallas Wings. Dominique Malonga for the Seattle Storm. They have her up here for 26.5 PRA. Yeah, Dominique Malonga, she's good for a good 20 and 10. So tonight, she's going to do that, hit that 26.5 and prove to everybody that she was, in fact, the best player in the 2025 draft and that she should have been the number 1 overall pick. That's how I'm rocking on Splash Sports. But if you don't like my pick, perfect. Take your own picks and make your own money on Splash Sports. Make sure to take advantage of the highest multipliers in the game. Make sure to use code CHOICE so you can get the 100% deposit match up to $50 and make sure to get your 100% quick picks boost. We will see you guys in the winner's circle. All right, fellas. The people have a lot to say about what's happened. So here's what I need. I need everybody, after you like the video, subscribe and all of that good stuff. If you are a Minnesota Timberwolves fan, tap in with a super chat and let us know your excitement. Let us know if you have any concerns or let us know, exactly what you think is going to happen with this duo and your projections and whatnot. If you are a Charlotte fan, let us know if you love this trade, hate this trade, if you're ready to change franchises and become a fan of another team. Let us know. I need people from Charlotte to tap in. Let us know how you guys feel about it because we're split up here. We have mixed opinions. So I want to know really how the people in the real trenches of Charlotte feel about this trade. But the first super chat that I got is from Spanish Jose, sent through $19.99 and said, I still think with Randall and Nas leaving, they are a smaller team and the bench lacks bigs. Also, there's the maturity factor as well with Melo and Ant together. Are we here to make funny clips and goof off or to win a championship?
I think Ant's a lot more mature than we gave him credit for. Like the stuff that was going on off the court with the extracurricular activity. I don't think it affected his game at all. Outside of him getting injured, Ant is an all-pro and played at a high level. So, yes, LaMelo might have had some issues, but I think Ant's a damn good leader. I don't have a problem with Ant as a leader.
Ant gets better every year.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with
I'm
Ant
not
as a
concerned about him.
This is an underrated point though.
basketball.
I think in the regular season, as you guys remember, the Timberwolves were very, very inconsistent, unserious. Like Rudy Gobert called them out. Like there was a bunch of stuff. Like Mike Conley had some comments in the media. It's like with losing Randall and Nas Reed and like having some of your depth gone, I think that the identity of this team might change as well a little bit. So it's like and real talk, you made a good point last year when we were talking about it, is a lot of the times teams take on the identity of their stars, right? So I wonder like what type of variable that is this year for them in a Western Conference that can be very brutal. So I think it's something to watch for sure. I'm not too worried about it because I think you win and lose between the four lines for the most part. But it's not nothing to me to have leaders in there that are your best players.
Is Mike Conley still on their roster?
He is.
Probably, yeah. I mean, he's gonna be there sitting on the bench.
God bless Mike Conley. He got a tall task this year.
Veteran leadership, stuff like that.
Does he know Ron?
Just not worried about it.
I mean, Baron,
he's off the books after this year.
The way our coaches talked about it, Ron, was you got 10% was your leaders always doing the right thing. You have the 10% who are not your leaders, you're always doing the wrong thing. Then you got 80% of the rest of your team. That's how football works. And your job is you want the 10% doing everything to influence and then you want them to. Ron, if you were on this team, which of that 10% would you be in? Right here. Off the club, 4 a.m. Minneapolis got a lot of gentlemen spots that you would love as well. A lot of spots you would frequent. Where would you be at, Ron?
So Swipa, I'd do both.
Shouts.
All right. But I mean, also too though, I don't know if I'm really too concerned about the whole leadership thing. I think it might be getting a little bit overblown as well, just because these are two supreme talents. Like, hey, Allen Iverson was able to do both. He was able to go party until 6 a.m. and still show up to the games half tipsy and give you 30 every night. Like if LaMelo Ball wants to do donuts in Hellcats and tattoo his whole body in red ink, then what does that matter if he's averaging 20 and 10? And like Anthony Edwards can do whatever he wants to do with whoever he wants to do it with. And if he shows up and leads the league in scoring, what does that matter?
If they win, then the narrative about them will change. It's happened. We just saw it happen with Cat. Many people thought Cat was too soft for a player and whatnot to win a championship. These things happen. These are young, wealthy men. Yes, they do stuff off of the court and shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. Michael Jordan was a drunk, but nobody talks about it because he won 6 championships and a degenerate gambler.
Was tied in with the
Magic
mob.
Johnson was outside so much he caught
no.
Didn't nobody care about that?
No.
If Anthony Edwards and LaMelo Ball win, nobody will care what they're doing outside of basketball. As long as
Magic was out here in the elevator with 5 people. Chill. He said he was in an elevator with 5 people.
Winning fixes everything. Yeah.
Kareem was out here not talking to people and then getting all this other stuff.
A lot of y'all don't know Larry Bird was a pimp for real, but we're not gonna get into that. Maybe the members only stream tonight. We'll talk about Larry Bird's ways.
No, for a fact, Jordan was in some spots he shouldn't have been in. That's. But you know what? We don't care about that because when you win in, none of that stuff matters. None of that. No, we couldn't care less about that stuff.
Not to mention Dennis Rodman, wild ass. Right?
Hey, he was going though. He married. He had Carmen Electra, Madonna, getting
Carmen
married.
Electra, hey, Carmen, that's a hell of a snag, boy. Ooh-wee. Go ahead, Dennis.
You got
but
you have a crazy resume. Before,
I ain't gonna lie. Dennis Rodman got a crazy resume.
Dennis Rodman married himself.
Yes, he does. Real talk. He 100%. That roster is serious with Dennis.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, sir.
Boy, Dennis. But speaking of to the point of them kind of being a little crazy off the court or entertaining, you could say, they're also just as entertaining on the court. And this ties into my man Savage Mail's 202's super chat of $19.99. Savage Mail said, "Is Minnesota not the most entertaining backcourt on and off the court ever?"
I don't know.
Ever?
No. I don't know, man.
Crazy.
Pearl and Clyde Frazier, like they was outside.
And I'm talking about back in the 70s.
Let's be clear about that. Walton.
This is when that snow was legal. Real talk.
Yes, sir.
You can walk into Club 44.
Don't
get you some legal snow.
I see. And real talk, one of them dudes that real talk, he loves to talk about all time and just forget about all time. So like, there was shit going on before. Like you started watching basketball in like 1989. Yeah, it was a lot of wild shit going on. Like that Philadelphia team with George McGinnis and World B. Free and Doc and Darryl Dawkins. Yes, they was outside too, right? They was outside too. Let's be clear, Ron.
Magic and Cooper.
Right, Doc is the epitome of class. Doc had a baby outside his marriage. He was married, had a baby. And we didn't know about it until the chick got on TV. Come to find out she's a professional tennis player. So Doc was outside. Like all of these dudes was outside. Give me a break.
Different times,
chill.
man. That's crazy.
As far as I know, and as far as I can remember in my lifetime, I believe that this is going to be the most entertaining duo.
I love it. I'm here for it. I am. Because
in terms of both being showmen, I can't. I mean, you got LeBron and Wade. You got that.
Are they a more entertaining duo than Steph and Clay?
What?
Steph is doing a lot of carrying in that.
Steph and Clay.
Yeah.
Y'all really
You better respect Heat Check Clay.
Heat Check Clay is
Thompson,
amazing, but
They were
I got posters from
Even if we only
act
get
like
one
they
of
were
those
must
a
see
season,
TV.
that
These
makes
dudes
sense.
was box office though. Let's not act like Steph and Clay wasn't box office. What are we doing? These dudes was box
Steph
office.
was box office.
No, Clay was too. Stop it.
No, Clay.
They're
was
not
box
to this
office.
level. They're not to this level. Now, are they
Wait,
better?
wait, who better? Who
We can
better?
debate that.
It wasn't.
Who better at their peak, Clay or LaMelo?
Who? I mean, Steph. I'm gonna say Steph and Clay's
Clay
better.
gotta beat the Conker nipple talks first. Like,
No, he doesn't, Mons. Don't start this
I'm not doing
bullshit.
that.
No,
That
he
was
does
him.
not. See,
That was
Mons?
dude in the middle. That was dude in the middle box.
That was
said-
Mars. He's the one on camera saying it.
Clay
shout out to the Clippers.
Shout out to the Clippers.
Oh man, but they're definitely going to be box office. These two guys. Yes, I would not be surprised in August. Ron, we're talking about the schedule. Minnesota has way more games on TV this year than they did last year. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, I'm watching at least 70 Minnesota games next year.
Mhm.
That's without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, I might have did that this past season.
Just like
Yeah,
I watched.
watch how many games real talk?
Yeah, real talk. Stay in front of the TV when Minnesota's on because Ant is his guy. So let's be clear about that.
I'm tired of real talk acting like he watched more Wolves games than I did last year.
You might as well move to Minnesota the way you glazed in that whole
You did
city.
not.
I
You definitely did not.
definitely
You definitely did not.
Okay.
You definitely did not. You weren't
Okay,
watching the
sir.
Wizards on the Tuesday. Hush up.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Especially when Ant went out. You know, you was turning that TV off.
Oh yeah, if Ant wasn't playing, I wasn't watching. You are correct.
Look at this casual. But me,
Well,
Rodney,
there was a stretch of time because Ant had to sit out a few games. I wasn't watching them games.
Yeah, then Ant was sitting out on the court because he was sucking. So Real Talk wasn't saying nothing. No, he wasn't tweeting nothing out. Shout out to all my
Imagine
Real Talk.
what real talk. Imagine if I said that. Oh wait, I did say that. I don't watch the Celtics when Jason Tatum ain't playing. Now I'm the worst.
Yeah, but you're a
fan
Tatum
ever.
stan though. We know you're not a Celtics
And
fan.
Real Talk loves Anthony Edwards. What the hell?
He's an Edwards stan too.
Okay. What are we doing?
Damien's a Patty Mills stan. Then Mars obviously is a Jalen Green stan, and apparently Ron is a Brooke Lopez stan because they have
Mars
the same
has
impact
actually
as Al
watched-
Horford.
I've been on the phone with I've actually been on the text with Mars. Mars has watched an unhealthy amount of Phoenix Suns games last year.
Mhm.
Unhealthy. Just like I've watched an unhealthy amount of New Orleans Pelicans games last year.
Yep.
I found
There will
myself,
be an Anthony Edwards jersey up here soon.
I found myself.
Keep going. Put an Olivia Miles jersey up there too. Matter of fact, take all that
I
LA
might
shit down. Hey,
I
you're not even Los Angeles anymore.
Man
You
can put
are
up an Anthony
you are
Edwards jersey,
Minnesota
can't put up
talk.
a LeBron jersey. That's crazy.
Go ahead, Minnesota talk. All that glazing you doing for that whole mid ass city. Go ahead, do it.
Hey, they got great players. They have a great outfit talent. What can I say? They got LaMelo, they got Ant, they got Olivia. Come on now. Hey, if you live in Minnesota, there is so much opportunity to watch great hoop. Oh my goodness. Salute
Great
to y'all.
sports. You still got
real.
Jettas over there.
Yeah.
And Fee gonna come back too. Minnesota. Hey, Minnesota might low-key win the WNBA championship and the NBA
Stop it.
championship in the
Stop
same
it.
year.
Stop it. Your opinion gonna change. Your opinion gonna change in 3 months. I want to hear this.
When do they get feedback?
Maybe so.
Quick side note. When does Fee come back? What's the deal with her? Like I know that ankle was.
She had an
was
ankle.
bad.
She had surgery on
Yeah.
her ankle.
Mhm.
She still is. There's no timetable. She's just still out indefinitely.
She might be out for the season.
Potentially.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm just wondering.
Now,
Real talk, you
but
put
with
Minnesota
them
there,
being
man, at the-
competitive,
with, like, the
Best wide
contender?
receiver duo in the league. Who?
you said what, Damien?
You putting Minnesota there now, right there with like OKC, San Antonio. Well, they still
If
got
gotta
the season started
I gotta
today,
see.
if the season started today with that present roster that Minnesota has, where are they in the pantheon of the Western Conference?
Go ahead and lie.
No, I wouldn't have them in the tier right now with San Antonio and OKC, due
Agreed.
to their lack of 4 and backup 5 for me right now. But if they do address those, then I ain't gonna lie, I might have them like better than the Spurs, respectfully.
Twerking.
Okay.
And what else? What else? White?
You was up there twerking
Hey.
for Wemby.
That's
All
cool.
of a
Guess what?
sudden.
You know who you was twerking for? Austin Reeves not getting that money. And I told your bum twerking Rizzo self you was gonna be paying that man $45 million a year. So you get off my line, partner. How about that?
Yo, all right. The next super chat is from Hunter TV. Hunter sent through $19.99. It said trades like this are why teams stay bad. Dumb front offices thinking they are better at their job than they really are. Finally see a promise in a team that's been bad for the past half decade and immediately throw it all away. Damn.
I think you guys got
More
to
than a
think
half day.
like through the lens of what they're thinking, because Charlotte don't want to just stink forever.
They
So
don't.
obviously they must think something. I think the injury stuff is real. I think when Chill brought that up, I do think it's very possible they're thinking that LaMelo, quote unquote, lucked into a healthy season in which you had to load manage him through the year on a minutes restriction for large portions of it to get him through it. I think he just played like 28 minutes again. So it's very possible that they're banking on LaMelo's ankles being made of tissue paper and that he just can't stay healthy. And if that is the case, I'm still not going to say they won the trade because ultimately you got Nas Reed, but it would at least make sense for why they were looking to trade him, as opposed to, oh, they had a good year, why would you do it? So
Is that how you see it? How do you see it?
if I was Charlotte, I would have been trying to get Zion to pair with LaMelo and them personally. That's what I would be doing. But I can also understand why a team wouldn't do that because LaMelo's an injury-prone player at this point,
Yeah,
Zion, and then Brandon
yeah.
Miller. So I would be
Yeah.
banking a lot on the health of three guys who haven't shown to be consistently healthy. But I'm just trying to, because I don't want to just assume teams are stupid. Because, like, at the end of the day,
Mars, you got to stop giving
No,
teams
that
credit.
that
You do,
Portland
Mars.
owner,
I'm
Mars
not
is
even giving them
dumb.
credit.
You
I'm
have to
just
stop.
trying to understand what would lead them down this road. So then I started like looking at things. Because obviously, like, one thing we talk about a lot is like the Hornets offense with and without LaMelo, best offense in the league, blah blah blah. Their record post November or whatever. But like even in that stretch of games, did you know that LaMelo had a negative net rating against the top 15 teams in the league?
Yes, this was talked about. Yes, it was talked about.
When?
So like from the stretch of the season on, like the stretch that everyone references from November 28th or whatever, all the way till the end of the season when the Charlotte Hornets became good and all that stuff, LaMelo had a negative, it was negative 0.6, but a negative 0.6 net rating against the top 15 teams in the league. Charlotte had a plus 8
those teams
in the minutes without LaMelo against the top 15 teams in the league. A lot of LaMelo's net rating stuff was driven by the fact that against the bottom 15 teams in the league, he had a plus 19 net rating. So if you're Charlotte, and I know they have access to these numbers and more, maybe they're questioning LaMelo's impact in a playoff setting, hence the top 15 team stat, because they don't win when he's out there against those teams. And then it's even worse against the top 5 teams. They had a negative 12.5 net rating in those minutes with LaMelo against the top 5 teams. They had a plus 16 in the minutes without him. So what you're seeing is a consistent trend of when the Hornets played good teams, LaMelo's minutes actually were bad or not good. And when they played bad teams, LaMelo's minutes were all-time great. And that maybe in Charlotte's mind is inflating his impact numbers because they're not actually that great when they play the high leverage games or whatever the case may be. Now, do I think that's enough reason? The injury alongside these numbers, which at the end of the day aren't the be-all end-all of anything, to trade him for Nas Reed and what I deem to be no picks? Because looking at it, I saw this on the timeline. These are the picks. These are what the swaps are. In 28, the Hornets get the more favorable pick between Charlotte and Minnesota. Logic will dictate they're keeping their own pick. Therefore, they got nothing. But cool, they can trade the swap. But what I'm talking about is the actual picks they have right now. So they got the more favorable of that. And then in 29, they already had the least favorable of the Utah, Cleveland, Minnesota pick. Now they're able to move that to swap their own pick with the second least favorable. So all they've done is gone from the least favorable of the swap to the second least favorable. But the reality is they're probably just going to keep their own pick in this transaction as well. But at least they have the option to get the second least favorable of Utah, Cleveland, and Minnesota in 29. So either they're better than all of these teams or some of these teams, and they end up getting like a Utah pick, or they keep their own pick. Likelihood is, once again, they have their own pick. And in 2030, they get the opportunity to get the least favorable of Spurs, Dallas, and Minnesota. Unless the Wolves pick turns into the number 1 pick, then they get to keep the number 1 pick. So essentially what they've done is traded LaMelo for Naz Reid and a flyer at the number 1 pick in 2030. That's pretty much what they've done. And realistically, I'm willing to bet that will not turn into the number 1 pick for them. So what they have done is trade LaMelo for their own picks and 1 swap. That's what they've done.
What would you think some of the reasoning
and 3
would
second
be
rounders?
Yeah, and 3 second rounders. 3 second rounders
for that disparity, as far as like those LaMelo numbers that you were talking about.
What, the top 15 stuff?
Yeah.
A lot of it's defensively. Defensively, with LaMelo on the court against these top 5 teams, they have a 124 defensive rating. And then against the top 15 teams, it's a 121. When he's off the court, it's a 105 defense against the top 15 teams and a 102.5 against the top 5 teams. So basically, when LaMelo's off the court, the defense is
way better defense.
Good.
How much does the offense fluctuate though? Or is it still good offense when he's on the court?
Against the bottom 15 teams, they had a 131 offense with him on the court, a 115 with him off. 115 is still a good offense, but not the same. And then against the top 15 teams, they had a 121 offense with him and a 114 offense without him. So 114 offense, about average, an average offense without him, a really good defense versus a really good offense and a really bad defense. So I guess they're banking on the health plus LaMelo's defense in a serious setting. Doesn't translate, plus all like the scoring limitations that you saw in like the play-in and whatnot. Because like there are major holes in LaMelo's game. Like
there are definitely scoring limitations.
But yeah, so for like all the impact stuff that we've all referenced, I know I've referenced it a lot. It's possible Charlotte are viewing LaMelo as more of a, for lack of a better term, a bum slayer. And what that means is someone who plays really well against the bad teams.
Cooking bombs.
Chet kind of got that reputation this year. Even in the regular season, Chet was called a bum slayer by like maybe in jest.
Reasonable.
It was like, oh, Chet's numbers when he plays bums. Oh my god, he's 24 and 12, and then he plays the good teams. It's Chet.
What's that name, Mars? What do
12 and 7.
What do you call those people?
Bum slayers.
Bum slayers. Yeah,
that's a nice name. That's a nice marketing.
So
Mars, you literally
that's possible. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, Mars, I want to say like when Charlotte was on this run and we were talking about them getting into the playoffs and a team that they could knock out in the first round, because at one point I believe that they were, I want to say like 2 games out the 6th spot. Like this is a team that was
real competitive for that last playoff.
Yeah, and we were having a conversation and you challenged me to give you legit logic on how, if they played the Knicks in round 1, like how they could beat the Knicks. And I gave you the logic of make LaMelo a bucket getter. Make LaMelo a bucket getter, make him get to the rim, keep him constantly in the action with Jalen Brunson, and make him go after Jalen Brunson, which is not really viable because he wasn't a great finisher. His floater doesn't really work that well, which I'm bringing this up to say that your logic about him not doing well against the top 15 teams does make sense, because I think it compounds my point that if we're going to go up against a New York Knicks team or Celtic team or a Cleveland team in the playoffs where LaMelo's got to do the lion's share of the bucket getting, we're not going to win. That's not going to happen at all. So, and I also say to that, with what's going on with him, just as a player, I'm now understanding, because Mars just broke it down. So now, Mars, I want to make sure I'm following you. It's not Minnesota's pick; it's Utah's pick that Minnesota has.
Yeah, the swaps get because swaps get traded a lot. That's how you end up with swaps between a million teams. So it's the one coming up next year. No, 2 years from now, 2028. That's just between Charlotte and Minnesota. So that's the swap between both those teams, and the Charlotte gets the better pick of the two. In 29, it's between Utah, Cleveland, and Minnesota. So, but the Charlotte can either keep their own pick or they can swap with the second best pick of that group.
And we're banking on
So-
Utah, Cleveland, and all of these guys being as good as Charlotte. That's what we're banking on. Or
Yeah,
being better
realistically.
or being
And
better
then
than them.
20
You
and then
trade
in
back where you are.
2030 is the swap between San Antonio, Dallas, and Minnesota.
So you basically keep
But
your pick.
more than likely they're going to keep their own pick because they get the least favorable of these three. So whichever one is the highest pick. If it's the 16th pick, the 12th pick, and the 4th pick, they get the 16th pick. That's what they would get. Or they can keep their own. Unless the Minnesota pick turns into the number 1 pick in the lottery, then it goes to Charlotte. So once again, they practically just keep their own picks.
See, real talk.
And get second round.
You learn something
And
new every
by
day.
the way-
Whenever I think about a pick swap really quickly. When I learn about a pick
Mhm.
swap, I'm thinking it's that like so. I'm thinking about a pick swap. Real talk. I'm thinking about your pick, but I'm not thinking that your pick is really Swipa's pick. You just have it. So the 20 that you owe me is really Swipa's 20. I got you. All right, I'm following you now.
Yeah. So once again, why it's a bad return in my opinion, but I can understand what I'm trying to understand why you would think about trading LaMelo, and that's the best reasoning I can come up with. I still think the return is terrible, but at least I can.
I
try
think
and
you'd have felt
rationalize
better,
why
Mars,
they
if they would have got
do it.
something like let's say it was a third team involved and they got a guaranteed from like New Orleans or somebody like that. Not necessarily New Orleans because they gave up their first round, but if they got from a lower level team, they got a legit one, and then you got a substantially better player than Nas. I think this would have gotten smoothed over with you a little bit better. I think the Nas Reed thing is what's souring you to this.
They just extended Kobe White too.
I was
so
going to say that, but I
obviously-
was trying not to
Yeah, they
interrupt.
did.
Kobe White got a 3-year, $74 million extension,
million.
which for Kobe White is really good. If you remember
That's
Kobe
good.
White, March
It's
2020.
necessary.
about
as well.
25 a
Five.
year. Yes, about 25 a year.
Yeah, he got a really nice 30 points per game month. He's actually a really dynamite scorer. He's actually a really good athlete too. He doesn't bang on people like he used to back in the day consistently, but he's a really good
They're
athlete.
seemingly betting on them being able to recreate LaMelo's value in the aggregate with a Christian Anderson.
They have
Kobe
Colin
White.
Sexton too, don't they?
I don't know
right.
if he's under
His right.
contract.
No.
but they should be able. They might be able to.
No, he's
in Chicago.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
he
he
is
is
in
Chicago.
Chicago.
Oh,
He got
they
traded
Chicago.
to
yeah, that's
Chicago.
right.
They flipped
Yeah,
him
he's
for Kobe
Chicago.
White.
So Christian
But,
Anderson, Kobe White,
Christian
Con,
Anderson, Kobe White,
Brandon.
and then Con and Brandon taking another jump.
Yep.
Which
Sion James at point guard. too?
Con,
Theon.
no, he's not. He's not point guard. But that was a big problem for them actually.
He looked like a
But,
defensive back, actually.
I'm fine with them believing in Con taking like some level of jump to where like he can still be like a viable offensive weapon. Brandon Miller was so LaMelo dependent last year that I have a hard time seeing what maybe they're seeing. But if it works out, then it works out. But I don't like the process. Well, I don't like the return they got.
And can we
I've
stop
always been down
normalizing really quickly, Ron, before we move on? Can we stop normalizing like downplaying guys on the books for a little bit of money? Like that's a good value for Kobe White. $25 million.
Hell
Kobe
of
the
a
Hooper.
Damn good deal.
I think
He makes it
Kobe.
more than
damn
I would
good deal.
assume.
I
Yeah,
want it. Yeah, as you
damn
should.
good deal for
Because he's a fill the bucket up guy, right? So that's what they get paid for. I think he was better than Josh Giddey was when they were both on the team together. That late run they had in 2025. He is legitimately very good.
When he should have
He's
won
small.
most improved player that year.
He did win most improved player.
A lot of
No,
shit
Tyrese
like that,
Maxey
stuff
won
like
it,
that.
right?
Yeah,
Tyrese
Maxey
Maxey
won
won
it.
it.
Yeah, Maxey won it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
A
but
lot of
yes,
Chicago
that
fans
iteration.
thought he was undervalued in Chicago.
He
That's
was.
true, Swipe, a lot of
He's nice.
Yeah.
They had
He-
Caruso,
no, he is. He's
Io,
really
and
good.
him. Go ahead.
Mhm.
Really
And they
good.
got
Shoot the
0
ball well,
first
gets high in
rounders for him.
transition. Yeah, they're
And I don't know where he ranks in terms of speed, Ron, but like ball, like half court, full court, like his first step is insane. He is a nightmare to stay in front of.
How big is he
Yeah.
legit? They got him listed at like 6'5", right? How big is he legit?
He around 6'5".
I mean, he around.
yeah, 6'4", 6'5", probably.
That's tall, bro. He looks small, but he's tall.
He's
Him and
a
Ayo are
big
both
guard. I
very-
don't think he looks small. Like
very
Kobe,
valuable.
maybe it's because I do know how big he is, but Kobe White's a big guard. But what were you saying,
You know
Damien?
how big he is. Like you,
Him
you
and
saying
him
you
and
still
Io
around
are
him.
like
Tell him to focus.
similar in that way.
I'm saying, did you see him in person?
No, him and
I
Io
don't-
are
I'm
like
asking.
similar, man. That's why. That's why.
Who do you prefer,
Yeah,
Damien?
I actually prefer Kobe, man. I prefer Kobe. I like the Io defensive stuff, but I think Kobe's like severely. He just like hasn't been exposed to like the general public enough. I think like he's a legitimate bucket getter. Like I think he's a bit better offensively than Io. If you want to go the two-way stuff, I think Io is better, but they're similar. Like they're going to play a similar role, I think, for both teams. They're really valuable pieces. They needed to sign Kobe, man. It was like a desperation move, I think now. But I think as well, to Mars's point, like to try and understand the trade, I do understand it. I think, and Chill, you broke down all the points before. I think LaMelo's always to me been more box office than like really high level like value. Like if I'm trying to be a franchise that's serious about winning. So that's just me. Like I'm not a Melo hater. Like I didn't always love his game. So I understand the reasoning for the Hornets front office. They've been trying to do this for a while as well. Like they're not the biggest on him, and they gave him a max in the meantime as well. So it's like they've been trying to move off him for a bit, but easier said than done.
Yeah,
Damien,
I mean, even in the stats that
just right quick, real talk. I was just gonna say, I think a lot of that cleans up just with when you're playing winning ball and when when things are at stake. I don't think LaMelo does a lot of the other and when you're also now the number 2 option, and you have to be in more of a point guard role. I don't think we're gonna see all the nonsense from LaMelo. Remember, a lot like he's still gonna shoot logo threes, he's still gonna shoot bad shots, but it's not gonna look like how it looked like in 2023 when he was just playing.
It might look worse, Ron, because Minnesota might be going on a run. Minnesota might be we might be back in a game, and he might be taking bad shots that can cost them games. So we don't know about that.
The thing about it though is
I think he's very entertaining.
He makes those shots
very
too,
entertaining, but I think he's quite a flawed. I think he's quite a flawed player in a lot of ways, but he's incredibly entertaining, which I think can mask some of it sometimes. But we'll see, Ron. Situation can change things. You know, he can get into a good defensive team now. I think the Hornets were fine defensively, but again, to your point, like Minnesota's been one of the best defensive teams in the league for a few years. Like, what does that look like with him? Does he buy into Chris Finch's system? You know, what is that? You know, with some length and size around him, even more so now in the West. You can't take a night off in the West as well. Like, there's all these different things. So it could be a situation thing. We'll wait and see, man.
Ron,
hold on, because like, again, even in the numbers that Mars read off, I wanted to get the offensive numbers because he's still leading elite offense even against the top teams. He said that LaMelo was still when LaMelo was on the court, they were still having like a 121 offensive rating or something against the top. Why am I on the big screen? What are we doing against the best teams? So it's like I don't understand. That's to me his main job. He's an elite offense creator. That's what he does. He drives elite offense.
Yeah, he's a good
Yes, the defense in Charlotte was bad when he was on the court. However, now he's playing with Rudy Gobert. It's quite literally impossible, to me, in my opinion, to have a 120-something defense with Rudy Gobert on the court. It's impossible. So that, to me, has been nullified. The scoring concerns and gaps that are there, me and Mars and Dame have highlighted them. He does have some gaps offensively, but in Charlotte, he was the only shot creator off the dribble as well. It's like nobody else. That's why even in that play-in game, the offense looked like that, because it's not like you can give the ball to Con Kemp and be like, hey, create a shot. Brandon Miller, create a shot. Now he has Anthony Edwards. So he's not even the best shot creator on the team anymore. He's going to get more open looks. He hits open looks. Mm-hmm. He has more defensive support than ever. And to me, the idea of he's like this highlight player that's not real value, I just vehemently disagree with that. You can't be somebody that drives top offenses year on end at this point, or at least you're like plus 10 or whatever the case may be, with when you're on the court and not bringing like real value to a unit.
I think people understate how willing LaMelo is as a passer. Like, if LaMelo, I don't know LaMelo personally, but just watching him play, if LaMelo feels he has weapons around him, like, he will look to get them the ball before he calls his own number.
Yeah.
A lot of Charlotte possessions, like, it's weird because for like the way we view Charlotte and then like the way the numbers bear out, they were one of the slowest teams in the league. And a big part of that is because LaMelo's looking to get guys like Con, Brandon Miller, rim running Musa, or Miles Bridges downhill. Like, he's looking to get them the ball first. And a lot of the time, like, a possession would then just like stagnate. And then the ball would end up finding its way back to LaMelo. And then now he's in a bailout situation, go create something. But he's always looking to find his guys. It just so happened that this past year was probably the first year he actually had guys. So it looked better. But the reality is now you put him next to an Anthony Edwards. You put him next to an Ayo Dosunmu who can shoot the ball at the clip he does, a Jaden McDaniels in terms of like the mid-range stuff that he has. I'm not projecting LaMelo to be efficient. Unless he starts shooting like 75% of his shots from three, I don't think he's just going to be an efficient scorer. I just have a hard time seeing that. But in terms of like the volume stuff, like LaMelo is perfectly fine averaging 18 points just because he's moving the ball. And it might not be 12 assists.
His best skill,
but yeah, we'll see.
All right. And then another thing too, like teams are gonna have to start playing LaMelo out of a closeout more than they ever have. Like you can't load up on it. Real talk. Remember, we used to have these discussions. The reason why I was so low on Minnesota is because they would literally just load up on Anthony Edwards. I don't think you can really do that this year anymore. Not with Ayo on the wing, and then you got LaMelo on the other end of the court. Like that, Ayo shoots too good, and then LaMelo out of a closeout is a nightmare. Like LaMelo has one of the best first steps in the league in terms of just being able to get downhill and get 2 feet into the paint. LaMelo does that whenever he wants to.
Only that, he's 6'8" too. On top of that, 6'7", something like that. You know,
he could be a better finisher at the rim and things, but he's I mean, when you get in the blender, his playmaking's fantastic. So,
and even on the other end of that, Damian, like, all right, LaMelo, go in there, and just be aggressive because if the ball does come off the rim, there's a good chance that there's another, 7-foot guy that might just grab the offensive rebound, and Biggs 8679 tapped in. This is a Charlotte fan. Big says Charlotte fan here from way back to the Glenn Rice, Baron Davis, etc. days. This was a dumbass move for multiple reasons. The city and fans were just getting back excited about the team. That's not when you tear down the team.
Y'all will be back.
Yeah.
And y'all and your fans will come right back too.
Says who?
Will they?
When? They was just getting back. They was just getting back.
Wait a minute, real talk. When I said y'all will be back, I mean the fans. Y'all ain't going nowhere.
Oh,
good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah, they were gone
fans.
before LaMelo arrived. They were gone.
When's the last time Charlotte made the playoffs? Was it 2012?
What was their
attendance? That was 2016. 2016. They played Miami.
It's been a decade, man.
The last time, so this is what happened because this was so in 2021 when LaMelo was a rookie, they went to 9th in attendance. That's what they were. They were 9th in attendance. And then the years preceding that, in 2019 they were 23rd. In 2020 they were 30th, but 2020 was a weird year for everyone because of the pandemic. And then like they hovered always around, like they were always a fine attendance team with LaMelo until LaMelo stopped being able to play games. When LaMelo doesn't play, their attendance plummets. When LaMelo plays, their attendance goes up. LaMelo is healthy this year, they're 13th. LaMelo's not healthy the 2 years preceding it, they're 22nd and 30th. LaMelo was like single-handedly driving their attendance, pretty much. So I think they are going somewhere, actually. Yeah. I think the evidence will tell you they are going somewhere. They were in the playoffs in 2016. They were 18th in attendance. LaMelo brings in higher attendance in 30-win seasons when he plays. Like he just LaMelo's a big. He's box office. Yeah, he's box office.
2018.
It's all good. They still got Duke and UNC.
This isn't the Bulls where they're going to be number one in attendance just because they exist. It's Charlotte. They need a reason to play. And they need a reason to show up. Maybe if they're competitive next year, maybe they will show up. But if they're not,
2018 they were a playoff team. Oh, did they make? No, they didn't make the playoffs in 2018. That was
2016. 2016 was the last time they were in the playoffs.
Yeah, 2018.
Been a decade.
They were 18th in attendance. They were 18th.
I mean, they still average. Yeah. They still was averaging 16,000 fans, though. I mean, it's not like that. Nobody was coming to the games. They still was averaging.
They were 18th. I didn't say no one came to the game. The point is, people will stop coming to the game. Yeah, cool.
I know the Minnesota games.
You haven't made the playoff
team. Yeah, they were a playoff team. They managed to live off some hope for a little while. Shout out to them. So the next year they still had some attendance because Kemba was there and they had hope of a playoff berth again. And then once they realized the next year after their playoff berth that we suck again, right back down to 26.
The Minnesota games going to be sold out. box office, must see TV.
All around the country. Y'all want to see a duo go on tour? Follow Minnesota. All right, Savage Mail 202 sent through another $20 and said Minnesota can go get Rui or John Collins at power forward. How you like these?
Not Rui, but John Collins.
I'm really not mad at Rui.
I'd rather get John Collins if there was an option.
Depends what the number is for Rui.
So the Lakers just handing over arguably their best shooter. They just gonna hand him over like, here you go.
Yeah, it depends.
And I know I ain't asking real talk. I'm not talking real talk.
Rui's gonna command a lot.
No, we'll talk. I'll talk to.
I like Rui. Rui's cool.
Well, if they can't afford
That's
Rui, I don't think
your
they're
ass is
really up
ready
to
to
them, right?
ship him out
If
because you
they
quickly
can't
ready to
afford
dump his ass quickly. Hell yes, you are. So I ain't talking real talk about no damn Rui. No.
Yeah, like it's entirely up to if the Lakers are going to pay him. I think I'd look at Rui if I was the Wolves. He wouldn't be my first choice. I think PJ Washington is probably the best case scenario for them, unless there's like a power forward I'm forgetting who would like likely be available. But I would look at Rui as like my third choice, second or third choice.
Yeah, Rui is a
Lakers.
free agent. I'm not trying to pay him no large amount of money though to keep him. If he finds that somewhere else, you know, Godspeed. God bless and Godspeed.
So the guys that aren't available, like Paolo, Jason Tatum, James, Denny Avia, OG, and Anunoby, like is Tobias Harris viable?
That wouldn't be who I'd be looking at. That wouldn't be who I'd be looking
there
at.
probably is an option though. There probably is an option though.
If I could get Tobias, I'd for sure bring Tobias in.
Tobias is cool. He a cool player.
Tobias is a good player, but that's not the archetype. Like
I think they need a more defensive minded.
physicality. I need defensively inclined. I need less shot creation, more spot up shooting. He's none of those things. Even if he's a good player, he's none of those things.
Mars, who's the perfect like non All-Star guy? Is it PJ Washington?
Call up Denver and ask them how they feel about Aaron Gordon. Call up Denver and ask them how they feel about Aaron Gordon these days. Call them up. Call up Denver and ask how they feel.
That would be the dream. Sure.
I mean, that's a dream come true.
Yeah,
real talk. Whatever I don't think that's gonna happen.
What is
real talk? What has your uncle told you plenty of times? You don't find
What is your
out.
uncle?
Do what?
What has your uncle told you plenty of times?
That's your call.
Until you ask, you gotta ask. You know,
you know what might happen. You know what might happen if you ask. You might get a conversation.
You might. Yeah. Let me do this math in my head. Right, Chill. So let's play. Let's play this game.
You see what you did, Chill.
The Minnesota Timberwolves are going to call Denver. We're going to call Denver about Aaron Gordon. So they're going to trade within their own, not conference, division, according to Chill. Who we play? I'm not done. I'm going to finish saying what I want to say. And then they played 40. Hush up. This isn't your turn. Get schooled. This is your turn to get schooled. Ron, mute him. No. I'm not. Chill. That's cool. I'm muted.
I think that's Jeremy
just for the
Grant
audience to understand. The Minnesota Timberwolves and the Denver Nuggets have played each other more than anybody else in the league the last 4 years. So what you're telling me is that Tim Connolly, who was with Denver, beat the Wolves to beat Denver. And then Tim Connolly, to this day, Josh Kroenke and them feel the way they feel about Connolly because he got a $40 million a year contract plus ownership rights from them after leaving Denver. And then on top of that, Denver's going to hand over their third best player and most important role player for who? For what? You got an answer, Chill? No, you don't have an answer.
Pick swaps.
You just talking. So you just yapping. So you just doing all this yapping. So what player are you replacing him with? You give me Jaden McDaniels? They're like, oh no, we're not giving you Jaden. Is Jaden better than Aaron Gordon? No, he's not. Okay. But what they're saying. What they're ideating is they're like, oh yeah, well, we're going to hold on to our guy. We're going to hold on to, but you give us the guy you want to hold on to. Here, yeah, Chill. You know what? Yeah, give me Terrence Shannon Jr. and give me Isaiah Evans and some swap.
So
that sounds great, Chill.
So let's rewind the clock. So number one, we saw the Utah Jazz trade in the division for Rudy Gobert. We saw that years ago. They gave up 4-1s. This is a playoff team, so it's not ridiculous to think that they can't.
What did they get? Stop being disrespectful and stop clapping while this man is talking. The disrespect
you were clapping.
I mute. I got you, Chill.
So you're clapping all this morning for LaMelo. You shut up. Go ahead, Chill.
So it's not ridiculous. So it's not ridiculous to think that you can trade in the division. That's number one. Number two, we've seen plenty of teams do that. Number two, I'm thinking to get a power forward We already know how you guys feel about Aaron Gordon with the injury history. We already see how you guys are doing with Aaron Gordon. You guys are going the other way. So let me call these dudes up and find out how they feel about him. I ain't saying that it's going to happen.
You think
Let me call
Aaron
these
Gordon
dudes
gonna
up.
go do a Kevin Durant? Because that's what this is basically.
I mean, I didn't think Rudy Gobert would end up in Minnesota. I did not think
just
that.
keep going to the team that keeps beating his team.
I did not think that. I did not think
I
that.
don't think Denver and Minnesota are on negotiating terms.
Probably.
Maybe they're not, Moss. Maybe they're not.
But sure, yeah.
I don't think,
there's no harm.
I don't
in
think
asking,
it.
sure.
Yeah, I don't think it hurt to pick the telephone up and just find out how they feeling about him these days. I don't know.
Yeah. Yo, what's good, Penn?
What's
Pembroke.
good, W Charlotte, man. It's a good day.
Shout
in
out to
Charlotte.
Penn, man, for the draft stuff this week, by the way. It was excellent, man. You really
I
did your thing
appreciate
this
it.
week, bro.
I
Shout out to
appreciate
Toby
it.
Owaka being picked up
crazy.
on a two-way.
This was the
I
moment
think-
of the night for me. Toby Owaka, man, getting the two-way. That's dope.
Penn, where your hat at, man? You screwing me
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
yo.
Where's that
your hat?
dookie? Where's that
What you
dookie to
doing,
go
man?
on
I
your
like the
head?
no hat, man.
Like that's
I like the
that's
no
part of
hat,
the gig. Like me without
But-
the glasses. Like this doesn't work. No.
Come on, Penn. Go get that shit
It's
stand.
part of the gig. Where the hat at, Penn? Oh, I don't get it.
I don't know. I felt like triggering bald people today.
I do feel triggered.
I thought that too.
All right, I'm gonna get into my Penn. We do want to hear all about how you feel about the trade and whatnot. Let's get into it by way of super chat though. Once more into the fray, sent through a $20 super chat and said, haven't sent a super chat since my GOAT was putting belt on the Rockets. Double L the Lakers. Anyway, Dub panel, I appreciate y'all for showing up for us. Pause if needed, but I'm comfortable with my manhood. Shout out to Once Into the Fray.
Congratulations.
Who's his GOAT? What GOAT was putting belt on Rockets?
Shit, a lot of people
LeBron.
put belt on the
LeBron
Rockets this year.
James.
Yeah.
Or Luke Kennard.
LeBron
I don't
in the
know.
first round.
Whichever one.
I don't know anyone who has Luke Kennard as their GOAT, including Luke
There's
Kennard.
somebody out there in Ohio.
Hey,
Yeah,
he's a free
I seen a
agent.
video. I seen a video of some old granny, and she's like some Mikal Bridges super fan. She's like 100 years
You know
old,
what I'm
I saw that.
and she has
I
a
saw that,
shrine to
yeah.
Mikal Bridges. I'm like, what is? All right, cool.
I
I
saw
get
that.
it. So salute to Granny. Salute to
Shout
her.
out Mikhail. Mikhail got the grannies on his side. I see you, boy.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tupac West Side. Shout out my dog Tupac. Sent through $10 and said, "Morning, fellas. Another crazy trade. Now Ant has a PG that can run the offense full time. Now they just need a power forward and a backup 5 for Rudy. Also, LA signed some new two-way guys that look promising. Thoughts?"
Who the Lakers signed?
Shout out to the two.
I'll be lying to y'all if I said I
don't
watched the
have
draft
no
yesterday.
look.
I did not. I did
What?
not.
I watched it. I
I'm
watched
sorry.
it.
I did not watch the draft.
I mean,
I watched
You didn't miss
There-
anything.
There's one LA team that got a really
Thanks
cool
for
guy
just
in the
on.
second round. I want to give a shout out to my guy, Baba Miller, for getting drafted 36th overall. It's been a long journey for Baba, man. He's a good basketball player. Shout outs to him and a really good person, too.
Mm.
Good
Shout out
shout
to
out.
not being a scumbag. I like that. Mm-hmm. Shout out to not being a jerk off. Yes.
Real talk. You don't got nothing to say about the two-way guys that the Lakers picked up?
No, nigga, I don't know them yet.
Who's the dude from
know.
Miami that they got? Miami of Ohio. he looked like Austin
a
Reeves'
paid-
little
Oh,
brother.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
real.
I
He
did
has
see
suit
that.
on.
Yeah, hey, the Lakers love trying to. Yeah, hey, I did see Laker Nation.
Yeah, he looked like Austin Reeves' little brother,
Hey,
like legitimately.
That's not going to be Austin Reeves. I
You
saw
didn't know
just
Austin
from
Reeves
the
was gonna be Austin Reeves.
Just from the little clips, I can see that's not fit. Austin Reeves had way more burst as an athlete, better handle.
You didn't even know who
better,
Austin Reeves was, bro.
shiftiness.
Stop it.
He's not. He's
Shout
not
out
Austin
Austin Reeves, Texas
Reeves.
A&M.
He's not.
Um,
He's not Austin Reeves.
Mars brought it up last night. I would like to just say very briefly. I have no idea. I'm talking to Mars. I'm really talking to anybody else. So, I have no idea, Mars, how Sam Presti saw what I saw. Because, Mars, I was very specific, Mars. Tell me I'm lying. Very specific about Ortega, rather, for what months? I brought it up to you. I brought it up on the show. Nobody else has talked about him. Ben, I said it to you in the chat. I've said it to you. I've never talked to anybody else about this. Sam Presti, hop off my Twitter. There's no way that
are
you knew
not
who
that
this was.
important. Oh
Real
my
talk. Let me
Watches the
just
show,
vent.
man.
Let me
He
vent. Real
watches the
talk.
show.
Just stay in the
Where did he play, Swiper? Did he play
stay in the cut.
Northwestern? Did he play in my
He played,
backyard?
but bro, he was a regular at Kentucky. No one was paying attention to Ortega.
He played in Kentucky.
He
No one-
played
Nobody
in
said-
Kentucky. And
Nobody.
you're
But
thinking
hold
the
on,
only
real
one
talk.
that
Would you
talked?
just sit in the cut and let me grieve? Shut up. I'm saying. Real talk.
The draft was a rough 2 days for Swipe.
It was. How is that fair to me? How is that fair
It was
to me?
condolences.
First of all,
Oh,
stop-
thank
stop
you
bitch-
for your Baylor
stop
guy, though.
bitching and
Can-
How is
Yeah,
that fair to
I
me?
don't know if
Are you
anyone
going to
had
get
a
a
worse
Laker
draft
Cam Clark
than
jersey,
Swipe.
Swipe?
Wait. I will actually. Wait, how is that fair to me? That Ortega, y'all didn't even bring him up pin. People said he wasn't a top 50 pick. I was going out on a limb to get him at 49.
Okay, it's because he can't dribble. But you know, Sam Preston.
But he's a great Lou Dort replacement. I know. But how did you see
what-
that Sam Preston? You made 7 trades in the draft. 7. Just draft your guy. Draft your guy.
Yo,
Leave my
Swipe-
guy alone. Why would you do that? Stay
Every
away.
second round pick got traded except the Toronto
Swipe,
pick.
but for fuck's sake, stop crashing out, bro. Like gratitude gonna take you a long way. Y'all got
Ladies and
Trevon
gentlemen,
Brazile.
this
You
is what a
really-
crash out looks like.
I'm not happy. No, cool.
How are you
Brazil is good. I'm with Brazil. I'm not talking about that.
How much? have you
What
watched
does
of
that
him?
Ortega? Why would you draft Ortega? For what?
Brazil
You don't
is
even
better
watch
than
him.
Ortega away.
Well, I mean, you know, before
Way
Kentucky,
better.
he played
For what
at
y'all need?
Oklahoma, right?
I know he was really good, but nobody brought him up. He wasn't the worst conversation
So
for
wait a
anybody.
second. So he played in.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think
Oklahoma,
maybe the
and
Oklahoma
Sam
State Thunder
Preston
GM
needed
saw the
to
guy
top
at
No,
Oklahoma.
let me explain this to y'all. Real talk. I just want you to know this is why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Hey, Ron, I read this on the chat the other day, on my chat yesterday. I texted last Friday, Pin. I'm not kidding you. At 5:50 p.m., reading you verbatim. I texted last Friday at 5:50 p.m.
Yep.
A Denver Nuggets coach. Have you heard of Ortega Owe? Last Friday. He said no.
Just trying to get them to draft.
Yes.
So you,
I was communicating. This is my job. You know, we talk. I was texting him, Damien. He said, no, I didn't before you mentioned his name. Just saw the numbers though. Are they impressive? What is he? Because you know, they're not scouts. That's not their job. Whatever. Right. So I said, you know, he reminds me of Lou Dort, Casey Wallace, Nikhil Alexander. He's kind of one of those plug and play guys. He's really young. He's already developed. He's 6'4". He's 216. You know what he said? Verbatim, real talk. That's what we need! Exclamation! 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 Do you like him more than Swain or Carr? I said no.
why are
You
you
draft
leaking
Swain first.
DMs? You're so messy, man.
I'm not leaking anything. There's no name. There's no name attached to this. People know I got relationships. I don't understand, y'all.
This is really him talking to Jokic, by the way. This is really him talking to Jokic. So.
They should have had you in the war room, man. That's crazy.
I don't know, Dame. I'm having a real difficult.
I'm
I'm having a very difficult time
Jokic left
believing
him on unread 6 years ago.
Sam
He ain't
Preston
never getting back.
is on the Twitter. He's on the Twitter timeline and he's looking at who.
Dan Presti's watching the show right now. Hi, Sam.
Sniper likes in the draft and going,
Okay.
this kid Ortega.
Yo,
maybe I
Sam
should-
Presti,
maybe
you
I
watching
should
the
trade
show?
for him.
Let me tell you about this
Hold on.
really underrated kid. You know,
Let me see
he's
who Sniper likes in
super
the
like you wouldn't have never heard about this guy, but he's really amazing. Tyrone Stokes, you heard of him? Yeah. Shout out. So when Sam Presti's interested in Tyrone Stokes, I can bring back this take and be like, oh, get off my Twitter. Come on, man. No, man.
I think there's a big difference between the number one recruit in the country and Ortega Owe. But
By the way, I just want people to know that I know the trainer that works with OKC as well. I've never had these discussions with him. Chill. I think what happened is when I handed him my phone, he bugged my phone. I think he legitimately bugged my phone when I handed him my phone for his number, and they're listening to me. I don't understand this real time. I'm pissed. You think I'm playing? I'm actually pissed about this. Y'all, I'm not joking. This is not a gimmick. I'm actually angry.
They,
Swipe, this draft was rough for you,
they
Swipe.
probably
They
stole your
watch
Spotify
more.
playlist too.
How did the Lakers get Cameron Carr? How?
Okay,
How? Why? Of all the teams to draft Cameron Carr, why the Lakers? That's the worst team in sports.
but it's
They're
the best.
terrible.
You should blame the Knicks, not the
Bro,
Lakers.
hold
You should
on.
blame the Knicks, not the
Swipe
Lakers.
it. Okay, hold on. First of all, you a Cam Carr fan, right?
They swapped that pick.
Are you a Cameron Carr fan?
He loves Cameron.
Can you just say yes? He's a Baylor guy, right? You should be happy for him. He went to the absolute perfect situation. He never has to dribble a basketball for the rest of his life. You just shoot and dunk. Perfect. You play with 3 awesome playmakers. You should be happy. Learn to be happy for other people's success, bro.
No, I'm not happy for that. And then A-Cup goes to the worst organization in California. Like, I just don't understand. What did I do to deserve this? Ron, I'm a nice person.
First of all,
I
Gary
tithe.
Jacobs got what he wants.
I
Cam
walk
Carr
people
got what he
across the
want.
street. I you know what I mean? I take care of people. I offer people money on the road. Ron, what do I do to need equity in the draft?
Your 3 favorite players in this draft each went to a perfect situation for them, and they're all going to get exactly what they need. Otega Oweh is probably going to fail in every situation other than OKC and maybe one other team. And they're going to develop him because they know how to develop him, because they have institutional knowledge of how to develop Lou Dort, and they don't need him to do anything but be who he is. You don't want him in friggin' Washington. Trust me. They messed that up. Darius Acuff is a franchise player. That's not happening with most teams. That's happening for him right now. He wanted that. And Cam Carr is going to be a player in a playoff rotation. What are you complaining about? Every one of your favorite players got exactly what they want.
No. I work for Denver. I don't care about these other teams. I want them to come to my team. To my team.
Can't hear you, Ron. Can't hear you.
Oh,
I was just saying, there it is. It sounded like you were being biased, is what I said, and Swipa, you just went out and said it. Okay. I thought he cared about these players. He's a Baylor guy. I'm rooting for my Baylor guys. Come on, Baylor. Hey, go Bears. I
wanted Bennett Sturtson. I wanted Bennett Sturtson in Toronto, but I'm very happy that one of my favorite prospects went to a great situation.
No, he went to OKC. Oh, he hard. Yeah, great.
No, it's a great situation for him. He's gonna play winning basketball. I wanted Cason Wallace. He went to OKC. I was happy.
But you get years. Real talk. There's years. When if you're in a bad relationship with somebody, you can deal with a couple things for a year and a half. Y'all, it's been years of this same story of like my love interest
4 years ago
not going to the place they most.
You got
belong.
Jokic. You're fine. You're good. You're fine.
Yes.
You got Jokic and Lester. What you complaining about? You got Jokic and Lester.
You're right.
Yeah, so y'all go re-sign Peyton Watson. You'll be good, brother.
What's happening right now?
And you got Peyton Watson. Jeez.
Aaron Gordon gonna come back healthy next year.
Y'all got real athletes now, right, Swipe? You got real athletes.
Now I will. Brazil is a great ad. I will say that. That is a great ad. Legitimately.
Good.
But on a scale from 1 to 10,
fit.
Good. 10 being the 2003 to 1986 draft, and 1 being garbage. What was this draft for you guys?
No, this was what was his name? Nicholas Tishvili. This was that again. This is how I felt in 2004 or 2002 when that draft happened. They took him number 4 overall. That's how it feels. This is 2002 all over again. This is what it feels like.
They told Amari Stoudemire we were straight.
All right, fellas, I'm gonna swerve back into the super chats. If you haven't sent through a super chat yet, go ahead and let us know how you feel about anything draft related, anything off-season related, any trades or moves that you might want to see, or ultimately how you obviously feel about the biggest news right now. LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Minnesota Timberwolves, the new look Wolves. How do you feel about that? Send through a super chat. Also, tonight happens to be Thursday, and Thursdays happen to be when we do our members only stream. If you're not a member, don't even worry about this. Just let this go in one ear and out the other, because you're not allowed to pull up. But if you are a member, we would love to see you in our stream tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll also be back on Sunday for another members only stream. Thursdays and Sundays are when we do our streams. And if you are an all-star, if you happen to be an all-star, you have the privilege to come on stage and chit-chat with us, debate with us, talk about whatever topic that you want to talk about. Not us, you want to talk about. So we hope to see you guys at 6 p.m. tonight. See you there. But in terms of super chats, the next super chat that I have is from none other than Icarus 2003. Icarus said, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't matter. I don't know if it matters, but what do you guys think? He said, I don't know. It doesn't matter. So I think he's saying, I don't know.
I know it doesn't matter. But what do you guys think would be fire?
I'm not making fun of Ron for this anymore.
What are the Nuggets doing there?
Bullying people for dyslexia is not cool. Come on.
Yeah.
Man.
Dyslexia is not adding words where they don't exist. Dyslexia is struggling to read words.
I'm not a bully.
He is adding
That's struggling to read words.
No. You are adding in words that aren't there.
I thought I seen a word that wasn't there. I'm sorry,
That's
Lars.
not dyslexia. That's blindness.
So now you're bullying me for being blind?
I'm acknowledging you.
No, I think you're actively bullying me for like a
Ron,
deficiency that I have.
Ron,
I may or may not.
You might qualify for a handicap parking spot at this point.
Well, all right. I'm gonna look into that. But thoughts on that last super chat?
Well, can you reread it? Because I was confused about the
I'm not to hell with that super chat. I'm not reading that.
Whoa, no, not to hell.
Wait, what?
And then what are Denver doing?
Good opening night games. I think OKC, Spurs.
You're gonna get Denver and
It's
Minnesota
gotta be
again.
Knicks,
Something dumb.
Spurs, no? It's
How
gotta
about
be Knicks,
Hornets?
Spurs.
Hornets versus Minnesota. That would be fun.
Actually, Minnesota,
Yeah.
Denver, because it's already like a little.
I'm so sick of watching that game. I'm just
Miami,
Yeah, you
Milwaukee,
sick of losing to them. I
Minnesota-
know.
Hey, what ring do they have?
Denver,
Hey, Rosa, what ring do they have?
San Antonio, New York, maybe San
What does that have
Antonio,
to do with
OKC.
anything?
What does that have to do with anything? Hey, Rosa, how about this? Where's your ring? Where's your ring?
Are you flicking me off?
No, where's
in
your
a
ring?
Christian way?
Where's your ring?
I
Where's
feel
your
like
ring?
you're Christian way flicking me off.
No, you know
Yeah.
Maybe Milwaukee versus Miami. Maybe even though Milwaukee's on a suck, but Giannis back in Milwaukee.
No, I think we'll save
yeah.
that.
New York Lakers. I like that.
Sure.
man.
Sure, just big markets.
Boston, Miami. Wouldn't be mad at that.
Boston, Miami would be cool.
Rockets, Warriors. Maybe you get KD and Steph.
Yeah.
And now that's a matchup. I'm
Lakers,
tired of
Warriors.
watching.
Lakers, Warriors would. Lakers,
How
Warriors
about,
would be the
how about
best
Lakers,
rated.
Spurs?
Boston and wherever Jaylen Brown gets traded.
True. Because he
Atlanta,
definitely
yeah,
traded.
Atlanta.
He gone.
OKC Spurs is always a fire game too.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't be mad at at the top two picks, Darren Peterson and AJ DeBonsa getting an opening night game.
They get opening night in summer
We're
league.
getting that in summer
That's what they
league.
get. They get opening night summer league.
league.
Shout out to Trey Young, not giving AJ his number. Salute.
When they do get that game, though,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be interested in that game because these are two up and coming
already
teams.
in the tank. Like AJ DeBonsa has never passed in Trey Young the ball.
Trey Young was. Oh, AJ's never passing Trey Young the ball.
Y'all know
Trey
AJ
Young gonna
like
make
that.
his
He
life
ain't never
easier,
gonna
man.
pass the ball.
Trey is the point guard. The offense is running through me, but you sit in the corner and wait for yourself to get the ball. First off, second off, your young ass ain't finna come in the league and take my number. What?
He should.
It's been Trey's number for about what, 5 months?
Either way, like AJ probably would have had more action getting a number if you wouldn't have went on that podcast talking about, oh yeah, Trey gonna have to come off that number. Like, you don't got no pull in the league, and you don't have no pull on this team. All right, but like, little buddy, I just got a max contract. You gotta like prove yourself around here. You gotta, I know you're the number one pick. Cool, that's amazing. DeAndre Ayton was the number one pick.
I'll never forget Jalen Green got drafted to Houston.
Yeah, they're comparable. They were both number one picks.
Yeah.
They're now comparable.
They were both number one picks. That's all I know.
3 wasn't even Trey's number. He was.
That's what I'm saying. He done like.
He can definitely come off 3. He can go. Is there somebody with number 11?
He was wearing 11. Yeah, he wore 11 in that one.
No, I'm saying, is there anybody on Washington wearing 11?
Oh,
Isn't it Will?
It might just be retired. I don't know. No one right now is wearing number 11.
Then just go to 11, man. Just let the rug get his little. Somebody said 11 is retired. So
that would make sense. Yeah. Alvin Hayes. There you go.
Shout out.
Maybe their best ever player. Yeah, maybe their best ever player. But yeah, I remember when Jalen Green got drafted and Daniel House ain't come off number 4, so we had to wear number 0 for our first season.
Shout out to Daniel House.
Shout out
Houston
Daniel
legend.
House, man. I know.
Yeah, shout out to Daniel House. Yeah, and he ain't Trey Young.
Shoot that thing.
So, and Jalen Green was
In
meant to be the
Houston-
face of a rebuild. So,
In Houston in high school, he was calling Daniel House. It was like, oh man, we got the next LeBron when he was at Hightower.
yeah, I
was
could see
6'7"
it.
and could jump and was dunking on everybody.
Basically,
Turns out he wasn't
right there.
LeBron James, though. Duh.
He just wasn't
Decent for a while.
maximized in the league. He could have been.
Yeah, he wasn't
had that.
maximized.
He had that type of potential, though. for sure.
Yeah, but AJ will be all right though. Whatever number he wears, I'm pretty sure he'll be all right. MTHJ 301 said the Timberwolves need to send some type of package involving Rudy for marketing or Jaren and Kevin Love retirement tour, or go get Collins, Bridges, or Obi.
Okay, so he doesn't want what's best
Kevin
for the
Love's a
Timberwolves.
free agent.
Clearly. I wouldn't want
mad
any
at Jaren. Jaren over there
No, don't
To
trade.
do
You can't
what?
trade Rudy. You can't trade Rudy.
to be Jaren.
They would have to trade
and then you have no center.
or Rudy. That's not how.
You're in the
Play
same
center.
podium. Okay, yeah, you want to
I
lose.
think Rudy's pretty safe now, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
you just
all
want
the
to.
heat
Okay.
he's gonna.
Jaren's just a better player than Rudy Gobert. So
What's that
like,
got to do with
That's
the
fine.
impact?
That's fine.
Well,
You talking about Jaren at the 5? Yeah, you want to lose. Salute. That's fine. I don't
Six
care if you
rebounds,
want the
six
Wolves to
rebounds a
win or
game
not.
is moving you wrong.
if the trade is on the board for Jaren Jackson and Rudy Gobert, I'm doing that.
So
And
J-Mac
if Jaren just can't play the 5, oh, it's going to shreds, then we'll put Beer and J at the 5. We'll go find a 5. We'll go find somebody. We legitimately have LaMelo, Jaren Jackson, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels, and then we'll find somebody to play the 5. I promise you we can find somebody to
Find
rebound.
someone to play the 4.
I promise
you got a 5 deep in your rotation. His name's Rocco Zakarsky. Shout outs to him.
He could play the 5.
Game. There you go.
Yeah,
Ozzy.
yeah. Let's
Ozzy
just
guy.
keep Rudy and find a 4 because this is nonsense. So yeah,
Hey, Zakarsky can hoop and he's tough.
He's good, man.
I like
yeah.
Rocco Zakarsky prior to his draft year.
I heard he's an asshole though. You need a little bit of an
Yeah, he's a
asshole.
bit of- Yeah, I can confirm. Yep. Mhm.
Every media
He's
person in
7'4", I
Australia
mean,
I said he's an asshole.
Edu sent through 11 euros and 99 cents and said they need to sign Robert Williams like that and trade for a 4, possibly PJ. That would make them an actual tier 1 contender. JB for Mobley could happen. Can't wait to see my hate watches, D Mitch and JB fail together.
Donovan
Robert
Mitchell
Williams
and
is
Jalen
probably
Brown
the-
as teammates is hilarious. That's just funny to me. But yeah,
It's a
if
lot
they
of
do
teams,
address
yeah.
the 4 spot with PJ, get a backup 5, second best team in the conference.
Nice.
There's a lot of teams that have a lot of work to do here. Miami, Minnesota, Charlotte. The Lakers have big decisions. Lots of off season left, man. Gonna be some crazy stuff going on.
Drink more water said, my GOAT is now gone, so I'm going to be all in on Khan. Bars. I said the Hornets need to get rid of that shot-chucking bum in LaMelo and make Khan the star, and they did it. What jump do y'all think Khan can make?
Khan's gonna be great. Look,
Yeah,
man.
we'll
Khan
see
will
how
be
Khan looks for them.
I think Khan will be great,
We'll
yeah.
see what that looks like.
Look,
Better than Klay Thompson, right?
la-
Real talk?
last
I don't
year-
think you needed to get off LaMelo to get the best of Khan.
That's
But I
also
do think Khan
true.
will be. But I do think Khan will be great.
if you look at this front office's decisions over the last 2 years, they're really investing in adults and proven winners. They want guys who have great habits. And last year, from what I heard, around training camp, is these young guys came in, the Kalkbrenners, the Con Knipples, the Sion James, these guys, and they just started their own shit in the Hornets, and a lot of the other guys just kind of gravitated towards that group. Like they said, like, oh, we're staying a little bit later after practice, or we're taking this more seriously, and LaMelo just kind of fit into that, right? So this idea that somehow he led the change, he was not the catalyst for change. Their draft was the catalyst for change, and I think they've added to that this year significantly with Hans Steinbach and Christian Anderson, and Kobe White fits into that too. So they just got a bunch of really good guys, and I really do value those swaps, man. There's optionality there. There's real downside with Minnesota. A few years from now, if Ant asks out, LaMelo's injured, Rudy Gobert is 55 years old, and the West is stacked. There's a chance you could, and then the draft lottery odds are flattened. Like there's a chance that in 3-4 years, like Minnesota comes out and says, "Whoops, we really messed up here."
Health was the reason why Charlotte turned it around last year.
No,
Everybody's not healthy again.
Genuinely,
They still lose.
I hear what you're saying, and LaMelo is hella talented, but like those second round picks also, like I was talking to a scout 2 days ago, and he said by 2027, 2028, teams are gonna view having multiple second rounds picks as a CBA cheat code, because teams that are up against this apron will have the optionality of two-way extensions on those, and because the second round is already kind of moving into that MLB zone, or I think it's like where like there's a way for agents to kind of push guys away. Like we just saw this with Henri Vesar. Last night he fell all the way to like 52, and with all these seniors, ready-made guys coming in, this is a cheap way to fill out the back end of your roster and get actual depth. So, I see teams that know how to scout and know how to accumulate the right picks as having like a great ability to accommodate the salary of a superstar.
Ken, do you see like Con as like do you think he's capable of being like a high usage, like pick and roll handler? Like I'm initiating offense as
he did a
like
little bit of
primary
that.
offensive guy.
He did a little bit of that when Cooper Flag was out of the game at Duke, and in spurts last year, like he's shown potential to do that. I think he's got more of that in his game than Klay Thompson did, for instance. But I don't think he can handle like the load that LaMelo handled. He's not creative enough yet. But I think
agree.
they're banking on the system, and if they miss the playoffs next year, they actually have a chance with the flattened odds to maybe fall back into the top 5 and get Tyron Stokes. At which point, now you're a contender. Now you're moving into the right championship window path. And I think Naz Reid's being slept on by this panel for sure. I think he's a really good basketball player.
He's a good basketball player. I agree. Really good man. Good basketball player. I agree.
And I mean, like what they do with the cap space plus those future picks. Like, what if right now they turn around and they trade Tijon Salon and like 2 first-round picks and actually get like a sub all-star level player? Now we're talking differently. You also have the cap space.
I would need an example of the player, but possibly.
I don't know. I just feel like they put themselves in a position for a lot of ifs that got to be answered.
Yeah.
Where they were just
already
already headed in a good direction.
No, I think Mars and Swipa did a really good job of like kind of addressing like the Hornets side of this, like what they were thinking. But I'm gonna guess 2 things. Number one, they're betting that LaMelo's health is not going to be great for the next 4 years. They're betting on it. They could be wrong. He could be perfectly healthy, but that's the bet. The second thing is they're betting on their ability to be good in the East sooner rather than later, because they've brought in a whole bunch of players who can play pretty quickly and are developing well and have winning habits. So the idea here is, and then the third thing is they're betting on their ability to utilize their cap space. So
we'll see. But also the East is going to be better next year than it was this year.
All the more reason to trade LaMelo Ball, because what Mars said was his sub 15, those teams don't exist anymore. It's basically like they don't exist anymore because you don't have an easy win against Brooklyn. You don't have an easy win against Washington. You don't have easy wins against Indiana. So you don't get to pad your stats. Now,
but he was already, even in the stats that Mars brought up, he was still driving elite offense. Offenses were still tremendously better with him on the court. Their defense went to shit their defense was shitty when he was on the court. But that to me is them addressing the 4 or 5. That's them addressing the Miles Bridges and the Musa Diabates of the world. Maybe if we can get a Mitchell Robinson or a Robert Williams at the 5, maybe we have better rim protection and rebounding on the court. Now, but the answer to me isn't trade LaMelo, like, because now you're a worse team now. Washington, if they're healthy, they're going to be better next year. Indiana's coming back next year. Boston's going to be back next year. Who else? Orlando, if they ever can get 60 games out of Paolo and Franz at the same time, ever. Hopefully they can. Atlanta's going to so it's like, I don't know, man. I think
LaMelo's impact is obvious, but you don't get that elite like net rating without Musa Diabate. You don't get it without Khan hitting those shots. You don't get it without, Bridges being what he was. And I just think that from what fans see and what GMs see, I think there's a big disparity between how LaMelo Ball was valued around the league. I think people see the downside, the maturity, I think that's been overblown, but the injury risk is very real. And this is a guy who's played a lot of basketball in his life, an exceptional amount of basketball. And he's missed, I'd say, a third of his games in the NBA so far, close to. And there's no reason to believe that necessarily is going to change over the next 4 or 5 years. I think this is an accommodation to Anthony Edwards needing immediate help and wanting a talent upgrade, and Minnesota wanting to accommodate their star to give him that talent upgrade. So the best version of this obviously works out for Minnesota, but the worst version of this drastically works out for the Hornets.
All right, KC19650 said Melo and Ant about to be insane. Everyone's team is getting better except Luka's. Ha ha. Luka FC in shambles. Luka bum ass don't deserve a good team.
Just got Cam
Why
Clark.
is he a bum? Because the Lakers can't get it. I am getting upset about this though, Robert, Mr. Palinka. You need to be doing something. Everybody
made a
else
He
great
just
is
brought
draft.
back
together.
Austin Reeves.
All we
He brought back
did was
Austin Reeves
bring
and
back
got
bum
Cam
at.
Clark.
Let me not say he's a bum. All we did was
That's the
bring
easiest
back
business he
Reeves.
had, bro.
Cool.
So you
Do
don't think
something.
drafting Cameron
Where's
Carr
our
really
center,
matters?
Rob? Luka said he wants an A-tier center. Where's our center? What are we doing with
Anthony
LeBron
Davis said that as well,
James?
by the way. Yeah,
Exactly.
Anthony-
He got traded.
Real
But
talk.
Luka,
Free agency
What?
ain't even started yet. Like the offseason just kicked
Okay.
off.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired of real
And
talk
Minnesota
already, bro.
It
got
just kicked
LaMelo Ball.
off.
and the Miami Heat got Giannis Antetokounmpo. So
How are you gonna get
hey,
him?
he needs to be doing.
Well, you were in neither of those sweepstakes, so I don't know what exactly you want
I'm combating Ron's point of view. Will it just started? Yeah, shit's been happening though. It's not like
Yeah, but
It's
anybody.
been
nothing
a
that
day.
could get the Lakers involved.
No, but some,
Bro,
you know, like, some Lakers fans
nothing
are
that
they're
nothing
not
that
happy that.
could have the Lakers involved in it has happened.
I mean, y'all could have traded Luka for Giannis if you really wanted Giannis. Did you want Giannis that bad?
I think
No?
no, but like
Okay,
some,
we'll
some
take
Laker
it.
fans were
anything
upset
I
that
want
like
to
Nick
Giannis.
Claxton went for
I'm
nothing.
making a
Some
point
Laker
of doing
fans were upset
something,
that you know.
not the
Nick would have been
Giannis.
a good move.
Nick Claxton went for nothing. You know, bit like Isaiah Stewart went for 3 second rounders. Like some Laker fans are like, what's going on
But
here?
You're naming a
Isaiah
whole
Stewart
lot
did
of
not go
names,
for 3
bro.
second rounders. Isaiah Stewart went for 3 second rounders and cap relief. That's
Sure.
that's the part of this. So when you have
they have-
Detroit,
they have-
Detroit's
cash
gearing up to
consideration.
make some move. Yeah, Detroit's gearing up to make a move. I don't know what
Yeah,
it is.
Detroit
They're
gearing up
gearing
to do something, huh?
Yeah, but
No, they needed that
and
money
then
to
and then
straight
Nick
sign
Claxton
Jalen
is
Duren
also
as well.
just not that good anymore. But
I agree.
We ain't doing a damn thing besides bringing back somebody we already had.
Yeah, DeAndre Ayton.
yeah, for
Yeah,
40
it'll be
million.
all right.
Yeah, 40 million.
Oh, he's got a player option. Yep.
Nick Claxton about to be unlocked. Now he's not playing with Ben Seraph. Okay, unlocked.
All right, young boy Goated sent through $10 and said, "I don't understand the backlash to the Brooklyn Nets taking Mikal Brown Jr. He's gonna flourish with Jordy, and that trio of Yegor and MPJ gonna be nice. Acuff doesn't have the ceiling of Mikal. I'm sorry."
Yeah, I'm not on Nets Twitter. I didn't know people were freaking out about that pick. Yeah.
Who'd they want? They wanted Acuff.
Acuff, I assume. Yeah, I think Michael probably has the highest ceiling, but he also, I think, probably has the lower floor. So
I agree with that.
I have a hard time seeing
For sure.
Acuff not being a productive offensive player in the NBA. I could see a world in which Michael Brown isn't. So, and Michael's defense also sucks last year. So,
It's gonna be interesting. It's hard for me to pick one of these guards over the others. Like, yeah, I have guys that I favorite due to their play style and stuff. But I can't wait to see all of these guys from Keaton all the way down to a Corey. I'm just eager to see what they all look like.
You need to go further down.
To who?
Jaden Bradley.
All right, y'all.
was that the 50th pick?
Yes, it was. The only pick that didn't get traded in
Everyone-
the second round.
Miami's excited about Conwell. Pen, should they be? I like him.
He shoots a lot of threes. They need 3-point shooting.
It's a lot. They need 3-point shooting. They need a bit of creation. Sure.
Yeah, I think they addressed the need.
Shout out to the Rockets taking another small guard.
Honestly, like I didn't think the second round was going to be good at all, and then
Well,
by the
he's
end of it,
not-
I was
he's
like, I can sell myself
225.
on 15 of these guys having like a viable NBA
Still.
career. This is really
You got
cool.
Fred VanVleet part two. I don't know. Stuff.
Yep. Shout out to the Rockets.
All right, Gooch Dior sent through $9.99. Gooch said, "Return for Charlotte leaves a lot to be desired, but I don't think you guys are considering just how much LaMelo's game regresses in all the playing games he's played. He doesn't do good against physical defenses."
Small sample.
Well,
but
I think Charlotte aren't as high on LaMelo's ability to play the high leverage games at a high level as opposed to some other people. Not in the role they had for him anyway. Now,
Yeah,
We
him
saw
as
him
a
in the
one.
plane against-
No.
You
we
know what
saw
I
him in
heard
the plane
more?
against Miami. Like he was 1-on-1 with Tyler Hero in the fourth, and they had
he's
to
also
send
got
help. Like
obliterated by
that's-
Davion Mitchell on islands multiple
Yeah.
times, which is concerning.
So, one of the things I do in my pre-draft at eval is I email associate coaches of the players like at their schools. So I'll, email BYU coach or a Santa Clara coach and ask like, hey, you have 10 minutes. Sometimes their phone numbers are available. Just give them a blind call and just say, hey, I cover, this draft. And I heard the term 16 game player 6 different times over the last 4 months. This is a 16 game player. This is a 16 game player. I think that the Hornets are very much invested in guys who had the intel that they were 16 game players. And I don't know if they think that LaMelo is a 16 game player.
I think that's valuable, but in the NBA, you also need players who can get you to the 16 games.
Agreed. Massively.
And
to be fair, they didn't.
LaMelo was a huge driver in Charlotte's ability to get to the position to have a chance of seeing who a 16 game player was.
Is this a ceiling raising versus floor raising argument?
Somewhat, but I think being a good regular season player doesn't always just mean you're a good floor raiser. It just means like you just have a certain skill set that is a more monotonous, like repeatable skill set tends to just lend itself more to the regular season. And I'm not saying LaMelo is that. I'm now speaking more generally. Like if you have a more repeatable process, you tend to be more regular season coded. If you have a more adaptable, versatile process, you tend to be more playoff coded. So like current example, like Anthony Edwards is a very adaptable offensive player in terms of the way you can deploy him. He's probably more of a 16 game player than an 82 game player.
Agreed.
Shea is a more repeatable process, has been anyway. He's probably more of a regular season player than a playoff player. Now, both are really good in the other circumstances. Ant is a really good regular season player. Shea is a really good playoff player, but their play style lends itself more to one or the other a bit more.
That's why they got Ben Simmons, because he's a 16 game player. He can carry Shea to the promised land again. There you go.
Sure. Yeah, sure.
It's also LaMelo as the one and the sole shot creator. Those are those stats, which again, he doesn't have to be that anymore in Minnesota. We'll be going to Anthony.
The scoring limitations are still going to exist. It's just how.
But I'm saying it's not going to be as detrimental because he's not going to be the one that has to score in isolation. That he had to run offense and then be the shot creator for him and himself. And then he was probably not their best by percentage, but as far as ability to create own shot in isolation, he was that player for them as well. Saying he's not going to have to do that.
I think Kobe White's better at that particular thing than he is, and so I think he will thrive in that role. But the playmaking is going to be the gap for sure.
Like one of the other things that the Hornets did was they got up an obnoxious number of threes last year, right? So and LaMelo was a huge driver of that. He's really efficient. I wonder how quickly and if ever Christian Anderson can give you some element of that.
That's what they drafted him for. He was shooting 9 a game in college.
So exactly, and you know who else was shooting 9 a game in college? Jalen Brunson. So that high volume, like people think like you could take 41% 3-point shooters who take 3 a game, and then turn them into 41% 3-point shooters who take 9 a game. It just never happens. I don't think it's
8 a game. My fault, Christian. 8 a game, not 9, but close enough. At 41%, by the way.
Getting up volume is a skill in itself, man.
I say that all the time
because volume increases attention on you. So the more you take, the harder it is to make them.
LaMelo and Ant are going to shoot 23s a game between them next year, so that's going to be interesting.
Who picked up Richie Saunders' pin from BYU?
Memphis.
Yeah,
Memphis got them a nice little draft this year.
He's 25 years old on opening night, and he's coming off an injury.
He was going on a mission, didn't he?
A torn ACL. So I mean,
he's probably not.
He gets him up.
He might not play.
He gets him up, and he has a high motor. So this is like interesting player. He's a great off-ball mover, though. I like his movement patterns.
Yep.
All right. Average Joe sent through $10 and said the Wolves have been awful building a team around Ant-Man. Overcorrections and desperate moves left and right. Shaking my head. And this is why you don't give up the world for Rudy Gobert after your star's second year.
They needed
a lot of Minnesota fans definitely regretting the Rudy Gobert, Karl Anthony Towns decision. I mean, I get it. You know what I'm saying? Karl Anthony Towns is a better basketball player than Rudy Gobert. But Rudy Gobert, I still think the initial trade for getting Rudy on the roster was a good trade. It's proven out to work. You've gone to the Western Conference Finals like twice.
So crazy how people talk about
They
Rudy.
should have
still.
just kept Rudy and Cat together. It wasn't one or the other.
Yeah, no,
That's-
Well, the issue was Cat was
that's
making
the real
almost $30
tragedy,
million
really.
more than Rudy, and it was a space issue. So that was a part of the reason why they got rid of him.
yeah,
biggest
obviously
reason.
finances are a big
They didn't
reason
wanna
for a
pay
lot of
him,
trades.
yeah.
But in terms of the fit, and Rudy and Cat is fine. And I think them getting Rudy was good because ultimately you don't want to be a team where you're literally not giving your generational, maybe, I don't know, franchise player, we'll just say that, franchise player, any playoff reps. And Rudy Gobert pretty much gives you a playoff floor.
Yep.
So does he have limitations in the playoffs? Sure. But at least you're getting there in the first place to give Anthony Edwards the playoff reps that he needs in terms of development. So I think it's better that they did the trade than not, in my opinion, just
This is
based
actually-
on that alone. And now you made it to the conference finals twice as well. So it's like,
This
Yeah,
is actually
you
the
get-
same theory that the Raptors had with Brandon Ingram, by the way. Exact same theory. Just get there. And then we can tinker around the margins once we do get there. I think this is why Jalen Brunson deserves a lot of credit, because the contract situation, if he had gone for as much as he could have taken, you just don't have enough money between him and Cat to build a competent roster around those guys. And that's the problem with Rudy Gobert and Anthony Edwards making as much as they do. When Cat comes on, you just don't have any space. You can't accommodate the rest of your roster.
wow.
You don't have a point guard. You don't have depth. You can't afford, Nas Reed. And it's just salary crunch, man, for a small market team.
By the way, really
Nas
big
Reed
news,
could be
Ron.
this
I'm
guy
going to send it
as
to you
well,
as
yeah.
well. But we had a little bit of smoke, but Jake Fisher, obviously, big name in the media, especially the connection stuff. There's real smoke, and I know Penn knows this with the Kawhi Leonard back to the Raptors thing. There's a lot of real smoke for that, and he's willing to sign the extension apparently as well. So
Kawhi is?
he's
Going
willing.
from Brandon Ingram to Kawhi.
Yeah, there's real smoke for Kawhi back to Toronto. Mm-hmm.
Oh
Kawhi
my
could be a
God.
swing piece this offseason.
Yeah,
honestly,
like
for a lot of teams.
RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, Jakob Poeltl, they're all make 25 or more. And then on top of that, as Penn knows, they have some flexibility with the assets they have. Brandon Ingram makes money in that range as well. They have 4 players they could ostensibly trade.
I'm gonna pray for
plus a bunch of
for
stuff.
to everything that's good, man. For every good deed I've done in my life, please make this happen.
I don't know if those outweigh the bad deeds.
Mars,
Screw
if he gets
Try your
Kawhi
luck,
Leonard
Dirty.
and I lose on takeaway, I just know this isn't the business. I'm going to the
Who
NFL.
would be the best? Who would be the
I will
best player
not
on the
make any
team
more
next
ball jokes.
season,
I will
Ken?
not make any
Take a
more fat
sabbatical, yeah.
jokes. Lord, I will be
Yeah,
a good
I
person.
go-
No, keep the
I
fat
go.
jokes.
No, I will not make any.
Hey, what did we do?
No, yeah. Lord,
Ken, who would be the best player on the team next year if Kawhi's on the Raptors?
Kawhi.
He don't play around.
Hey, you know what happened, Ron?
Like, because Kawhi's gonna be like 35 and Scotty Barnes is still getting better. So it's like, do you project a little bit of a decline from Kawhi? Scotty Barnes keeps getting better. Does he?
No, we gonna load manage him.
Kawhi's coming off a
So,
career
in
year.
the-
man.
in the
That's crazy.
45 games-
Can you imagine our Raptors with Colin Murray, Boyle, Scotty, and
Our
Kawhi as the
Raptors.
three? That
Okay.
3 to 5, that
Yeah.
defensive core.
You have forgotten Alan Graves, but
Alan
okay.
Graves is there.
Um,
Jamal Shed at the point guard position
Jamal
as well.
Shed, yeah.
Jacoby Walter, you're a Baylor guy. How the
Yep,
hell
we're
you
going to be eating good.
Okay.
Whatever they eat in
Jameson
Toronto.
Battle, who
Jameson
won a
Battle.
playoff game for the Raptors this
forget?
year.
Good, man. Look, man.
You better get him because the Pistons
Kawhi
might get
has
him
a
too, by
lot
the way.
of positive equity in Toronto, man. Still a lot of fans in that front office. They parted on very good terms. I know people think that everyone in Toronto hates Kawhi. Some fans might be stupid and they actually do hate him. I don't. I understood the decision to go back to LA. Now he's seen the warts in the Clippers organization, realizes, Toronto, I had it good, man. This is an organization that treated me with respect from the day I came in. They never badmouthed me on my way out. You know how many organizations do that? Luka, Dallas, shout outs, oh, the guy's leaving. Oh, he was a malcontent. Oh, he's 385 pounds. Oh, he don't work hard. Oh, he drinking beer all night. Oh, he's smoking. We didn't do that. So this is why you operate as an ethical organization, so you don't burn bridges. And we haven't burned a bridge with Kawhi or his representation or Uncle Dennis. So, if this happens, I'm going to be insufferable. Ron, you're going to have to fucking fire me. Like, straight up. You will have to fire me because I am straight up coming here and saying, we are taking over the whole damn league with Kawhi and Scotty Barnes on the same
But
team.
Penn, you better get him
Please,
because
Lord, let this happen.
if you don't, who's second on this list? The Spurs are there, but also Cade Cunningham and the Detroit. They have all the
Detroit,
room
yeah,
and
Detroit.
availability to do that as well.
Yeah.
So you better get him. You better get him because if they
It's a
get him,
nice
So
city,
I don't want to
Detroit.
live in Detroit.
I think Detroit is going.
Detroit's a
hard
very
after
nice
him.
city.
I think Detroit is going to go.
I
very
have
hard
family in
after him.
Detroit. You don't have to tell me about Detroit. I know
Okay,
about
just because
Detroit.
you were in the suburbs, though. I'm talking about the city is very nice. The city of Detroit is very
Actually,
nice.
I wasn't though. I am now, but growing up, I was not. But yeah, I know about Detroit. Kawhi probably is going back to Toronto because that was the franchise he was able to bend over the most. So, salute. If there is a team that he's going to go back to,
Bend
or
over the
leave,
most. What does that mean?
he definitely bent y'all over. He
Yeah,
got
did a
whatever
number on
he
the
wanted.
Clippers too.
He came
did
in
a
on
number
day
on the
one.
Clippers.
He came in on day one. He said, "I have no intention of staying here, but I'm going to be a professional." He went to he went to Kyle Lowry, who was salty as crap, and wasn't talking to Masai Ujiri, and he said, "Yo, listen, I know your best friend got traded. I know you're really sad about it, but we got a really good squad here. Let's go do something about it." So he bent us over. We put him on an injury recovery program called load management. He adhered to it. He was disciplined as hell. He came into work every single day. He was a great teammate to every one of his teammates. Siakam would say to that. Fred would say to that. Everyone, and Kyle especially, would say to that. He brought that team together in a very significant way. I resist the idea that Kawhi is not a leader. I resist the idea that Kawhi is not a professional because
Who said any of these?
he said you said he bent us over, as if he screwed us over. He made it very clear on day one. I have no intention.
Y'all gave him
And then
all the stuff. The
He's
perks
just saying
looking
he had
for.
you guys wrapped around his finger.
Yes, that's what I'm
As
saying.
he should.
Per every star ever, yeah.
As he should.
That's not true. That's not true.
Luka definitely did it to you.
LeBron
LeBron definitely did it to you. LeBron
That's
was
not true.
LeBron was
has
running
done it to
circles
every
around the
franchise
Lakers.
he's been on.
LeBron had the Lakers anywhere he wanted, everywhere he
LeBron's
wanted.
done that to every franchise.
Oh,
he's been on.
okay. Done it to everybody. So hey, it happened to everybody else. It happened to me, but it didn't. So
No,
whatever.
LeBron does that, and not everybody. But salute.
All right, the next super chat is from G Cade. G Cade said, using Chill's logic, Melo is an Atlanta baddie that is a headache and runs your wallet dry. Kobe is a steady 8 from Johns Creek with a career.
This is W Atlanta reference. Johns Creek is a great district out here. Got a great high school out here. Then you got Alpharetta and stuff as well out in the suburbs on the outskirts of Atlanta. And he's talking about, and just for this is Pin one, not Pin, but Ron will understand this and Real Talk will understand this. You are gentlemen clubs, you like to travel amongst these villages. Magic City is LaMelo, Onyx is LaMelo, and then what he's saying is that if you go out to Johns Creek, that's where you find your, let's get married, let's settle down, professional, has a career, and all this other stuff. Melo is out there, IG famous, is what he's saying. I agree with that. Melo is IG famous. But you dated an IG famous person.
Little do you know is that young lady that's in
Johns Creek.
I don't know about these places.
Yes, you
but
do. Yes, you do.
Places like Magic City and stuff.
And
little
Onyx.
does Swipe know that she's already making 6 figures in Onyx, by the way. And guess what, Ron? She in nursing school too. She
definitely makes 6
be a nurse. She taking care of her family. She taking care of her responsibilities.
Don't disagree.
She can cook.
But don't disagree. But here's the problem with you, Real Talk. Here's the problem.
Hey.
You sir, you realize that when 2 Chainz and Drake could he be in the city, Future and all them go there, $20,000 to make sure she's good to go and all that other stuff. The problem is he was talking about a relationship. You try to get that time is costly. So while you trying to earn that time, you over here burning $10,000, $5,000, and you down to Drake, and you got a heartbreak, and she's moving on to whoever. I'm saying in Johns Creek, Real Talk, you could just simply go there. She working in an office, got her own office and practice out here, dental practice street, right? You know what I mean? You meet her, you take her out to Culver's, Pork Calvin's, like I like to. Matter of fact, Real Talk, when you get here, I'm taking you to Pork Calvin's. You like seafood, brother? Do you like seafood?
I'm allergic to seafood.
Okay, never mind. I ain't taking you to Pork Calvin's. Shout out. Got you.
Yeah,
man.
I'll go anywhere in Atlanta but Johns Creek.
Hey, you love the place I took you. 2 places I took you. You love those places, Ron.
Yeah. Don't ever take me to Johns Creek. Whoopity Scoopity said they ain't playing Jaden at the 4 against OKC when they need him to guard Shea. LOL.
Yeah.
They need a power forward.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Against OKC, I agree with that. Whoopity Scoopity sent through another $10 and said, also, I feel this trade ends Minnesota being a problem for Denver, as they've lost Nas and Julius, two of their best players against Denver.
Well, defense.
Excuse me,
yeah.
who was the brother
Nas,
that
yeah.
locked
That's
down
an-
Jokic this
That's an
past
interesting,
series?
interesting.
No,
Can't wait for the next year to start for real talk to go back to that Rudy get off the floor nonsense. I can't wait. Hey, real talk, just know these hands, baby powder. When I
Swipe.
see you.
I'm so unconcerned about Denver nowadays.
That's
I'm
cool.
just, salute to
You
y'all.
know when else you were? You know when else you were? 2023 when you swept your nasty.
Yeah, oh my
third
goodness.
franchise.
2023 has came and went.
Hey, guess
okay?
what? We're on the way
It's
to a
not
new era. We're on the way to a
anymore.
new era.
Hey, guess what? Guess what we found out about 2023? It was an outlier year.
Here we go.
Yeah,
Here
it was
we
an
go.
outlier season.
Outlier year.
It was an outlier playoff
Facts,
run.
facts. Hey, real talk.
That's what
Real
it
talk.
was.
Guess what we found out about you? Guess what we found out about you? You a scammer. That's what we found out. We use
I
a
don't
scammer.
care.
Use a
I
scammer,
don't
sir. We found
care.
that out.
He called me a scammer yesterday. Too.
You are.
He
Real talk. Did you see
he
his
just does
tweet?
this now.
Talking about I had nothing to do with this list that we put out for the redraft. Yes, you did. You wanted Yang in the top 10. Stop it.
Yang wasn't on the list. I had nothing to do with it.
I'm
They
sorry,
took my
Mark.
picks
Not
off.
getting this gimmick off of me.
They took my picks off the list. I literally had nothing to do with it.
Gimmick.
So that's got literally nothing to do with me.
Gimmick.
But one thing I do think, and Swiper should agree with this if he knows ball. It's time for Denver to do the sell high on Jamal Murray. That's what it really is time to do.
I have no words. I have
They
nothing
need
to say.
they see LaMelo get traded. Trae Young obviously got traded on a sell low point.
They
They
put him
need
in
to
some
sell
mocks.
high
though.
on Jamal.
Swiper, you did.
They
I've
need to
seen
sell
that.
high.
I have no words because he watches the show. I have no words. Shut up. I have no
That's
words.
basically him confirming. I just want to make sure we will understand.
Yo,
They need to sell high on
Lester.
Jamal Murray.
Lester. Hey,
Being real.
start putting your house up for sale, buddy.
You know people from Kitchener.
Check the market.
People from Kitchener they got bullies they send to people like you, Ron. I just want you to know that. So you keep doing all this jawing and talking. Canada like that. They got them. They got hitters in Canada, brother. Hitmen holla. Just so you know.
We one of the closest big cities to Canada. Come and see about me. Average Joe sent through $10 and said the Wolves are about to do the LaMelo is 6'7". We can start him and Io, and then wonder why the team is Swiss cheese on D. MFers better start Joan Berenger and leave Jada McDaniels where he's at.
Just
I
get a
promise
power
you
forward.
that's not about to happen.
Just get a power. It's not that hard to find a power
Yeah.
forward. Like you can even
Yeah.
get some marginal power forwards who can play like spot minutes and then get like one solid one. So like get a PJ Washington in the trade. I don't know what you have to give up, but get a PJ Washington. And then like I was looking at like get a Justin Champagny, get a Dominic Barlow, like get guys who aren't great
A
but
minute
can
later,
give you 12 minutes because they're gonna crash the offensive glass. You need them to probably improve as shooters, but defensively versatile, switchable, can like help side rim protect. Like it's not hard to find power
get you
forwards,
through the
especially
regular
on teams
season,
that
yeah.
aren't good, but they can help your team. Like go get a power forward.
All right, La Nigga in Drag said Timberwolves gonna be special. Real talk. Don't forget your king way he been moving. Ain't no party like a what? Yeah, we know the type of circles he moving in and them freak offs and secret societies. Real talk. What is he? Who is he?
He's talking about LeBron had those quotes. LeBron and Diddy used to be associates and stuff like that.
Associates.
It has nothing to do with me. I don't know. That's none of my business. Whatever those two people, did is what those two people did.
If you didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Correct. Shout out to Drinks for whatever for saying that. Yeah.
All right, shout out to Lofi Anime Hype. Appreciate you for joining up as a member. Also, shout out to GK for joining up as a member too. GK3974. Hope to see you guys later at a members only stream. Remember, if you are an all-star, you get an opportunity to come on stage and kick it with us tonight at our members only stream. We got another super chat, $10 from Luffy Gear 4th. Luffy said, good deal for Charlotte. Get off LaMelo and his deal. Create a $41 million trade exception. Get back Nas and a 2033 first. Maybe Ant is gone. 3 seconds, some swaps, meh. Plus, they got another move left with executive.
Exception with the
Exception.
exception. Yeah. They're betting, I think, on the upside of Kobe White, which I also believe in. I think Kobe White's a good player. So, and then obviously Christian Anderson being able to play right away. I think the picks are probably secondary in most of this, to be honest. I think it was more so just freeing up the room to give Kobe White the bigger role, getting the exception. And then also believe Nas Reed might be out there shooting like 8 threes a game is a big, which is like crazy volume. So
it's the biggest exception in league history, man. That's crazy. They can do some damage with that 41 million, man. And you can, I think
they should go take Ja Morant from us.
Why not?
Exactly. Please, I'm begging.
From us, you're a Grizzly fan this year.
This year, at least the next 4 years, yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Ja's
you're
gonna be
this
another
much
one on
of
the
a
move.
Cam Boozer fan.
We will be tapped in. We will be tapped in.
Ja for sure is getting traded, by the way. So
I also need my number 12 back. So yeah, get off the team. He got me working 27. Shit's shameful.
K Crazy sent through a super chat and said LaMelo is just another De'Aaron Fox. He's a player with little to no playoff experience long into his career. He comes from a loser organization with no expectations. He doesn't know winning ball.
What's the Wolves' best ever franchise record? Is it 54 wins or 58? It was in 04. I know that. I just don't know if they won 54 or 58. If it's 54, they might be able to set a new franchise record and wins. If it's 58, they might come close to it.
Yeah, LaMelo never be in the playoffs. Yeah, that's fair. He will now, but
I didn't know people were so low on LaMelo Ball. That's interesting.
I think it's two sides of a coin, of the same coin. Some people are high, some people are low.
Pride for having LaMelo on my All NBA team. So yeah, people are the highest.
All right, the next super chat is from I Take No Kobe Slander. Said random thought, ... Brown for Murray. And I thought Houston or Detroit would have been a perfect fit for LaMelo. Before Swipa comes back up here.
Ime's not dealing with LaMelo, I don't think. That's too reckless decision making. Yeah, that's not his type of player.
I mean, did Boston get better with Jamal? I don't think so.
If I was Boston, I would take Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too mad at it. They'd have to send a little something
It's
extra
gonna have
with
to
it.
be Jamal Murray and something else.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a one with Jamal Murray and Jaylen Brown.
No, sure. I don't know what Denver actually have that's valuable, but something, yeah. But yeah,
Jamal and Peyton, is that too much?
I think both teams get better.
That's too much.
That's too much.
That's too much.
Who did you say, Jamal and who?
I said Peyton.
Peyton Watson.
Oh hell no.
Jamal and Christian.
Well, no. Now you added a negative asset. Like what?
I like Christian though.
I like Christian. I think y'all be too hard on Christian.
Boss, for 25 million, you think Boston are like?
Oh yeah, he does make the 25 million.
Like, come on, like no, you've given me a negative asset. No, like it's like Jamal and Zeke Naji, like what? No. So I don't know what they have
over there.
Deron Holmes, maybe if they believe in that upside.
Oh, here we go, man. Here we go.
I don't know.
I like Brown in Denver, man.
What was the trade offer you just set up? I'm on the phone. Sorry.
Well, my man, I Take No Kobe Slander sent through a super chat and said Jaylen Brown for Jamal Murray.
Yeah, I'm just softly reporting that's already been a discussion. Just so lock in your third eye. It's already been a discussion. I don't know if it's going to happen. Yeah, but
Do you know who initiated the discussion, or are you not at liberty to say?
No, I mean I don't. I think they both. There's mutual interest. It's the best way to say it, but it probably won't happen though. I'll say it like that.
Julian Strawther would probably have to be the player. That would make sense.
So Jamal Murray plus Julian for Jaylen Brown?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. If I'm the Celtics, absolutely.
If I'm Boston, I'd do that personally.
Well, I think most people that are they think. Well, no, whatever. Shout Jaylen Brown. Shout Jaylen Brown.
All
Do
right,
you think
Nick-
Jamal Murray's better than Jalen
I
Brown?
think he had a better season, and I've been
Do
very.
you think he's a better?
No, I mean, I
player
think
than
he's
Jaylen
had
Brown?
better. I think he had a better season. I think in the playoff they were both mid. Jamal was worse. I've said that already.
I'm
before.
going to ask you the question.
No, I'm
for a
going to say
third
what I
time.
want to say. How about that?
Yeah, because you don't ever
Yeah,
answer
you don't like
questions
when people
directly.
politic you, huh?
No, I'm not politicking at
I
all.
don't
I
politics.
think Jamal Murray's a better offensive player, but I think the defense is worse.
Do you
for sure.
think Jamal
For sure.
Murray is better than Jaylen Brown?
You know what? I would say I do think he has been better, and I think there's a world he is better. Absolutely.
Is this world that world?
You are out of your
and I
mind,
think what's
brother.
funny is, Ron, you
Brother,
refuse
you
to give
are
Jamal Murray the
out.
scoring. Jamal Murray's a better
Brown's
scorer.
better than
I
Murray.
showed
Clearly
Jamal.
a better
I
playmaker,
said Jamal
clearly
Murray.
a better passer. He's
I gave
better
Jamal
at
Murray
these
so
things.
much love last year. I
No,
said
no.
Jamal. I
Well,
said Jamal
wait.
Murray was bet in the regular season. I said he was better than Jalen Brunson in the regular season last year.
Well, he was, but Brunson was worse than both of them in the regular season. I'm saying that like I said Jaylen Brown was worse than Murray all regular season. So I think at their peak,
But you
JB's
you
defense
think
helps him a lot for sure.
you
Like,
think
for
Jamal
sure.
Murray is better than Jalen Brown though?
But I think on the NBA market, I don't know if he is though. I don't know if he's worth more than JB.
We're not talking about the NBA market and who gets picks and
Jamal Murray is a
swaps and
better
all of
scorer.
that.
Yeah, Jamal Murray is a better scorer.
Jamal Murray is not a better scorer than Jaylen Brown. That is incorrect.
Well, he actually was. So
That is
that is
incorrect.
correct. That is
Yeah,
correct.
you better check the points for 75 and relative true shooting.
And you better check
yeah.
all the scoring stuff you want too. You want the turnovers, real
The
talk. you want
Timberwolves
the
will not be
creation,
able to
you want the
shut down Jaylen
self-creation
Brown
stuff.
like that.
You want to what? Yeah,
The
I mean,
Timberwolves-
that's a matchup
the
thing.
Timberwolves
And
would
guess
not
what?
be able
Jamal
to
Murray
shut
wouldn't
down
give him
Jaylen Brown.
76 like
I think Jamal Murray was a better regular season scorer, but I don't think he's a
agreed.
better scorer of the basketball.
But I'm
That's
saying he's
that's
just
exactly
not
how
a
I
better
feel.
scorer. That's what
Well,
I'm
guess
saying.
what? Jamal Murray wouldn't struggle
He's
versus
not a better
76, I'll tell you
player.
that much.
He's not a better player.
He's not a better player. I agree, Aiden. He's not
Jalen, we
better than
need
Jaylen
you to
Brown.
be traded,
I
Jalen
agree,
Brown.
Rob, I agree,
You gotta
Rob,
go
but
somewhere
I
to get your
genuinely
PR
think
up, brother.
I genuinely think he would help Boston more.
He would. Yeah, think about that passing. and
I
playmaking.
Jamal
think-
Murray?
Yes, I think the shot making, the pull up 3-point shooting, allowing Jason Tatum to be their primary initiator and not have them occupy some of the same spaces. Yeah, I think Jamal Murray would help them more. Even if
I
Jalen
like
Brown
the
is
fit
better,
with
player,
JT.
which he is. So yeah,
So who's now taking the assignments?
Jason Tatum,
it wasn't
not Jalen
anyway.
the
Brown.
best defender.
Jordan
Not
Walsh.
fake nonsensical take assignment gimmick that he does once every 3 weeks. I don't care about that.
It's
What's
not
that?
once every 3 weeks. Y'all be downplaying JB.
Who's gonna
taking
carry
his-
Maxey?
Welcome back, Real Talk. Well, it's good to have you back, brother.
No,
They were
it's
in-
like
They were in the playoffs in the midst of blowing a 3-1 lead. Who was Jalen Brown guarding and why was it not Tyrese Maxey?
because that's not his matchup.
You know, because he didn't.
But he guarded. I'm saying he's not going to guard that
Not a Paul
archetypal
George.
player. That's what I'm saying. They wouldn't put Jalen Brown on.
So I don't
Tyrese
care
Maxey.
about the assignments being taken when he's not going to take the assignment unless it's an assignment that is advantageous. He's not just, oh yeah.
No,
he just
an
gave me the
assignment that
assignment.
makes sense. Yeah, the wing guards,
No star
wing
players
size
in the
players.
league
What are
aren't
you
the
talking about,
assignments
Mark?
that make sense.
What
That's
are
the
you saying?
point. If you go through the Eastern,
So
the Eastern Conference,
He has
if
to
you go
guard
through the
Tyrese
Eastern Conference,
Maxey?
well, I'm saying no. See, you're not. I don't want Jalen Brown taking assignments. You're the one who asked me about what about Jamal Murray not being able to take assignments. My point is, I don't want Jalen Brown doing that anyway. If you go through the Eastern Conference landscape, I don't want him as my primary assignment on Cade, and he's probably one of the better matchups for him. Cade is probably the better Jalen Brown type of assignment, and I still don't want that being his assignment because every time I watch him go up against the Pistons on Cade, every time Cade gets to going off the ball, Jalen Brown gets fried every time because he starts ball watching. Cool, but I guess maybe Cade is actually a favorable assignment compared to the rest of the East. I don't want him on my primary assignment on Jalen Brunson at all. That is not something I'm going with. So once that's another team he can't be the primary assignment on. I don't want him as my primary assignment on Donovan Mitchell at all. That's another team he's not taking a primary assignment on. Maybe he can take the James Harden assignment, cool, but that's a secondary assignment. But the Donovan Mitchell one, no, I don't want him taking that one. I don't want him guarding Scotty Barnes. That's not an assignment I want personally. But maybe you do. Brandon Ingram, I like that assignment. I think he can match up with Brandon Ingram. But that's once again a secondary assignment. Atlanta, they don't even have a human being worth of assignment. So sure, he can guard and kill CJ, whoever you want. I actually don't care about that. So cool. Atlanta's a team he can take. Philly, we just saw he didn't take the Tyrese Maxey assignment. He tried the Joel Embiid assignment and got obliterated. So there's a team again. He's not taking a primary assignment against them.
Wing,
Orlando,
guard, center. Fine.
yeah, I'm going through the whole Eastern Conference and talking about the primary
Mhm.
assignments on each team. So
Mhm.
cool. Orlando, I don't want him taking the Paolo assignment. He can take a Franz assignment. The Paolo assignment, he's gonna pick up too many fouls. It just logically just doesn't make sense for him to take that assignment. I think that's common sense. The Charlotte matchup, they don't even have who even is their assignment. Sure, he can guard Kobe White. I'll give him that one. He can take the Kobe White assignment. Cool.
He can guard
Miami,
Brandon.
he's not taking the Giannis assignment, sky blue, grass green. Milwaukee don't even have a human being on their roster right now. And then we go down to Chicago, Brooklyn, like now we're talking about irrelevant teams. And in Indiana, I don't want to take a Tyrese Halliburton assignment. But maybe a Pascal, maybe. So if you want to say that's the primary assignment, I've gone through the whole Eastern Conference
But
contenders
Mars, this
for playoff
You're
teams.
going-
this
so
is
you're gonna go
nasty
out
though,
there
Mars.
with the Jamal Murray, Derek White.
I'm saying there's two teams in the East that would want
Tatum,
Jaylen Brown taking an assignment on. So that's not enough
Tatum
value for me
and
to say I
who?
think it would be better for the
Tatum
Celtics.
and
That's
who?
what I'm saying.
Because we all up here already know.
That's what I'm saying.
You know that Derek White is not a point of attack defender.
I agree, yeah.
Okay, so who in the starting lineup is? If Jamal Murray
I don't think they have a POA. I don't think they have a POA right now. I think that closest to a POA is Jordan Walsh.
Okay, so
When
why is he a better fit? Their
Because of the
defense gets
offensive
worse.
fit. Because of the pull-up shot making, the intermediate shot making, the overall shot making, and the off-ball game, and the fact that he doesn't occupy the
They're
same area.
already one of the
Jason
three
Tatum.
best offenses in the league.
Yeah, I still think you can be better, and I'm talking about more so in a playoff situation.
I'm saying the
I
slot
like
to me
Jamal
doesn't
Murray's fit.
justify
I
the
like
means.
Jamal Murray's fit next to a Jason Tatum because of the areas of the court in which he occupies and the overall shot making. And for me, Jaylen Brown's potential assignment taking is not going to move the needle more than what I think Jamal Murray adds to that offense. That's the whole reason I just run down the Eastern Conference.
Jamal Murray on Boston is not giving me so much more of a ceiling raising aspect on the offense that's already elite, but then he's also at the same time devaluing my defense probably at an even further rate because now we have no point of attack defender in the starting five. That doesn't even make any sense. You're
Just
talking about maybe the third best offense in the league is now what? Number one. Let's even say by a few percentage points. You're a worse defensive unit. You're a worse defensive unit with Jamal Murray in your starting five. Substantially.
You lose size, you lose athleticism,
Yeah,
you lose tenacity.
I agree.
And that's the team that I did not see in the regular season, but that's fine. So in the regular season, I actually don't think they're that much of a worse defensive team. In the playoffs, I do think that the matchup issues will come to part. But I think that's where you have to build out the rest of the roster. I'm not saying just add Jamal Murray, Julius Randle, take off Jaylen Brown, and just run with this roster they have currently. I think we're all in agreement with the roster that they have right now with Jaylen Brown on it. We still think they need to make changes. Yes, go acquire some point of attack defenders. I agree. You're losing value while having Jamal Murray on your defense. But what I'm saying is the offense that I think improves, I think you can then acquire or get the development of a Jordan Walsh to then replace some of the defensive value in which you are losing. I just personally value the offensive side of the ball more in this situation for Boston because I think Jamal Murray is a better playmaker, a better decision maker, and an overall shot maker who complements Jason Tatum better and the rest of the roster. You now get Peyton Pritchard and Jamal Murray and Derek White as three guys who can all be complementary ball handlers and can all play off of one another as well. I prefer that more in terms of the offensive landscape while acquiring defense. That's where I stand on the matter. And the only reason I ran down the East is because Jaylen Brown, once again, doesn't take these primary assignments to begin with for me to say that that is the big value they are losing. Theoretically, sure. But in reality, that is not what happened in this season. So when I talk about the regular season, that's not a big value loss, in my opinion, just because he could take assignments on occasion.
I don't even like the offensive point that you're making either, especially in high leverage situations or like come playoff time, because Jamal Murray is strictly a pull-up shooter. Jamal Murray does not generate paint touches. And that is a problem that Boston has even with Jaylen Brown on the team. And Jaylen Brown is the one person on their team right now that can consistently get 2 feet in the paint and collapse a defense. There would be such a strictly jump shooting team with Jamal Murray. It would be absolutely ridiculous. And now we've seen it's starting to add up. The data's starting to add up that Jamal Murray gets to the playoffs. He sees more aggressive defenses. He sees these more athletic matchups, and he falls off a cliff. So no, I don't think Jamal Murray is a better offensive player or defensive player than Jaylen Brown. And I'm taking Jaylen Brown over Jamal Murray 10 times out of 10.
11 out of 10.
And that's where we
12 out of 10.
But
30 out of 10.
But once again, I think Jaylen Brown is better than Jamal Murray. That wasn't the argument I was making. So I know you're not saying I was making an argument. So no one can misconstrue me saying Jaylen Brown is a worse player than Jamal Murray. I just prefer him in Boston for the vision I have for the Celtics. That's it. But yeah,
a bunch of light-skinned niggas over there shooting threes, including Joe Mazzulla. Hey, Joe Mazzulla fuck around and have to suit up for
a bunch
of light-skinned niggas out there just shooting.
Yeah, but you've been hating on the way they've been playing for 3 years. So, with Jaylen Brown, without Jaylen Brown, they're gonna shoot more threes next year than they did this year anyway. Their threes go up every year. It's just what they do. So.
All right, DNLV or DNE MLV sent through $10 and said, Pin, you seeing these mumblings about Toronto having interest in Kawhi? Not sure how reliable the source is, but if it actually happened, do you feel it would be a needle mover?
Jake Fisher is actually very, very trustworthy when it comes to Toronto intel. So, you know, if he's saying that Kawhi is basically saying that he would like to come back, that he wants to sign an extension, that there's no chance in hell that's coming from like the sky. He that's sourced. You don't say something like this, ruin your entire credibility, and then Kawhi's camp comes out and says that's never happened. Nope, can't happen. So
He's
this
very
is real.
credible. He is. Good dude too, by the way.
All right, the next super chat I got is from Goon King Forever, sent through $10 and said, shout out to the best duo in the league right now, KC and Corbin. Them boys running the island. Also, real talk. You see how Shea Butter Twitter being hypocritical with KC and Anaya? If you know, you know.
No, you know. Oh yeah.
It's Love Island.
You know, it's yeah.
Yeah, Real Talk's been locked in, by the way, too. If you need to know anything about the show, hey, get it.
Facts.
Yeah.
TikTok starting to treat me well too over there. Yeah, Shea Butter Twitter, y'all are nasty, and y'all know why. Because y'all was doing all that with KC, talking about the light skinned lady. And meanwhile, she over here with a whole, you know what I'm saying, whole white man. You know what I'm saying? But y'all love that though. Y'all love that. But soon as he even talk to somebody light skinned, oh, he colorist. Y'all gotta stop this, man. Y'all gotta stop this foolishness. It's double standard.
Facts. Bob Solo sent through $10 and said, at Damian, what's the amount the Knicks saved moving their picks? I feel that the move from 25 to 24 was they saved $3.1 million. It can pay Diawara 4 years, $2.5 million for the first year. That cash from the draft may pay Jose. Go New York, go.
Yeah, so the pick with the swap with the Lakers saved them roughly $3.2 million. There's a bit of a misconception when trades happen and there's cash considerations, that actually doesn't go to teams' payroll, just goes to the bank account. So they saved about $3.2 million there, and then they moved back a lot in the second round as well, which saved them roughly, I think, like $1.4 million as well, because there's a new rule in the CBA where you can sign players to a lower rate than the veteran minimum. So they ended up generating a little bit of cap room here, and obviously they have to re-sign players like Mitchell Robinson and Shamet and Jose Alvarado. So they help their cause, essentially. Whether they can meet those numbers and get all three back is a different story, because someone like Mitchell Robinson will be highly coveted. But we'll see. But they did all they could, which is good.
Who could ever forget Kyle Korver being traded for a photocopying machine? Shout outs.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, the next super chat I got is from my dog, Dre Knows Ball. Dre said, I will now be known as Dre Knows Ball. Thank you, Ron. You're welcome, Dre. Anyways, do these Timberwolves remind you of the 08 Nuggets? Can't believe that team got first rounded in 150 games as an 8th seed by hashtag number 24.
That's the last year of the Iverson Nuggets, right?
Yeah.
No, they don't remind me of the 08 Nuggets.
Well, Ant's better than that Melo anyway. That's number one. Yes. I don't know why you're
Ant's
looking all
better
crazy.
than Melo, period.
Period, actually. Yes. But I didn't want to say that because
Yo,
I
Swipa,
really don't know.
Swipa, where you at, man?
Oh, no about that one.
Is that a hot take, actually? Anthony Edwards is a better player than Carmelo Anthony was?
I would say, yeah.
Peak for peak? Yeah.
I don't necessarily think it's crazy, but I think it's hot for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I got Melo.
I don't
It's
know.
not crazy. It's not crazy.
It's a little bit like my Scotty Barnes, Michael Jordan comparisons. You know, it's like, you know, you could stretch your eye and make the case, but it's controversial. You know.
Interesting.
After this season, though, I don't think Mars. It'll be a well-known fact.
Please, and
I'm gonna be. I've
We've
never
been
thought
average
about
this
it. Yeah, I've
30
never
on-
thought about it until today. I didn't know saying I was better than Melo was controversial.
We've been averaging 30 on 65 true shooting, 50% from the field.
Did you say
40 from three.
65?
Yeah, that's what I said. 65 true shooting. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man.
all right, Dame the Great sent through $5 and said post-game interviews about to go crazy.
They are going to have some interesting ones for sure.
Minnesota about to be turned, y'all. CT sent through $5 and said, don't forget Minnesota got one of the best medical teams.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I saw that in the playoffs.
Yeah,
They're gonna need it for sure.
I don't know their medical team.
Yeah, get them ankles together. Get them ankles together, man.
He
Well, I
knew
think
whatever Steph had.
Talk
Yeah, he
about
knew whatever Steph had.
his ankle problem somewhere. I forgot where I saw it, but like, I think he did say something about like he finally got the right ankle brace or shoe made or something to that extent as to why he had better luck with his.
The big baller
ankles.
shoes ruined him and Lonzo's ankles, man. They said that a few times.
That's crazy.
So,
Yeah, that shoe was so bad, took that nigga whole leg. Fuck a ankle.
Average Joe sent through $5 and said, this desperate move to appease Ant is the beginning of Ant out of Minnesota. Love it. Ant to LA with Luka is on the table.
Now that's what needs to happen.
Oh, man.
If Ant does leave Minnesota, that 2033 pick that Charlotte got,
in
Mhm.
business, yeah.
And some of those swaps.
that would be valuable.
some
The
of those
one pick
swaps.
they acquired, yeah,
Well,
the one pick. Yeah.
Or if they have a down season, like Penn said, at some stage.
And all the down season needs to be for the next 3 years is make the play in once and lose because that actually gives you bad lottery odds. So
Yeah.
I would,
Yeah, exactly.
Medved Ted sent through $5 and said, Nas Reed is no longer in Minnesota. Swipa can now breathe a sigh of relief. Too bad the Kroenke ownership is cheap as hell and will find a way to ruin the bum-ass Nuggets.
Yeah, Nas in the Eastern Conference is going to be an interesting matchup situation for a lot of these teams, but we'll see how good the Hornets are, though. So
it's a good fit. He fits how they want to
Yeah.
play basketball, big time.
he does.
yep.
Bandit Huncho, aka Yo Boys Call You, sent through $5 and said, mute trade talks on, or mute trade on chill. Mute trade on chill talks. He meant to say mute chill on trade talks. Co-signed AD for Luka. Said the Wolves won the trade when dealing Cat for Julius Randle. It's clear to ignore chill on trades.
Well, you don't know until it plays out, in all fairness. So,
We knew the Luka trade was a bad trade.
yeah, that's fair. Although
It
the
is what
Mavs
it
did
is,
look
though.
good in that
I
game
mean-
one, but I mean,
So, some people tried to come up here and tell you it might work out for the Mavs, though. I do
Yeah,
wanna
but
give
contrarian gimmick. Contrarian gimmick.
mm,
Yeah.
I mean, I still do think they got dealt a worse hand than what it actually was. Like AD
Yeah,
getting
they
hurt
did.
as soon as you get there.
again. Oh my
No,
God.
but it's Kyrie going down too. Like,
Yeah, but Kyrie
Yeah,
went down because
it's
AD
gonna
got hurt,
be-
so Kyrie had to start playing too much. Yeah. You blaming AD for that shit too.
okay.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, they get there, they make the trade, and then like the two best players get hurt right after. It's like, well,
Yeah, but then you got Cooper Flag. So
Yeah, you know what that
AD
is?
was-
That's not AD's
he's
fault.
also
That's
injured, by
that's
the way, when
karma.
he got traded.
You know what that is? That's karma.
AD was
That's
also
karma.
injured.
You trash Luka Doncic, you try to ruin his reputation on the way out. That's what you get. Say he
So
can't play
Kyrie-
defense. Oh, he's
Luka-
injury prone. Boom, everyone gets injured. Your coach gets fired. You hire an
Yeah, let's
analytics
talk about
nerd
that,
to
man.
run your
Yeah,
entire
Luka.
front office. That's what you get.
Hey, Nico, pull up the player's choice. Come run our front office. We got a nice
No,
little
facts,
deal
bro.
for you,
If
man.
what didn't happen would have happened, the Mavs would have won the trade. You cooked right there, Ox. I'm not gonna lie. If something completely different happens, they would have won.
Keep going, Big Ox. Trent sent through $5
that's
and said,
nasty out of you.
My favorite player in the league, my GOAT Ant-Man, now has a point guard. Now times are good now. Now I just need the Pelicans to win a finals in 2028. I will be complete.
The Pelicans. Oh man,
I believe
Pelicans
it.
might be the
I
most
believe in it.
dire situation in the league. I'm not gonna lie. No, the Kings exist, but outside of the Kings,
It would be, but now they have
Pelicans might-
A-Cuff. So
Yeah,
Ox
the
is gonna-
Pelicans might be the most dire.
Ox is gonna be able to be delusional about A-Cuff now.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in New Orleans, to be honest. This is bad over there. And the
So that
Bucks.
trade's
the
final
Bucks-
now with the Queen stuff, right? So it's shaked out to be what, 2 players?
Yeah,
I forget
Kingston
now.
Flemings and Aston Newell for Derek Queen.
Yeah.
So 2 players better than Derek Queen for Derek Queen. Nice.
Yeah, I like Kingston.
Nims gassed up, sent through $10 and said, Swipa, my Thunder keep packing up your bum ass franchise. Otega played in Oklahoma before
Real
he
talk.
was at
He's so
Kentucky.
weird.
Presty been on that. Also, how do the Wolves match up against the other
Constantly
top teams
twerking.
in the West currently?
Constantly twerking. Never stops twerking. Shout out Real Talk. Yeah, Presty's he's a madman. He's a mad scientist. That's
You
what it
talk
is.
about men twerking a lot. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna lie.
You're allowed to
I don't
twerk as
know.
much as you want, no matter your
I
sex
don't
and your
know.
gender.
I don't know what's your obsession.
No,
with
it's
men
okay. It's
twerking,
fine. It's
but
all right.
again,
You're allowed to
As a
twerk as much
well-known
as you want.
streamer said,
You do
why
you.
can't men twerk? Shout out to
Why
Black
can't
Boy
men
Man.
twerk? Yeah, why can't you?
Yeah,
twerk?
shout out
Why
to
is that-
Black
why is
Boy.
that not a
Hey,
gender
Black,
neutral dog?
Black Boy. Stop the soft launch and just say it already, gang.
Well,
okay?
you
It's
saying
okay.
the closet's made of glass, right?
Black Boy. Who is Black Boy?
I
Who is
mean, my
Black?
goodness, we seeing right in there, goddamn. Just walk out. We'll still love you. Everybody still love you. Nothing will change. Stop soft launching and just say it already. My goodness.
Or stay where you're at. You don't feel forced to do anything. Hey, be who you are. All right.
Be true
These
to
references
you.
are going over my head, but okay.
Black
All
Boy
right.
is a streamer, apparently.
We got another super chat, $10 from K Spiffy. K Spiffy said, God bless the panel, mainly Swipa. But please feel free to chime in. Did anyone play NBA The Run arcade game? They don't make street ball games anymore. Me personally, I thought it was a 6 out of 10. Did anyone play NBA The Run?
I'm too grown for video games until November when GTA 6 drops.
Oh, it's coming
shout
out.
out- shout out to Street
You
Ball,
stop
though.
playing 2K?
Do y'all know
Yeah, I ain't
that,
played 2K in a minute. It's been a while.
that GTA 6 is not going to have a physical disc on launch?
Yeah, it's just gonna have like some digital.
Yeah, I've
code or
heard even the people who pre-ordered the physical copy, they just get a case with a codes.
something.
Damn.
I don't know
that's crazy.
what happened to the world I love, man. It's
You know
insane.
what?
But I've already got my pre-order. We locked in.
I'm
So
a big believer in physical media. I will be waiting until December. Give me my fucking disc.
yeah, I will be playing on launch for sure.
That's cool.
Did anybody play NBA The Run?
No,
I didn't know.
No.
I thought it was free to play.
Hold
Found
on.
out you have to pay for it. I don't know.
I did play
I
NBA
don't have a
Street,
gaming
though.
system.
NBA
was
Street
great,
was fire, especially
You don't have a
Volume
gaming
3, boy.
system?
No, I don't have a
I
gaming
actually
system.
don't either, Damien.
I just got kids and things.
Yeah, my brother.
I got
has
like
the
every gaming
PS5.
system. I got a PS5. I got Xbox. I got a Wii. I got everything. We locked in.
You got an
That'll be worth
N64?
something. That'll be worth something in like
I did not.
2030.
I did not.
where your-
But
that's where your
I have.
PC wanna go.
Yeah, you got a Dreamcast?
Shout
I
out
have
Sega
every. I have
Dreamcast,
every
boy.
game console of the 2000s. I want to say that came out post 2000. Well, my PS2 is backwards compatible, so I can play PS1 games on my PS2.
Dope.
So that counts.
I will say I'm considering getting a PS5 and PS6 next year. Playing a new God of War. Well, with Freya coming out.
PS6 coming out next year.
I believe it's next year. Maybe
Yeah,
28.
they said 2027.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
But
they
you
should've just
never
made
know. You know that
GTA for
that
this
shit gets pushed back.
PS2. Come on. Now we're gonna have a
Kobe
whole
messed
new
me up. I didn't
console,
get
but GTA is gonna be optimized for PS5. Sad.
I just really just lost all interest in playing video games once upon a time. I didn't know. I don't
Video
even
games is
remember
mid,
what
real
it is.
talk.
To be fair, I've also lost my
Wolverine
interest
coming out
in
too,
video
8
games.
gates. That Wolverine
But
look crazy.
GTA will reignite my interest in video games. Hopefully.
All right, GK sent through $5 and said, if another trade isn't already in the works, all 27 of us fans will riot. I can't imagine you make this trade and just sit on your hands.
You talking about the Hornets?
Has to be.
Or is he talking about the because the Wolves got more than 27 fans. I don't know, man. I feel like the Hornets are going all in on their formula, and their formula might be able to get them enough regular season wins to be in the play-in, even without LaMelo. Just if you shoot enough threes and get enough offensive rebounds, and you limit the opposing team's transition opportunities enough, you might be able to get yourself wins just off the strength of that, despite not having the A-tier offensive engine. Especially if like Con and Brandon Miller like meaningfully improve. So.
All right, shout out to Player4008, became a YouTube member. Salute to you. Appreciate you for joining the family. I got another $5 from 2K God. 2K said LaMelo, Trey, and Josh trade values tell you how they are looked at. This wasn't the only call they took. Reportedly, Phoenix gave them a firm hell no.
That's because we got Jalen Green and Z, but we can good up there.
Yeah, but if I try to get off a take like a year and a half ago and say that Desmond Bane is more valuable around the league, y'all would say I was crazy. But that's how GMs are thinking about this.
Like when you said Derek White was more valuable than Trey Young?
He is.
Yeah, I'm co-signing.
I'm just used to defending my.
Can't
points
wait
and
for
then-
him to get traded so we can see what he goes for.
I gotta run, y'all. See you at the members.
All right, Dave. Ponzu Hat sent through $5 and said, the Minnesota YNs about to run the West. Also, Bridges is still on the roster, so off-court activities can't be that much of a factor.
Well, I think they're shopping him.
Yeah,
Also, to be
that's the
fair.
rumor that he is on the way out.
Also, the Wolves are going to be going to the East sooner rather than
Yeah,
later.
that's true.
So-
2028, supposedly, allegedly.
Oh yeah.
So they only got to worry about the West for a couple years. You just got to tell and hold it down. We're going to be in the East in a couple years. We got that's really it. We're going to be in the East a couple years. We'll be all right.
I mean, well, remember the East is stronger now, so maybe the Timberwolves are just cursed.
No, we good. We good.
EJ sent through $5. EJ said, why don't the Wolves play faster? Easy answer. Coaching. Give Spoelstra this team and they'd be the best transition offense in the league.
I don't think it's that simple, bro.
They about to play faster now, though.
Would you say Naz Reid was a good catalyst for speed and spacing and pacing?
Their best catalyst last year for speed was Ayo Dosunmu.
As a big, yeah, I think he's probably the closest embodiment they had on the roster because Julius Randle sucks in terms of that.
Mhm.
Rudy does run the floor hard, to be fair. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
But
it just can't.
He's really good there. And then Ant really runs when everyone else runs, if that makes sense.
Right.
Ant is a follower when it comes to transition offense. He needs to see you guys run and be like, all right, cool, I'll run. But he not going to lead the break personally. But Ayo was the one who was like relentless in his pursuit of pushing. And then Dante would also run out pretty much all the time. But everyone else, yeah.
The Jonathan Frazier sent through $5 and said LaMelo, Ant, and J-Mac is going to be a PR nightmare. Forget the games. The media conference is going to be the real show. I'm 100% here for it. Get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, I have a rule with team building is don't have two idiots in the same room. I'm not calling Anthony Edwards an idiot, and I'm certainly not calling J-Mac an idiot. But you got some questionable maturity situations in that locker room, and shout out to Mike Conley. He's gonna be paid to be a babysitter, just like Chill gets paid to babysit us. That's great.
Chill's the most emotional one of us out here.
Yeah, I miss Chill in the second half of the show.
See, this
man.
is the problem. We don't have a babysitter because sometimes Chill just be crashing out with us too.
It's supposed to be Ron. He's the host.
Child, he the biggest.
Supposed to be a
baby out there.
babysitter or a host?
Both.
You're supposed to read the soup chip.
Well, I mean, Ron does his babysitting. He put me in a timeout every 5 minutes.
Yeah, I muted you and Chill today. I did my job.
Needed pen when Jordan was on a route for 15 minutes. Yep, I remember.
DW said, are the Wolves championship contenders now?
Not
They
yet.
were.
Not right now. I
Contenders.
don't think their roster. Yeah, I don't think their roster is good enough right now. But
Zay Allen sent through $5 and said, Swipa, you didn't have a great draft watch along this year? Laughing my ass off.
This is Schadenfreude. That's really what this is. This is just Schadenfreude.
The Brazil pick was fine. Like that
It was
was
good
probably
pick.
your highlight of the 2 days, I'd assume, because that's a good pick.
I mean, I was generally happy for how people landed in the draft. I think my own personal, hey, this is my job. For my job, where do I want certain players to go?
The 3
that
players
went
you were
wrong.
invested in all went to worst case
But
scenarios.
if Brazil had gone 26th, if y'all hadn't traded the pick, just say he'd gone 26th, would you be upset?
Well, I didn't have first round grade on him, but I mean, I thought that was fine where he went. I think some of this was if they would have had pick 38, I think they could have got Ortega, but it just worked out that way that they traded
He's
back.
never played with anything close to the playmaking talent of a Jokic and a Murray.
Respect Darius Acuff. What are we talking about?
No.
What?
He
Respect
has
Demon Acuff.
never played with that kind of talent. So, like, to me, this is
I mean, he's the best vertical athlete that we've had since. I mean, Peyton can do it. Aaron Gordon obviously can do it, but like this is a different kind of like this is Kenneth Fareed kind of bounce.
He's your Zeke Naji replacement, right? That's basically what he's gonna be.
better. I have him as a better prospect than Zeke Naji. No offense to Zeke.
Me too. But like he is like, okay, we can try and get off Zeke Naji now for once and for all.
Well, they've been trying, brother. It's just
But like now,
I like Peyton Watson for
when there's an injury crisis, Zeke Naji should not be.
yeah, like that DeRon Holmes Brazil with Peyton Watson lineup is going to be special sauce. Basically, that's going to be special sauce. That'll be like if Jokic isn't in the game, they're going to be long and they're going to be athletic as crap.
Yeah, and he can cover up some vertical space around the rim.
Yeah, and I will say, Ron, I've been asking for another dunker spot player for a while for them. Could Spencer Jones within that spot, and this is easily the best they've had.
But you also have like a great transition athlete in him too, right? Like Jokic pushes break so fast, even on makes and misses, he pushes up. Brazil
and he can shoot. He shot 4 threes a game last year, three or four on 35% as well.
That's my point. He's shown a track record of getting better and better and better. And I listened to a lot of interviews with him like over the years because he's tested the waters on the draft a few times and he's chosen to always go back. It's the decision to go back has almost always with him been development. He just wants to get better. He wants to get better. He wants to get better. So I like him a lot for you guys. So happy for you that you got a player who fits perfectly for your system and all your guys ended up in the perfect system. Swipe it. Be happy, man.
I don't want Cam Carr to get blamed for the Lakers' problems, so I mean that's going to happen.
How is Cam?
Oh, now we're taking the
if he doesn't shoot,
doesn't make the shot, doesn't make the rotation, doesn't get the. I know it's going to happen.
He's not going to get blamed because he won't miss shots. He going to shoot 100% from 3 this year. Don't worry.
You mean like how you blame all of your role players when y'all don't win?
No, actually, no, it's not the same. Yes, not the same.
I'm talking to Swipa. Dog, you mean all them niggas you called unplayable because they weren't
in game 3 of the Clipper series when they had a bad game?
Talking about like that?
No, I think it's a little different.
What you just did is what I like to call.
I think Lakers fans. I know it's not projection.
That's what you just did. You just
real talk. I think you can self-acknowledge that Lakers fans are extremely emotional and hard on their role players. Like
I think fans are.
No, but I'm not going to argue with the Lakers fan about Lakers fans. We know what I'm talking about. I'm saying that Cam Carr is a great situation player, but I do think he is a 4th, 5th option at best. And needs to be treated as such.
So we wouldn't be blaming Cam.
No, I'm not talking about you, real talk. You are even more rational, which is crazy than a lot of Lakers fans. I'm saying he is going to catch a lot of slander at times because he's just not. He's developing. He's very much in the developing process still.
More rational but crazy is like calling someone king of the idiots. Like that's a backhanded compliment.
Well, I mean that kind of fits too. But I got to get to the next super chat. $10 from Goon King Forever. Goon King said,
you can't read.
Okay, let me read. Went to college with Joshua Jefferson. I think he's going to be nice. Also, what's your guys' thoughts on Detroit? Oh, P.S. Real talk. They did my girl Saul wrong. Way too fine to be sent home.
I'm telling you, that super chat chair is hot. So y'all think it's sweet until you step in that seat.
First of all,
hey, words may appear smaller than they seem. What does the mirror say? Words may appear smaller than they seem. When you get up here, hey, it ain't what it look like.
It's not. First of all,
you get what I'm saying, though, Swiper.
Objects may appear larger.
I'm saying on this screen they appear smaller. It's harder to see them. It's like a curveball. It looks like it's coming, and all of a sudden, right when it gets to you, it just drops off. Y'all ever been in that batter box?
but unlike you can actually just read beforehand and then pull it up. So you could actually practice.
I don't read them beforehand because I have to engage with the show and do other things. You know, on top of that, I'm not finna pre-read. You know what?
Did you just ghost us for like 10 minutes today and just go off? Like, come on, man. Okay, just pull up another one. We'll do this. We'll do this. I mean, does anyone have any response to that? Honestly, I got tripped up by the grammar.
Fine, and you know they did kind of do it wrong, but that's KC fault though. Respectfully, he should have said something while she was there. But that was the baddest something on that island, though. Respect.
Real talk. Would you
really?
Would you,
and they sent her home?
Yes.
Yeah.
Real
They'll
talk,
probably bring her. They'll find a way to bring her back. They ain't.
Would you do an NBA Twitter Love Island? Real talk. Like we put.
Sure. Why not?
That'd be fun.
So who's the cast? Let's get the cast.
Well, yeah. I mean, you know, we actually, real talk, we could put that together, and I think that would be hilarious.
All right, the next super chat I got is from Luffy Gear 4th. Luffy said, LaMelo has played over 50 games once the last 4 seasons. Last season was an anomaly. I don't think it's crazy to want to move him.
Sure.
I actually, once again, I said it earlier in the show, I'm not mad at them moving LaMelo. I'm just mad at the package that they got back for him. I think they got fleeced.
Part of it, yeah.
Wait to see what they do with that cap space before you get too mad at them.
Yeah, and Penn, like, it is a new NBA landscape. So, like, as we just seen, who just did that? Where literally the Timberwolves being able to get LaMelo's money was by them trading Julius Randle. So, like, now trades are being made as a precursor to bring in another trade because you clear up cap space and stuff like that, and you get like exceptions and all of that. This shit is all new in the NBA landscape. So, like, if they did make that move to make another move, I'll give them a ton of grace. And I'll even potentially say that they won this whole, maneuvering of their roster. But as of right now, they are.
But also, I don't think you have, just listening to you over the years, I don't think you've ever properly evaluated or valued optionality. Like, keeping your powder clean in terms of your cap sheet allows you to be in the running for things when other teams run into panic situations with their cap sheets. So, like, even if it happens at the trade deadline where a team that thought they were going to be good suddenly decides, oh, we're not going to be good. Oh, we have this big salary. Like the Indiana Pacers right now. It's a great example. Pascal Siakam will be the perfect fit in Charlotte, right?
Yeah.
Pacers think they're going to be really good right now. But what if the Halliburton injury doesn't go so well? What if they suddenly turn out to be bad? Now Pascal's 32, optionality. Desmond Bane, optionality. OG Anunoby, optionality. It's just, you never know what's going to happen. You have to operate with a bit of humility and just say, you know what? I think this might happen, but I want to be prepared in case like both sides happen. And it's just like, we always say like, this guy's better than this guy. And even though they got all these swaps, they don't matter. No, the swaps matter, man. Because when a trade comes up for Giannis, suddenly it matters that you hit on Kasparis. It matters that you hit on Kel'el Ware. It matters that you hit on Jaime Jaquez. Hitting on those mid-first round picks got Giannis. Like look at where Tyler Hero, Jaime Jaquez, Kel'el Ware, and Kasparis Yakuchonis actually got drafted. 13, 15, 19?
Yeah, but Penn, like, and I get what you're saying. Like, optionality is dope and, getting more picks and stuff, but it's one of two things has to happen for all of that to turn into something. And the Charlotte's
why are you making money right now?
Hold on, Penn. No, what I'm saying is I'm looking at the Hornets organization too. They haven't shown me a history of being able to draft well, and they've never went out and made a big splash in free agency, in free agency or trading anybody. So I'm like,
but this is not your dad's Hornets. This is not your grandpa's. This is not your.
You're right.
It's
Bobcats. Worse. It's my son's Hornets, and they are terrible.
No, this organization has shown you for 2 straight years that they actually do know what they're doing. Look, man, when people show you who they are, believe them. But when they change, believe them too. The Wizards are doing better than they were 4 years ago, man. Do y'all remember who the fuck the Wizards were trading away and drafting 4 years ago? And now suddenly there's like competent decisions. Keyshawn George. That's a competent decision, right? Like AJ DeBonsa at number 1. They didn't outsmart themselves. Like there's... flinging for Anthony Davis. Look at the price.
So when Darius A-Cup starts getting busy, I want you guys to forgive the Kings.
I don't need to forgive the King.
Why would
Wait,
why would I
really
forgive
good
the
player?
organization for the player being able to transcend a trash situation? A-Cup is that good.
Because we're forgiving the Charlotte Hornets for Brandon Miller and Con Knipple being able to transcend a bad situation.
They're in a bad situation. Interesting.
I think so. Now they're right back. They're right back to where they were.
They are.
So
they're right back to the team.
Yeah. So let's see if Con Knipple is as good as you guys say he is without LaMelo Ball.
Kobe
Let's see if Brandon.
You don't like Kobe White?
Ron, the way you tell it, it's like, I swear to God, the way you tell it, it's like Con Knipple was sitting there taking these jump shots. They were all clanking off the rim, and LaMelo Ball from the angel, above, invisibly was guiding them in with his own hands. Like he didn't make.
All right, so Con Knipple's so good, Kobe White's so good, Brandon Miller's so good. Okay, no. Okay,
he had LaMelo Ball as number one Eastern Conference Player of the Week.
All right, this team makes the playoffs.
You lose every single bet.
This team makes the playoffs,
and you ain't never.
This team makes the playoffs. Swiper, you too.
Why is that? Whoa! Why is that the barometer?
Now, what team? Why
the hell is that the barometer?
Hornets team?
No, they're so good. Do they make the playoffs?
They didn't make the playoffs last year. So what are you doing this for?
And they took a step back.
Okay, so taking a step back from not making the playoffs and not.
That's the point I'm making.
I'm not even arguing with you. You're arguing with me. What are you at me for?
Because you just stepped in and had things to say. So now you can get some of this too.
When the Spurs traded Derek White, did they take a step back? When they traded Jakob Poeltl, did they take a step back? When they traded DeJounte Murray, did they take a step back? Yeah, but they got picks back for all that shit.
They were a trusted organization who had won 5 championships since the year 2000 or 99. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay, but I trust the Hornets, and that matters to me. I trust this Hornets team.
The Hornets fans don't even trust the Hornets. The citizens living in Charlotte don't trust the Charlotte Hornets. The players on the Hornets don't trust the Hornets. Nobody trusts the Hornets.
Okay, let me address the Hornets fans directly. If you don't trust your organization, trust that I trust your organization and that I know better than you. Okay, your franchise is finally doing the right shit. You're moving on to the right people, off the wrong people. You're accounting for the fact that time after time after time for the last 35 years, we have seen adults win championships, habits win championships, accountability wins championships, defense wins championships. None of those words are synonymous with LaMelo Ball. Okay, none. So LaMelo Ball, hell of a talent, most talented player, and I'm not judging this trade on whether or not the Hornets make the playoffs this year, because guess what? They didn't make the playoffs last year. I'm not judging this on whether or not LaMelo goes on and goes to the to the Western Conference Finals, because that ain't going to be his team. That's not the point. I'm judging this on where are the Hornets going? Are they getting better? And are they doing more of the winning shit that made the Knicks champions, the Celtics champions, the Nuggets champions? Accountability matters. If your core guys genuinely sacrifice for winning, you're going to be a really solid floor team that's not going to sabotage yourself.
The Hornets are in a good situation right now. They have two very good young players with Con Knipple, Brandon Miller.
Add Steinbach to that. I know
we could add Steinbach. We could add Christian Anderson. I'll even throw in the bigs that they got with Moussa Diabate and Kalkbrenner. They got
Moussa Diabate. You start this conversation with Moussa Diabate. Come on, man. Mars gets off the stream and you start acting crazy. Come on, Moussa Diabate. They got good young players. I'll give them that. They also have a shit ton of picks from now until 2033. I guarantee you. I don't even want to say guarantee you. I just feel like come 2033, we're going to be still looking like, what have the Hornets done over the last 8 years? Okay, cool. We'll have
I don't think that they make anything up.
And 8 years from now, you're going to owe me like $45,000 and you're going to be like, oh, Pin, you ain't got Venmo. Okay, I got you.
So I'm owe you $45,000. I can't wait to see how that debt racks up. How much I owe you right now?
Like I forgot, like 100 or something. Like
you owe money for?
You like 2 bets in a row.
Don't worry about that.
And you gonna double up.
Bro, something wrong with Ron, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. He owes
Ron deadass enjoys losing money.
It's degenerate. I
don't know what you guys are talking about, man.
It's degenerate crackhead behavior, bro.
Hey, things happen. Life happens. Hey, Maybe that's why I can relate to the Hornets. Maybe that's why I know they ain't gonna be shit. But Average Joe sent through $10 and said, "Video games mid? ? Ocarina of Time remake coming out."
That's how I know you're not tapped in.
What is Ocarina? Ocarina?
No, I say how you want to say it. I ain't correcting you.
Now you mad. All right. Ocarina of Time remake coming out. GTA 6 this November. Have y'all not seen Phantom Blade? FF7 remake part 3? God of Wars? Freya?
Bro, this coming.
Wolverine?
If you and I were to stream video games, bro, do you know how much money we would make? You'd be a great game streamer. Freya's about to be cold. Wolverine's about to be cold. I can't wait. If you haven't seen the God of War, Ron, if you haven't seen the God of War previews for this one coming out, it's amazing, bro. And these are like, Ron, these are like 12, 15, 20-hour playthroughs. But they're not short games.
How do you have this much time to play God of Freya, Madden 2K, know the WNBA, know real talk. What's the show that
Dune?
you be covering? Dune. No, what's the show that dude just sent through the super chat for?
Love Island.
Love Island. All of this. How do you have this much time? I just Swipa. You gotta let me in on your secret.
I'm
I don't know.
very structured. I'm very
Swipa,
structured.
You do some things on the side that keeps you up all night. You
Swipe got discipline. Y'all know nothing about that, man.
well, you Swipa.
He be in the gym.
You got a little
at 6
habit on the
a.m.
side that keeps you up all night.
I'm gonna tell you the rest of my day. I'm about to go to the gym right after this. I got to do another show. I'm gonna eat, walk my dog, feed him. I got to do another show after that.
Pride
I'm gonna
parade.
do some stuff tonight. I got to, class tonight. I mean, yeah, you schedule your free time.
Class.
Schedule your free time.
And class. So and you got time for homework. Yeah, it's something's not adding up, buddy. All right.
Yo,
hey, tell your Chat GPT assistant that keeps you updated on all the current events and the trending topics. Give them my round of applause because it's no way.
Tell us the rest of your day.
Rest of my day. I'm finna get off of this.
He about to lie. He about to lie, bro. He like not.
All right, never mind.
He don't run it.
You want me to get it off? I didn't even want me to get it off. So never mind.
No, that's the thing. I know I'm hopping off this stream, getting on another stream.
Runs the whole business.
Shit. I know what I'm doing, and then I'm going to the gym and
Ron,
break my damn other arm.
Ron, let me ask you this. You have to answer the question, by the way. Your revenue for your business. We seeing 7 figures yet?
Nah,
you don't even know. They seeing 8 figures.
I know, Ron. You playing around?
Nah.
Not 8 yet. It ain't 8 yet. But
we
ain't
got it. We ain't got it like that.
Ron has learned from the master of wealth, Warren Buffett, who still drives himself to work at like 185 years old and drinks diet soda and goes to McDonald's like an average Joe. Is that if you want to be wealthy in life, you cannot invite the haters by looking wealthy and acting wealthy. So you got to act like a common dude, but then you got to you got to go to the bank account and be like, hey yo, slide my $50,000 in an envelope.
I'm broke, yo. I'm broke as a joke. I don't know what y'all talking about.
You're broke because you got people that your lifestyles you're financing in 4 different states. That's not why you're broke. You make enough money as you spend a lot of money. Real talk. That's exactly what's happening.
Hey, broke is broke. That's all I know. Broke is broke.
Can I tell them your net worth? Am I allowed to tell them your net worth?
It's nothing. You know why it's nothing? Because you got Keisha, Lanisha, Tanya, and Wanda in Florida, Georgia,
we got
and New
super
York.
chats, y'all. Like, I'm not finna keep dicking around with you two. Like, I got super chats and I really got things to do today.
Real talk, he dicking around too much with other people and they're spending too much money. That's what's going on.
MTHJ said, real talk. I know Trinity breaks my heart every episode.
He know Trinity. Okay.
DW said, praying the Knicks cook something good right now because I'm nervous after the draft.
Why are you nervous?
Yeah, your team just won a championship. All right. Jason15212 said Orlando needs to be going after Darius Garland. Wouldn't be mad at it.
Good idea. Great idea, actually. Get the ball out of Paolo's hands.
Will Smith said, Mars, how good was Bob Lanier? And why wasn't he a top 10 center on the top 10 center list from last year?
Mars has left the building.
And you guys,
And I didn't.
how good was Bob Lanier?
Well, in honor of Mars, Curacao and Ivory Coast play today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then we got Japan and Sweden, by the way, play tonight. These are big games.
And you go watch all of them, huh?
Just no respect.
No, I have it on my phone.
So you're gonna watch them on your phone?
No, I'm saying I don't really. These games I don't have time to watch because it's 4 and 7. I have stuff to do. But if you're a person who likes to put a little something on the side, real talk, like do a little trading, you know what I mean? You can actually get some really good odds right now on the market. So, you know,
I actually don't even gamble
On what?
Japan, Sweden. You can go to a certain app. Can't say it on the air because they're not paying us. 49% probability, and then 24% probability, and 28% probability that they tie. And then you can tap into that a little bit. My brother Benjamin, who also likes to make a little bit of money.
Yeah, I used to be in the betting, but now the betting and gambling. Now I just bet Ron because it's not a gamble.
But you never get that money.
Yeah,
I do though. He does. He pays me.
No, I don't. Well, I used to.
He hasn't paid this latest one, but he's paid.
Hey, wait, Ron, put that. Ox said put that up. I
What?
can't put it up. I'm not in host control. He said his last chat, the one from 2:31 p.m. Put that up.
2:31. I can't. I literally can't see it. So
Well,
I'm
scroll.
sorry, X.
Scroll.
I literally can't.
All right,
I'm telling you, like I literally
Swipa
can't.
ain't lying. Ron got a BM in Arkansas, Mexico, Portland, Fresno, KC, and Cleveland.
Hey, my shawty in KC, boy. Hey, Ox, remember them one shawties in Arkansas? Whoo, hey, me and Ox was at Benihana one day for lunch, boy. Whoo, I'm talking about the
Arkansas
meanest two-man one could dream of, real
That's a
talk.
fact. Yeah. Hey, shout out
Oh,
Arkansas.
man, boy.
Man,
In
Ron,
No,
Arkansas?
Remember
real talk. That's why I was so shocked. Hey, good things come in bad places.
Hey, look,
I'm telling
Ron,
you, boy.
Remember you told me about them Arkansas honeys. You told me about them Brooklyn honeys. You told me about Portland. I believe you, Ron. I can't confirm this. You told me about them Thailand honeys as well. You be all over, man. You Mr.
Real
Global,
talk.
bro. Mr.
Real
Everywhere.
talk. Real talk.
That's where all
This
those
nigga is in Atlanta, living euphoria out. Literally.
Ron, you're the one that got that attention. I've never gotten that attention. She sang to you.
All right, I got
Ron,
another
say it with
super
me.
chat.
What are
You
y'all?
got it,
Who's
you
saying
got
the?
it.
What are y'all
Black.
talking about?
Her name
I
was
don't know why
Black.
you listen to this dude.
Bro, we were with Dave. We were with
You're right.
Dave.
This nigga do be
We
lying.
real talk. We were with Dave at a spot, a little hookah spot. She caught eyes with Ron and was singing "Let It Burn" to Ron. I am not kidding with you. That is a full story.
This is a spot that Swipa took us to in
But
frequent.
who was the she that we're referring? Like,
Black. Tell me
right.
I'm lying, Ron. Did she not sing?
I was
Burn?
just-
Your
leave that
friend
alone.
Cake literally came and sat at the table and was Cake. Literally came and sat at the table and was like, "Oh, hey," called you by your actual name, not Swipa, your actual name. I won't put that out there. It was, y'all exchanged pleasantries for a good amount of time. So, anyways, Leandre McCoy said, "Anybody gonna check on Damo? Anybody gonna check on Damo? He's the Carolina man. Anyway, season, postseason, and draft are done. Real talk. Where's the MJ slander? I don't know why. What's going on?
wait, why Cake know you, Swipe?
Why
Why
that's what I'm
Cake know
telling
you?
you. Yeah, right,
Huh?
right. Yeah, right, Ron. So you tell me, Ron, whose shoulder did whose shoulder did K touch? Whose shoulder did K touch? What did mine?
Swiper.
And it
Who
wasn't
got,
Dave's.
who got a piece of cake?
You.
All right. Hey, every day your birthday in Atlanta. Real talk. Where's the MJ slander?
I've been trying to find a reason that doesn't look unreasonable, but this nigga's it's pretty hard to find. Slander.
All right, Ryan sent through
Tim Duncan or something. I don't know. MJ, that's hard.
Ryan sent through $5 and said, "Give me John Collins or PJ or even Mr. Precious Achua. Y'all heard of the Splash Brothers? These niggas, the Splash niggas for real. Rudy gonna look like prime DeAndre catching lobs.
Good luck.
Yeah, the Splash niggas.
They are gonna get them up though. Damn, they might take 25 in a game.
Hey, knows they make 11 of them.
All right, DSG Piccolo said, so clearly them Bucks picks ain't going to be used to get Ant now. But Minnesota fans, y'all want Jeremy Grant at the 4? He had 3 and D, 18 points per game, 39 from 3 on 6 attempts. Yeah, Jeremy, Minnesota?
He kind of too slight of frame too.
We're so good on Jeremy Grant.
I mean, he'll be all right, but he's making so much money, dog.
Yeah, and he make too much money.
Like, what would be really amazing right now if the Charlotte Hornets turned around and traded for Drew Holiday,
Miles Bridges, and
nah, they ain't got it.
Well, I mean, I want to get rid of. Yeah, they could. I want to get rid of Miles though. So here's Miles, and we'll absorb the rest of the money. We can do that.
Interesting.
Drew Holiday doesn't fit their timeline.
Yeah,
but he accelerates their timeline by being, the great amplifier adult that he is. Like, I think that part of it is very underrated. Oh damn, Swipa got out of here too. I got a 2-minute hard out. Fuck.
All right. The next super chat is Average Joe said, got this GTA 6 pre-order, shaking my head, prepared to waste mad hours on this in November. Lord help me. I got another super chat from Dissect. Dissect said, question, which team is Luka being traded to next season? Lakers project is going nowhere. Where Luka at?
They're Los Angeles, man. They'll find free agents. They'll get them help.
I sure do hope so, man. Because this has been the offseason that Rob Pelinka has been hyping up for Luka. Like, hey, man, just wait till we get to 2026 offseason. That's when we're going to start, really building the unit. This nigga hasn't done anything, so.
All right, shout out to Kobe Agu. He became a YouTube member, and shout out to Skip Payless, also joining up as a YouTube member. I hope to see you guys at our members only stream later tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Pacific. Shadsky on every platform sent through $5 and said, if Murray is a better passer, playmaker, shooter, better off the ball, how is JB better offensively?
Athleticism.
JB is what JB does well, he's more reliable on doing those things well. It's not that Jamal Murray is a bad offensive player, but he's very jump shot reliant. Jaylen Brown's a better paint scorer, definitely way better in transition, better at getting to the line. So he's just more reliable, in my opinion, in those aspects. Now, Jamal Murray is a better passer than Jaylen Brown. I definitely won't, sit there and argue that. But Jaylen Brown has made some incremental improvements in that area as well. It's not as bad as he used to be. So, yeah, I like Jaylen Brown.
Real talk. Would you say that RJ Barrett is better than Austin Reeves?
No. I mean, I guess like your comp.
I think if a guy is really great at, I just think Jamal Murray is closer to Jaylen Brown than people are giving credit for. Although I think Jaylen Brown's probably better, but the jump, just because he's a jump shooter, does he make them? Are they good? Does it bend the defense? Does it open up the paint? Can he make passes to guys who are actually in the paint? Is paint offense good when Jaylen Brown is on the court? Because this is the example they've always used with Jason Kidd. He didn't have to make the shots in the paint himself. Paint shots went up when Jason Kidd was on the court. So yeah.
I mean, but even Austin Reeves gets downhill more than a Jamal. Jamal Murray is dead ass without Jokic, a jump shooter. It's no penetrating of the defense.
All right, Pimp named Slickback sent through $5 and said, Swipa, I peeped your tweet about Boomer. Believe he said a lot of coded stuff along those same lines to Melo when he was on the Knicks. Hate that station.
Who's Boomer?
Yeah, Swipa's not here. Sorry, Pimp. He jumped up out of here. But appreciate you sending through the $5. Goon King Forever sent through another super chat and said, Sincere a wild dude too. That brother got an insane roster. He just be rolling through fine women and gaslighting. It's going to come back to hurt him though.
See, Love Island up here getting super chats. See, See?
So, hey, real talk. Keep watching.
See?
Keep watching that shit. I might have to tap in too. Okay, sent through a super chat and said, "All right, Penn, catch you
All
soon."
right, man.
How do you guys like Sadiq Bey on my Spurs?
That's not terrible.
Yeah,
Not terrible.
doesn't necessarily solve your problem at the 4, but he's all right. Pip named Slickback said, "Swipa, you got to watch season 2 of the live action Avatar. It's good. It's more mature. It's a more mature tone, but it's really good." Sorry, Pip. Swipa not here
Hey,
too.
tonight we're gonna. We got to hear more about this this cake story. Yeah,
if Jordan pull up, we'll definitely get into it. But Jordan got to be there because Jordan was actually, there. So yeah.
Okay.
Anime is cool. 97 said,
Swiper like almond milk with nuts in it. Okay. All righty.
Rail Wavy 10 sent through a members chat and said, "First stream back since my Spurs loss. Been in a dark place."
Yeah, I've been wondering with some of you. Too Clutch Corey, I just saw him for the first time today. I'm pretty sure. Well,
Hey, it'd be like that, It'd be like that. Hey, man. Hey, life goes on. It'll get better with time.
Yeah.
989 Michi said, "Man, I don't care. They got rid of my beefy poo." Shaking my head. Basically, stew for a Corey. Beef stew for Ubuka Corey. Gotta do what you gotta do sometimes, They freed up some cap. The Pistons aren't done. The Pistons got something on the way. They finna make a move.
I hope they can land Kawhi. They probably won't, but Kawhi Leonard gets on Detroit.
That's gonna be insane. It really is. Spider Gang said, "I'm happy for Minnesota finally getting a PG next to Ant. I know Real Talk is excited to see what LaMelo and Ant can do together."
Facts. Can't wait for the season now.
All right, y'all. Well, it's been an all-time episode. Shout out to LaMelo Ball running the views up. Shout out to LaMelo Ball in a good place. Shout out to Anthony Edwards being the superstar that he's going to be paired with. Can't wait to see what this looks like next year. I think it's going to be the most dynamic duo in the league, the funnest duo to watch. And on top of that, I'm just excited that the NBA rocking in the offseason, y'all.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll catch y'all later tonight in this members-only stream. If you do want to hear about what happened with Swipa taking a bite of that piece of cake in Atlanta, pull up tonight. We'll get all into that. All right, Real Talk. Can't believe that brother bit that German chocolate cake.